And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in business with our next faction war. It feels like it's been forever. Hope you guys are all doing well. And yes, by Sigmar, we are back in business once again. So as far as the matchups today, let's go ahead and take a look. You can see, of course, our sub-faction of the day is going to be the mighty Rasik playing Border Low. No unique benefits, but of course, playing Border Low does send a very strong message to your opponent that you do indeed mean business. So as far as the matchups go, we did have a couple drops last second, unfortunately. So P-Butter Special, our Beastmen player, and Zyphos of Bretonia did drop. So we are in the process of replacing those two fine gentlemen. But nonetheless, it is going to be Grombrindal against Zeblasky in a Dwarf versus Chaos Grudge match here in our first match of the day. Followed up by that, it's going to be Talaxla and Soothsayer on the Greenskins facing off against King of the Dead. Seems to be quite a favorite here in chat. King of the Lag, some good memes going about. And then from there, it's going to be our Beastmen player facing off against Rasik in his Border Low sub-faction. Anticity versus Icepower Total War. So Anticity is our returning champion. Anticity, of course, won with Vampire Coast last time in a very convincing fashion. He beat, some of the best players out there with his Coast and really showed that he is a force to be reckoned with. And he's facing off against a newcomer, Icepower Total War, who is most certainly a Dark Elf specialist. We've done a little bit of practicing, so very excited to see what he has up his sleeve. Then from there, we have Red Legion, who's going to be on High Elves. Zyphos did unfortunately have to drop last second, and we're going to be replacing him, but it's going to be High Elves versus the Bretonians in that matchup, so it should be fun. From there, we have Hadries on the Skaven, and Hadries is also a Faction War champion. So Hadries did win one of our Faction Wars using the Skaven. I think that was like 2 Faction Wars ago. He was actually able to win in the Grand Finals, which was quite a bit of fun. So very, very cool stuff indeed. And then from there, we have Falcon on the Wood Elves. Certainly going to be quite a bit of fun. Are we going to see some Treeman builds, some Durthu action? I think so. As in his first match of the day, he is facing off against Crabling, who's going to be our Norskin contender. Crabling, of course, a very, very solid tournament player. Going to be quite a bit of fun. And then closing out our first round, it is our very own Dob Plays facing off against Energized, Empire against Lizardmen. So that is going to be it. It's going to be very fun. Valnir, the stream intro, I played it quite a bit. And the big issue was I played it a couple times and I got like a copyright issue with it. Even though you're allowed to play game soundtracks, and it was really dumb. So I just don't mess with it right now. All right. Very cool. So the first match will be loading in just a second. It's going to be Dwarves versus Chaos. Remember, in Faction War, all games are best of 1. And right now I'm just communicating with the people to see who they've found as a replacement. Add an invite. I did not skip you, Poison Ducky. Did I? Oh, well, it wasn't intentional. And Poison Ducky, of course, ran into me on ladder a couple months ago, or about a month ago, maybe like 2 weeks. And he mentioned, he's like, hey man, get me in that faction where I'm a Vampire Count player. He played a very solid game. And, now he's here, ready to represent. What is his matchup? Let's go ahead and take a look here. Vampire Count's against Skaven. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I feel like Vampire Count certainly have some teeth there. The Terror Route mechanics can be really good against Skaven, Slave, and Clan Rat battle lines and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be it. And we have a couple donations going in from King Ajazal. More importantly, did Dob pay? Not yet, but I'm sure he will. And we do also have a donation coming in from Rando Howard, putting money on Red Legion's High Elves. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. He is facing the mighty Bretonia. And it is going to be time to go. So let us load into our first battle of the day, which is going to be Zeblasky versus Grombrindal. So Grombrindal, of course, as his name would infer, is most certainly a dwarf specialist. And as far as his army goes, he's currently playing under the name, I thought he was playing under Thorgrim Grudgebearer today, but I guess that's just his Discord name. But Gromby's going to be using Thorgrim. He's got a cannon, a couple groups of Slayers, it looks like. So Slayers up here, as well as the Dragonback Slayers. On top of that, he does have the Peak Gate Guard here in the back, ready to hammer down some heretics. And front line's going to be Warriors of Dragonfire Pass and Norgrimling's Ironbreaker. So really just going for a front line that's going to hold. Not necessarily like a hard-hitting Dwarven front line, which is probably smart. From there, he's got Shoalhammers, and Thorgrim is a powerhouse of a character. If Thorgrim gets in the front line and, is giving the Book of Grudges buff to everyone nearby, the 9 melee attack, those dwarves can certainly scrap with him nearby. In the back, it's going to be Longbeards, Hammers, double Hammer, actually. We do have one here, the P.K. Guard and the Standard Boys. Yeah, it's going to be great. Clintbet, thank you for the 100 SEK. So glad I caught your birthday stream. Go Arrow Barrack. I know it's time. It is time. Come on for Sigmar. Well, we'll see. It's going to be a good time for all. And now for the Chaos build, this is going to be Zeblasky. So Zeblasky actually stepped in like a true champion. He was, I accidentally invited one too many Wood Elf players to the tournament. And then he's like, hey man, we have Chaos open. I'll play some Chaos. So he doesn't normally play Chaos. But again, I think the matchup is pretty straightforward. So he should be fine. Marauder Horseman with throwing axes up in the sky. We do have a Chaos Feral Manticore. There's not too many Chaos mains out there. Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Fire, and of course Zeblasky is a very seasoned tournament player. And it looks like he's got piercing bolts, probably to snipe artillery, as well as fireball. Front line's going to be marauders and great weapons, which again is very standard. More throwing axes here, which I think it looks like Zeblasky was very, very much expecting a flying goon squad from Grombrindal, which if he had gone flying goon squad, he would have been in big trouble with 4 throwing axes plus 2 manticores, for sure. And in the back for Zeblasky, we do have a wild hell cannon, just lurking in the shadows. Now the dwarven cannon will be able to outtrade this bad boy, but nonetheless, it if it gets a couple shots off on something very elite, like one of the iron breakers, should be fine. So start when ready. All the players know they can start when ready, and we're good to go. King Adizal, they have wronged us. Let's go, Grombrindal. King Midas, do you have any advice on which things to group together? It really depends on your playstyle, but typically what I would recommend is grouping things together that are like high micro, put them in your low control group. So like 1, 2, and 3 are like your Lord, your Caster, your Cav, and then like your big blocky control groups, you can put them in like 4 or 5 because you don't need to access those as much. That would be my 2 cents. Mr. Berg, thank you for the 20 SEK for the Great Horned one. Yes. Well, you certainly have a very strong champion today in Drees. Now, guys, here's the thing. Let us know in chat. Are you guys a fan of the Dawi and the Ancestor Gods, or are you rooting for the Dark Gods? Are you a heretic as you worship one of the 4? Let us know in chat. Be quite eager to see where you guys stand. So the battle is underway. It looks like the Dwarven Cannon is singing downtown into the Marauder Horseman with throwing axes. Certainly not a bad idea. Get rid of some of that mobile AP. But, Gromby is 100% going to want to be shooting that Hell Cannon. And you know what Zeblasky could do? Zeblasky could actually hide the Hell Cannon, just like run it back and back, and then engage it later in the battle. Once, the cannon is a little bit mucked up and things have gotten a little bit messy, he could opt to go ahead and fight at that point. So we'll see. Good luck. Have fun being dropped by both players. It looks like we have a fair amount of heretics here in chat. Yeah, the Hell Cannon doing its thing. Obviously, it's a really inefficient trade. Oh, is he going to catch it in a Piercing Bolts? Look at this. Man, Zeblasky going for a Piercing Bolts play. Because that would have actually wrecked the cannon crew. Oh my god, is that going to hit Thorgrim on the head? That actually still did some big damage, for sure. How much did it do to Thorgrim? Now, Piercing Bolts, if it hits like a single entity right on the head, can do some damage. No, it didn't do as big a damage as I thought. It looks like, Gromby was able to dodge that. So it's not going to be terribly punishing. But another Fireball coming. Zeblasky burning through his Winds of Magic super quick. Which I suppose isn't a bad idea. Oh, Thorgrim going for the block! And does he get the cannon? He does. The dwarves are now down to 2 cannon pieces. So maybe he should have just done a Fireball instead of trying to use the big fancy Piercing Bolts, which is extremely expensive on the Winds of Magic department. It did look like Gromby tried to go in and block with Thorgrim. Like Thorgrim was moving over on his Throne of Power and trying to block that cannon, which is hilarious. And now the Hell Cannon blast is coming in from Zeblasky. Going to be going into the Ironbreakers. Going to be pretty painful. It looks like, no, he's actually going for the cannon. A little bit hard to tell. That shot kind of landed in the middle. Oh my god, I forgot to know. Zeblasky has 2 Hell Cannons. So he's got one here and one on the far side as well. Yeah, he needs to kill these Dwarven Cannons. Like, if Zeblasky can kill the Dwarven Cannon piece... Oh, here comes another Fireball. Thorgrim gonna block it. He's trying. Oh, he's just out of position. But the Dwarven Cannon does actually survive the Fireball. Zeblasky knows he has to kill this. Like, I think it's worth going kind of all in to finish off this cannon, because if you do, then the dwarves have to march out to double Hell Cannon, which is so miserable for sure. And again, that punishes Gromby for just bringing a very defensive box build, right? So more throwing axes going into the cannon. I would imagine a Fireball will be going down here in a couple seconds. Going to be trying to force this bad boy forward. And then Drees in chat saying that would have been so much better pre-Burning Bolts nerf. Yeah, it was pretty strong for sure. So another Burning Bolt's going down. One Dwarven Cannon is here, and this is going to force the dwarves to move forward, which is definitely not what they want to be doing, especially considering the Hell Cannon. Oh, and another Piercing Bolts is coming in. Oh, is that going to finish it? It's so close. It doesn't quite finish it off. The cannon still has one piece. It's shaking. It's wavering. If they run from the Dwarven formations, if the cannon kind of pieces out here, it's easily going to be taken apart by the Marauder Horsemen of Zeblasky. And down goes the Dwarven Cannon, and now Grombrindal and the High King, just like in the cinematic trailer, he's kind of like, no longer are we going to be cowering in our caves. It's time for us to march to war. So the dwarves are going to be marching out. Certainly sucks pretty bad losing that cannon, because now Chaos can simply just not take these engagements. Ooh, this is good value too here in the back. You can see Zeblasky is actually using the Marauder Horsemen to pick apart the hammers, which are a very choice target. Yeah, heavily armored, but no shields, and the throwing axes have great AP values. In the front, Hell Cannon is basically tearing apart the elite troops. The Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are in really bad shape, and you can see Zeblasky is pulling ahead very, very quickly. And there's no way that Zeblasky, this seasoned tournament player, is going to be letting these cannons come back online. The Dwarven Cannon crew looking very aggressive here, actually charging in melee combat, but yeah, the backline being picked apart. Here comes another Fireball. Fireball does have some decent kind of side penetration. If we take a look here, you can see 5,200 HP. And down to 4,700, and then a Hell Cannon blast down to 4,000. Oh my god, that is such a big oof right there. Man, that was painful. And the Dwarven army is very much being picked apart. The double Hell Cannon, I certainly wouldn't expect it. You know, it's a thing that, like, if somebody brings gyros and or cannons, can be countered very, very aggressively. And yeah, you can see in the back, Zeblasky even had some Warhounds that I did miss in my initial analysis. And these cannons are, yeah, they're not going to last long. Only 4 of them left. And the doggos here can kind of chase down the Iron Drakes. A little bit of a misplay from Zeblasky could give some leeway back to Grombrindal if he lets his Chaos Feral Manscore get rampaged into a bunch of Slayers. He could be in a bit of a precarious situation. I mean, because, you know, the Dwarves still have some good fighting power. They have the Peak Gate Guard and they have another group of Hammers, which are somewhat functional at this point. But yeah, he doesn't want to get this Manticore rampage. That would be very, very unfortunate. I think he's probably going to notice it right now since he's kind of microing over here. And there goes the rampage. So the Chaos Feral Manscore is going to be flying into the Slayers. Now, back in the front line, we do have some blasting charges going down on Chaos Warriors as they do fight the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Might actually be a win for the Dwarves here. Hell Cannon shot, blowing up some of the Chaos Warriors as well. And now Thorgrim is going to be moving into the front line. And the Manticore for Zeblasky in the back is rampaging. And you can see here the Chaos Warhounds in response are being sent in, but they're being sent into Slayers, which isn't necessarily the most fun situation for them, but we'll see how it goes. Both Hell Cannons still shooting. One of them's a little bit low in ammo, actually very, very low. It looks like it only has 3 shots left. So this cannon is going to keep shooting until it runs out of ammo, of course, and probably is going to be going after the Hammerers, I would imagine. In the front line, the Dwarves are doing well. The Chaos Warriors are being beaten down. Thorgrim, the High King, of course, is quite a raid boss. He's got 5,000 plus HP, and he's going to be buffing up the melee attack with these Peak Gate Guard to 66, which is pretty insane. Also, they do sunder the armor of the Chaos Warriors with their armor sundering ability, which makes the other Dwarf troops here, like the Ironbreakers and the Longbeards, that much more efficient. But it's going to be tough. There's still a Manticore. There's still a Chaos Sorcerer up here on the Manticore, which can do some good cycle charging. But, you know, Hell Cannons are running a little bit low on ammo, and there could be a potential for a Dwarven comeback if they're able to run the Hell Cannons out of ammo with their faces. And then from there, basically just form a bit of a nasty Death Star that, you know, Chaos might not have the stopping power to finish, right? With Thorgrim buffing and his leadership and, you know, all that sort of good stuff kind of anchoring the position. So we'll see how it goes. So here in the back, the Iron Drakes with the Trollhammer Torpedoes are being hunted down. Probably not going to be long for this Earth, as there are some Warhounds nearby. Granted, the Slayers are doing a great job. They were able to finish off the Manscore, so the Chaos Feral Manscore does get taken out. And now these Doggos are charging into the Slayers, which honestly isn't bad for the Doggos, but nice blasting going on. Iron Drakes able to take some HP off those Marauder Horsemen. The Dwarves are anchoring this position pretty well, but you can see, yeah, they're very low. Peak Gate Guard are actually broken. Ironbreakers are next to unbreakable. Those units take freaking forever to go down. The Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are, of course, pretty good leadership, but I don't know. I feel like the Hell Cannons have pretty much gotten their full value. I mean, only 51 kills, but every single one of those kills in that Hell Cannon was against something valuable, right? Like Norgrimling's Ironbreaker or Hammer or something like that, and they probably did a lot of HP damage to boot. So Bounce of Power is looking pretty grim. Honestly, one of the best ways Chaos could win this is army losses, because if you really look at it objectively, I mean, there's still a fair amount of Dwarves, Longbeards, and, you know, high leadership units, and Chaos is running out of ammo on its Hell Cannon. Granted, this is the Mighty Soul of Damnation, which is up to 118 whopping kills. And, I mean, yeah, Chaos doesn't have a ton of stopping power. I guess having 60 Chaos Warriors here is pretty sweet. And the Marauder Horsemen are going to make sure that things don't come back. Here, the Manticore is broken. The Dwarves are able to break that bad boy, and the Slayers are down to 12 models, which is definitely not good for them. But these Slayers have really carried their weight this game. But I think the Dwarves are going to be getting slapped with army losses very, very soon. Yeah, and just kind of like tight, use your Hell Cannon, break the Dwarves with army losses, and then you pretty much avoid your #1 issue, which is having to fight Thorgrim here. Thorgrim, of course, nothing on this Chaos roster would be very good against him. Manticores will suck against his freaking 125 armor, and yeah, he's going to be tough to bring down for sure. So these guys are wavering. The Dwarves, the only thing they really have left is Thorgrim, basically. And yeah, even with Thorgrim being healthy, there's no way he can survive 2 Manticores, Chaos Warriors, and Marauders. And that is going to be game 1. They've wronged us once again. And there you have it, my friends. Chaos is going to be advancing. The Dark Gods rejoice. Grombrindal has been eliminated from the faction war, and Zeblasky is going to be moving forward. So let's go ahead and head on over to the faction war bracket, where we will be advancing Zeblasky. And he was saying he doesn't know how to play Chaos. It looked like he's pretty good at Chaos. He definitely did a very good job. I believe it was a little bit, yeah. Last time, I think Dwarves may have played Chaos, or the time before that, and I think Dwarves actually won it. But this time, Chaos is back for vengeance. And now, my friends, we're on the next match of the day, which is going to be Soothsayer versus King of the Dead, which is certainly going to be quite a scrap. GG, well played. Zeblasky says so, there's that. He really was not expecting to win that. Of course, Grombrindal is a very solid Dwarf main. But the double Hell Cannon, you know, just causing problems, man. So next up, we have our match, which is going to be King of the Dead versus Soothsayer. Greenskins against Tomb Kings. Very excited for this match. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to get this one set up for you guys. And it is time. I know the ancestors have been shamed a little bit, but it's okay. They'll be back. So let's get the name set up. So we got Soothsayer. facing off against King of the Dead. Very excited for this matchup, guys. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. So we'll let the players know they can start when ready. Start when ready. Oh, I can see Sooth's build. It's looking quite nasty here. You know, I've been playing, I consider myself to be a bit of a Greenskin guy now. I play them quite a bit after their DLC. I tend to do that with factions when they get released, but in this case, man, I've been struggling against Kings, Tomb Kings with my Greenskins. It's like one of the matchups I've been having trouble. So I'm really eager to see what Soothsayer, who arguably is one of the best players of all time in Total War Warhammer, is able to do here against King of the Dead, one of the best Tomb Kings players out there. Should be good. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. We're going to get this party started. Sooth and King saying hi to all of you guys. Now I'm going to check back in and see what we got going. All right, perfect. So it looks like we found some replacements. All right, excellent. So it looks like we have Giles LeBreton, who's going to be playing Bretonia. That's very thematic. And then we have Head Mantis, who's going to be playing the Beastman. Very excited. Perfect. Thank you guys for handling that. Much appreciated. All right. So let's go ahead and load back into this game here. Got it. He's in. Sounds good. I'll check the Discord, Sooth, and we'll get this all set up. Thank you guys for working. So I can update the brackets now. So for the brackets, we have the Mantis, the Head Mantis, who shall be playing the Beastman. So we're just going to put Mantis for short. And then he shall be facing off against Alberic, a.k.a. Aeroberic, Aerocrastic, Ever-Chosen Champion. And then here down below, Zyphos has been replaced by Giles, which is going to be awesome. We are all set. Giles, you play Red Legion. What's that, guys? Just getting this... Lives at Home Production. So happy to finally catch a stream. So sad to see the Dowie get taken out first. Yeah, grim tidings, my friend. All good. So we're all set. So now we're just waiting for the next match to start. I don't have a screen blocker, so I'm just going to kind of hang here and we can jump on over as soon as the battle does load in. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, we're all set, man. Players doing some work. I know, it's been a good time. We're not using a screen blocker today, like intentionally. I'm just purposely not using a screen blocker. Never again will this happen on my watch. Well, it probably will. Just wait till the next stream, but you guys get the picture. You guys get the picture. So the players are now loading in. It's going to be Greenskins against Tomb Kings, Soothsayer versus King of the Dead. A very high-profile match here in this first scrap. We look good. We're currently on the beta, yes. We are currently on the beta. So the beta fixes, it actually nerfed the fermented fungi. So fermented fungi used to have like a 36-second duration. I think it's now like 17 or 18 seconds. So there was a pretty big nerf to that, which is cool. And aside from that, it fixes the weapon damage bug and a couple other game-breaking bugs, which were in campaign as well. So now we've loaded in. We're going to be adjusting the nameplates here a little bit. Got to make them look somewhat presentable here. Got to respect our players. And now here we are. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining. In this match, it's going to be Soothsayer leading the forces of the Greenskins. And Soothsayer, of course, using Skarsnik with the fermented fungi. Of course, a very good choice. But fermented fungi has been nerfed, so if you guys take a look, it's still very strong, but it only lasts 17 seconds as opposed to 34 or 36 that it did before. So it's much weaker than it was previously, which is certainly good. Aside from that, Soothsayer is going to be rocking a Goblin and Savage Orc Big in front line. So honestly, I think as far as all the Greenskin infantry go, I think that Savage Orc Biggins are by far one of the best choices. They just seem to trade effectively versus everything. It's like, hey, you got some Minotaurs and Cryptors you need to kill, point the Savage Orc Biggins at them. Hey, you got to kill some Graveguard that are armored infantry. Somehow the Savage Orc Biggins are able to beat through that armor. They just are a very, very solid infantry choice. So Savage Orc Biggins into the sunset, of course, will be good at buzzsawing through skeletons, and if they have to fight constructs, they have some stopping power and, you know, Nahakar Horsemen, things like that. You guys get the picture. Orc Boys, AP Cloonies. We do also have, and I don't know if what this is, but this is like a Soothsayer thing. He always brings the Goblin Wolf Chariots. I'm going to have to ask him someday, like, you know, there's pump wagons, there's plenty of other choices that the Greenskins have for this type of unit, but Soothsayer just loves his Goblin Wolf Chariots. He always has one, it seems, in almost like every matchup, which is crazy. Orc Boar Boys, which of course are a cheap AP option against Ushapti and Constructs, and certainly can fight against these skeleton horsemen. 2 more orc boar boys on this side, and it looks like Sooth does also have a black orc big boss, aka Bob. So he's going to be giving immune to psych to these boar boys, which is pretty good. If they end up fighting like a big scary construct, that'll help. On top of that, we have a giant river troll hag with spirit leech and mither, however you say that, and then it's going to be Skarsnik as well. So certainly a very solid greenskin army. And now for King, I know his build more or less, but it looks like he has not changed it. It's his same build. So in the front, it's going to be Tomb Guard. Tomb Guard can hold pretty well compared to skeletons and cheaper chaff units, and we'll let the players know they can start when ready. Good luck, have fun. So he uses 2 groups of skeleton chariots, and these guys run through Savage Orcs pretty well. It's a really, really well thought out counter, actually. On top of that, he does have a Tomb Scorpion, a Necrotect, and a Casket of Souls. Now, Casket of Souls is also a very good hard counter against his Savage Orc Biggins. So basically, you use the Casket, use the skeleton chariots to really punch through the Savage Orcs, and then from there you use your Necropolis Knights to stop some of the higher mass units like Stone Trolls as well as the Orc Boar Boys. But it looks like King actually changed his build a little bit. He used to bring 2 Necropolis Knights with halberds. He only brought 1, and aside from that, he has filled the rest of his army using the Nehekar Horsemen and some of these other troops. So that is it. Yeah, that is it. Aerocrastic in chat saying he just likes them by design, and Ninja Hun used to demand they get nerfed because they are skirmish chariots. Oh, that's pretty funny. Anyways, guys, the battle is underway. Soothsayer is advancing. It looks like the first Casket of Souls rains some hot fire here into the Orc Boar Boys, and Sooth with some MLG juking right here. He is able to pull back his Savage Orc Biggins and dodge a little bit of that Casket fire, so it just goes to show you can actually dodge those. And here, look at the Mighty Wolf Chariots causing some huge problems here for King of the Dead, shooting their mighty shafts into the face here of these Nehekar Horsemen. See how that works out for them, but it's kind of funny because they can like skirmish off the other units and then charge in, but the Casket shooting in, going after the Orc Boar Boys, and has taken out 4 models here, and over here it looks like it has taken out about 9 models, I think. I think they start with 90. So now, I wonder if King's going to go right up the pipe with the chariots. Probably should just go after the Orc Boys right now. Like, use the Casket to buffer back Sooth's Orc Boar Boys, and then use your chariots to kind of hammer into the very undefended front line. We'll see how that goes. A nasty shot coming in from the Casket right there. Man, 15 models off that. Look at the Savage Orc Boar Boys just getting wrecked by that. Extremely brutal stuff. And here comes the Skeleton Chariots, once again charging into the front line. The Orc Boar Boys are going to get run over pretty good. And yep, a lot of damage coming in. Those Skeleton Chariots certainly quite cost effective. Not the most hard-hitting chariots in the game, but they do have a ton of models. So they have 9 chariot models. I think many have like 3 to 6, and these bad boys are rocking 9, which is pretty cool. It's very fun to see the Tomb Kings played as like an actual chariot faction. Tyler Coventry, I had nothing of value to say. Here's some money. Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Really nice play here by King. He pulls back his Skeleton Spearmen and then kind of replaces them with a charge coming in from the Nehekar Horsemen, which is a very, very solid play. But I would imagine Sooth is going to have some follow-up using the Fanatics or the Loonies here. Yeah, really good harass by King of the Dead. He's done some really solid damage in the front line here, but now Skarsnik and the Hag and some of the harder hitters are going to be arriving, and the Savage Orc Biggins, especially with some buffs. Look at this, the big old hog charge. We have the Savage Orc Boar Boys, or the Orc Boar Boys, plus the Savage Orcs, bull rushing into the Tomb Guard and doing some really big damage, but King is going to be countercharging, using his chariots in the front, and on this side, he is going to be using his Snake Knights, so the Necropolis Knights with halberds going to be charging in, trying to force an engagement here against these Boar Boys, using the Usex's Incantation of Desiccation to lower the stats of that entire blob there. So far, a very, very wild fight. It seems like King got the very, very good early engagement, so that's pretty much guaranteed when you're facing off against Greenskins and you have a Casket and things like that. And here we have the River Troll Hag a little bit in the back line. It looks like the River Troll Hag was beelining, trying to get on top. Oh no, look at this. Oh, Kotep has been fermented fungi. Oh, that is so bad. And Bob is here and Skarsnik has rampaged. Oh, the DJ booth is getting beaten down. I don't know if King can save this. You can see Kotep has rampaged. It's about to wear off. It's a much shorter duration now, so it's not as bad as it was before, but that's still really brutal. Granted, Kotep probably would not have been able to get away anyways. He's super slow in that Casket. And down goes Kotep! Bob, Skarsnik, and Throg, the wife of Throg, beat down Kotep. So suddenly, Tomb Kings are leaderless. However, many aspects of the fight are going very well for the Tomb Kings. You can see pretty much the whole Greenskin front line is breaking. The Boar Boys are running. Over here, it looks like it's a decent engagement, some Boar Boys. But yeah, the Greenskins are certainly losing the battle aside from the leadership department, it looks like. But nonetheless, Tomb Kings are probably going to fall behind. I mean, these are 3 very powerful characters. Skarsnik, River Troll Hag, and Bob. They are showing no mercy. And now Bob is getting in there with his Wild Hog, and he is actually beating down this Necrotech pretty good, especially in conjunction with the Spirit Leech that's going down. Now, that is definitely very rough for King of the Dead, but it's not over. He still has his sneaky Snake Knights, and a lot of the Greenskin stuff is very haggard, of course. The Orc Boar Boys will probably lose pretty badly when the Snake Cab get him right here. And I guess he does have some Savage Orc Biggins here with a get back here, keeping those bad boys fighting. But yeah, King really needs to keep his Necrotech alive and also save his Tomb Scorpion to try and goon out Skarsnik in the 4th quarter. On top of that, King did also use his Ushapti summon. Yeah, he was a little bit too close to the front line. King, had the casket very, very close to the Greenskin battle lines. And then, had it been further back, he could have protected it with his Necropolis Knights or different things like that. But in this case, he didn't really have the means to protect it. It kind of just got gooned, and yeah, no choice there. So now the Snake Cav are going to be charging in and bull rushing in and certainly getting some good damage. The Greenskins, Savage Orc Biggins here are wavering, very close to going down. And now we have the Orc Boar Boys charging in once again into the Skeleton Chariots, which King really needs to keep alive if he can. The Snake Knights, I'm surprised he didn't go with his usual Greenskin build, which is double Snake Knight. They seem to actually be doing super well here, just bullying every Greenskin unit they come into contact with. But it looks like Sooth is pulling ahead in this game. The Ushopti summon was already used, which is certainly a bit of an ill omen here for the Tomb Kings. Oh, and the Giant Sack of Meat KO! Coming in and finishing off that mighty Necrotect, it looks like. Well, it didn't actually get the killing blow, but let's just say it did because it looks hilarious. Snake Knights still going strong. Skeleton Chariots charging in once again. Through their own troops, so it's not going to be quite as impactful, but still will do some decent damage here against these Savage Orcs. And the Tomb Scorpion trying to goon out Skarsnik, which I think is a good play. If the Tomb Scorpion could perhaps take out Skarsnik, who is infantry size, versus the bonus versus infantry of the Scorpion, that could be very strong. However, Bob is not going to be letting his mighty war boss Skarsnik go down like a chump, and it looks like Thrag, the wife of Throg, is coming in and is going to be getting her giant sack of meat and continuing to beat on this Tomb Scorpion. It just goes to show that had he been able to keep Kotzeb alive, this certainly could be a much closer game right now, but it's not over. Tomb Scorpion just needs to stay alive. That's like a big late game finisher, but right as I say that, the Fermented Fungi comes in once again. Again, the duration is much less than it was before, but that's still going to be very punishing. So King knows he has to save this. He charges in with the Necropolis Knights with Halberds, and, the Halberds will be okay against the Black Orc Big Boss and against the River Troll Hag. He might be able to save it. It looks like the Tomb Scorpion did take a very good attack animation for him and did kind of rotate away from the Greenskin leadership. And yeah, it looks like he's fine. So the Fermented Fungi nerf really showing here. And he's able to stabilize that bad boy. And look at this, the Goblin Wolf Chariot charging into the back, sending a message and breaking through the spears here, who are completely broken off. And now if you look around the battlefield, the absence of leadership and magic. So King lost his Lord, a high DPS piece, and magic all in one, right? And you could really feel it, as now the Tomb Kings are looking very thin on the ground. Skeleton Chariots are being hunted down by a morass of angry Greenskins. And that is going to be it. So Soothsayer is going to be defeating King of the Dead in the first round. Man, King, you needed 2 Snake Knights, man. 2 of them. And there you go. Well played, King. Certainly a very tough opponent, and a tough one there. I'm going to be taking some notes. That was a very good build by Sooth there. But yeah, Kotzeb getting gooned, just pretty much cost him the game. That was explicitly the reason why. That was brutal. Bob is very strong. Bob does not mess around. Yeah, he absolutely does not mess around here. So now we're going to be jumping on over to the Faction War bracket. So now we have Soothsayer facing off against Zeblasky. I'm sure Zeblasky's excited to play one of his off factions against someone's main, and it also happens to be Greenskins. So it's going to be Zeblasky versus Soothsayer in our first of the, I guess that would be the round of 8 in our next matchup here. But now we have Head Mantis against Borderlow. So it's going to be Aerocrastic on Borderlow facing off against the Beastmen, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. It was all the Wolf Chariot, guys. It was all the Wolf Chariot. Yes, 100%. So now we're going to be jumping into our next match. Let me go ahead and check with the players here. See if all is good. So if Head Mantis is still heading on over to the beta. All right, let's see. No problem. We can go to next round and wait for Mantis. Shelby Tripp, thank you for the donation. Fly on Bread, and I love watching your streams. Thanks for always posting. You're very welcome. Thank you for your support. I'm glad you and Fly on Bread, who of course I've seen in my Discord quite a bit, enjoyed the streams. Yeah, Faction Wars are one of the more fun ones for sure. And then Crispy Bacon, use my knowledge, Turin. I did. Crisp, it's on, dude. You may not have noticed it in that battle because it was Tomb Kings, but I did turn it on after you told me yesterday, or 2 days ago. I did use your knowledge, and we are here. All right, so we're going to go to the next match. I think we're going to come back to Arrow, so it's going to be Anticity versus Icepower Total War. So this is going to be the returning champ. Anticity with Vampire Coast he is a force of nature, and he's facing off against a newcomer, Icepower Total War, who's been training very tough, very hard for this matchup. So I'm quite excited to do this one. Hey guys. Start when ready. No rush. All right, so it's going to be Icepower versus Anticity. The returning champ is here. Icepower Total War, and let's update these nameplates. Get it looking all good and tasty for you guys. And we should be good. So Icepower Total War with a nice little build. Certainly dig it. Curious how it's going to work against Anticity. Anticity has a very Like, a lot of people kind of play Vampire Coast as like, they'll use the monstrous units and a combination of guns and monsters and things like that. But he plays a very defined playstyle. He really likes to use those wide gun lines, just like brutal stuff. Deck gunners, hand gunners, bombers. He just goes in deep with that kind of type of play, which is quite a bit of fun. Yes. Yes, and here we go. The blood effects are lame. Yeah, we'll do a poll on it. If you guys don't want it for future streams, I mean, it's not a big deal. Honestly, I didn't even notice it last game. All right, guys, and now we're loading in. We got to update the nameplates here as we get in. Anticity, of course, is our returning champion. Able to defeat the likes of Falcon in the last ever chosen with his coast. And now he is back in business to defend his strap. In Faction Wars, as a matter of fact, we've never had a two-time winner, which is very interesting. We've never had any faction win twice in a row or any player. It's been a different person every single time, which I think is very refreshing. I like seeing that. Missing a couple ropes in the bottom? Don't worry about it. So Icepower Total War is a Dark Elf main. He's a relative newcomer to the scene, but has been doing very well in the tournaments he's been playing in, the King of the Hills. And, it's time for him to rise and face the mightiest challenge of all. A lot of it will come down to his micro. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the build here for the Druki. It's going to be, Luther Harkin is just so damn good. God, he's like one of the most annoying lords in the entire game to take care of. It's so tough. Yes. Dob Play says, if I don't get to see elves getting exploded in half, I'm going to be disappointed. Dob, it kind of sounds like, wouldn't you want the undead to lose, though? I feel like that would be your jam, man. Wouldn't you rather see the undead being impaled by the mighty shafts of the Dark Elf bolt throwers? So for Anticity's forces, it's going to be, just like we predicted, it's going to be deck gunners, hand gunners, and bombers. On top of that, he does have mortars in the back, deck hand mobs in the front, Luther Harkin, a vampire caster, and 2 Mourngulls for a sweeper unit to help them win the infantry fight, and then it's going to be a couple scurvy dogs to pressure the back line. So a nice build for sure. If any of you guys are Vampire Coast players and you're like, I wonder what build do I bring, this is going to be perfect for you guys. So if you guys are like wondering what build to bring against like a faction as Coast, just watch Anticity play. And watch how he deploys his formations, you'll be in good shape. So certainly quite solid for sure, no joke here. And now for the forces here of Icepower Total War, opting to go in with Corsairs. Now the more common thing in this matchup is seeing Bleak Swords, but Corsairs do have a niche in that they're very good at cutting through chaff, and they're also somewhat armored. So if they do take a full charge from like bombers or something like that, they're not going to be going down as quickly. So I actually like the Corsair pick. He's got triple bolt thrower, which I also agree with. I think the bolt throwers are a very good inclusion. They can shoot at Luther, they can snipe the Mourngulls, they can go in spray fire mode and kill the handgunners and bombers. They can shoot deck gunners. They certainly have some, good options here, which is solid. And now going into Dark Shards, a little bit different than my playstyle against Coast. When I play Coast, I like to use Shades because they can hide from the mortars a little bit easier. But Dark Shards with shields certainly have some teeth here. They can trade with the handgunners, and Dark Shards hit hard. They can bring things down. He does also have 3 groups of the Dark Riders with shields. And the most important thing for Icepower here is going to be making sure that those scurvy dogs don't get into his archer lines and or his bolt thrower lines. If they do, he'll probably just lose the game. So the Dark Riders need to be very efficient at shutting those down. On top of that, Icepower is coming in with a Supreme Sorceress of Fireball. And Fireball spam, especially if you overcast it, can typically snipe an artillery piece one at a time. So I certainly think having the Supreme Sorceress of Fire, and Burning Head is also very good against zombies. So it's a nice build by Icepower. A little bit unorthodox in using Dark Shards and Blackheart Corsairs, but that does not mean it's bad. Yes. So let us know. Dob says, Powder, Elves, Undead. Fair play, man. Fair play. Let us know in chat, guys. Are you a fan of the Druki? The foul, sadistic Dark Elves? Are they your peeps? Are you having some fun over there in the frozen north? Or are you looking for them sweet lizard trinkets and Anticity? All that sort of good stuff. Let us know in chat, guys. Thank you so much for joining. This is Faction Wars, and we are here in our Dark Elf versus Coast matchup. Good luck, have fun. Being dropped by both players. Good sports all around. And of course, the cash prize for today's tournament is being put up by myself. So thank you all of you guys who support here on the channel and on Patreon. You guys are making this prize pool possible for the players. So thank you. Donut Sticks. Honestly, I think the Dwarf build earlier was a little bit suboptimal. Yeah. It was weird. It was a bit of a strange build for sure. Like, you can beat double Hell Cannon with Dwarves if you just go like super wide with like Thunders and, even like 2 cannons or some Gyrocopter support. But the build he brought was super elite. He brought like 2 hammers and then the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers, and that's pretty much gonna just walk right into Hell Cannon fire. All right, yeah, I see it. We got for the captain. All right, for the loot. I know it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to go against the pirates, but we have some elf fans in chat. We got Bob in here. Bob Hands representing his Druki. This is certainly David versus Goliath, Icepower Total War. When he was invited to the tournament, certainly was ready to face Anticity, but it's quite a fearsome foe. Anticity is going to be coming in with Luther Harkin. Luther is a pain to kill. Dark Shards can kill him, but it's going to take some time to catch him, while he's sitting down. This is a really good positioning here by Anticity. Actually, hiding his mortar behind the trees here is going to make it much tougher for the bolt throwers to shoot it. But, 3 bolt throwers should be able to easily kill a mortar, like easily. And then from there, Anticity is going to have to march forward. So yeah, just get the bolt throwers, snipe the mortar piece, use a fireball on it as well. Call it a day, man. And then you're going to be in good shape. And you can see he has to scoot up a little bit to make this happen. There's no point in shooting Luther because Anticity is just going to be juking back and forth. And that's going to be very, very tough for sure. Clancy Murphy asks, and somebody in chat can perhaps answer this, have there ever been any orcs that worship the Chaos Gods? I feel like some orcs would be down for like Khorne, but I don't know. That's more of a lore question for the mighty Sotek or Spartacus. That's some delicious carbonated H2O, my friends. Cross that off your bingo list. I saw that one going around Reddit. So here comes a Supreme Sorceress with the fireball. It might hit a tree here. Oh, it goes through the top of the tree. Straight up matrixed right there. And now it's going to be going in. And look at this. Really good start for Icepower, honestly. He kills 2 mortar pieces right away. Anticity pulls back, but yeah. Wow, that's a really, really good start here for the Dark Elves. The triple bolt throw really paying off. And now, Anticity is going to be having to move out of his comfort zone, right? Vampire Coast is not a faction that likes to move. So now what you need to do very, very quickly before the the Vampire Elves get here, what you need to do before Vampire Coast gets to your front line is you need to get the bolt throwers and switch onto the deck gunners, like hardcore. The mortar you can probably just ignore, although I think it still has 2 pieces, does it? Nope, it's done. Yeah, the mortar's gone. He took it out. Very, very nice play. Although a little bit of an overextension here from Icepower could cost him the game. If he lets his sorcerers get a little bit too far ahead and gets gooned by these characters, that could just be game over. So yeah, Taunt is going down. It looks like Luther is going to be going in for the Alpha Strike. Hopefully some Dark Shards are nearby to lend some fire support. And it looks like he's able to get away before he takes too much damage. Morngul's coming in the flank here, and the Scurvy Dogs are going to be blitzing into the artillery lines. Very lucky stuff here for the Dark Elves. You can see the Supreme Sorceress hasn't taken too much damage from Luther. And now she's going to be getting surrounded, but the Dark Shards need to just get all fire support and put it on Luther here. Get some spears forward and get some of these guys to intercept the Morngul's on the flank. And now it looks like the spray fire mode is going into the back line, and things are going pretty well for the Druki. But all it takes is one misplay. I mean, Luther here just absolutely gooning this character, but also taking a ton of fire in response. If the Supreme Sorceress could live, or at least trade with Luther, that could, make this situation worth it. But yeah, she's getting eaten. The Scurvy Dogs have like a perfect surround here. Dark Shards need to just pound Luther, though, like with everything they have. I mean, that's some big damage. Honestly, if Luther goes down here or gets very low, that could be a worthwhile trade. Yeah, he gets pretty darn low. Here the Morngul's are coming in, going to be intercepted here by the spears in the back. Now the Dark Shard shooting in once again, going after Luther, and getting a lot of damage. That might be worth it, actually. Dark Riders are chasing down the Scurvy Dogs, and it just goes to show, man, one misplay against, top-level dudes can cost it for you. But this one isn't over. Luther took a lot of damage, and many things in the Dark Elf roster are going very well. Some Dark Riders in the back have shut down the deck gunners, you can see. Sorry about that, guys. A little wild phone call going down. But the Dark Shard lines are doing well, and, functionally speaking, Icepower's build is doing very well. Had he just been a little bit more careful, I think Icepower would actually be in a very dominant position right now against his force. I mean, the back line, he shut down deck gunners and hand gunners here, which is really nice. Those deck gunners are actually crumbling. The front line, of course, getting hammered by bombers pretty good. Morngul's are forced back, but yeah, the Dark Shard line is actually doing really, really good damage for sure. Those guys are doing some solid work. I mean, I guess as a cheap alternative to Shades, if you can protect them, they can pretty much do just as much damage. Of course, Shades do hit harder, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. So here, these deck gunners have stabilized. These bad boys are going to be getting back online with a very good invocation play. Some of the Scurvy Doggos are crumbling, and now you can see the Dark Riders are being chased off. So now it's very much a game of cat and mouse. Bounce Fire is actually pretty even. I don't think anybody's in a very commanding position. Luther does kill very quickly, but you have to remember that the Supreme Sorceress is one of the squishier characters in the game. She has less than 3,000 HP, no defensive stats, and of course is going to be dying to something that costs like 2 or 3 times as much. Yes. So here comes the Vampire Coast battle lines. You can see here the Morngul's are pushing in, but the Bolt Thrower is doing very, very good damage. And now we have some Dread Spears and Dark Riders charging into the bomber lines, which may be a little bit ill-advised, as Anticity's handgun line is really aggressively pushing here. In the back, we do also have some Witch Elves. Maybe if Icepower can rampage Luther with those Witch Elves when he decides to land and get the Dark Shard follow-up, that could be very, very strong as well. And here we do have some Zombie Part Deckhand mobs advancing. The shields on the Dark Shard certainly will help. They do have silver shields, so they're going to be pretty durable against such fire. And now we have the Corsairs pushing in once again, but the bomber lines of Anticity are just doing massive work. And I don't think there's anything in the back line to really push past Anticity's Zombie Part Deckhand mobs. I have to say it's a really good game by the Dark Elves for sure, but I just don't know that they can come back with losing their Lord and their Magician that early in the game. Dark Shard shooting once again, tearing apart the Morngul's. Morngul's getting taken apart. Now the Murderous Prowess is active, so the Dark Elves are going to be getting leadership, AP damage, charge bonus, all sorts of good stuff. And if he can melt this battle line here, that could be definitely quite solid. Here we have the Reaper Bolt Thrower still shooting, but who knows for how long. The Witch Elves in the back definitely want to come forward and help clear these out. As a matter of fact, Witch Elves could push up and attack these zombies and also rampage the Vampire Fleet Captain here and potentially take that Captain out. Bolt Thrower is still shooting into Luther Harkin and getting some really good damage. Bleak Swords have advanced into the bomber lines as well. Anticity's front line looking very low, but the handgun line is very, very nasty, and that's how we saw him win the last faction war, by using this nasty handgunner line. But this is a good rampage opportunity for sure. Here come the Zombie Power Deckhand mobs, the Bolt Thrower battle line. What are they going to be shooting? It looks like they are going after the Vampire Fleet Captain. And I think a big old breath attack going to be coming in from Luther Harkin as well. Let's see what he's going to be targeting. This is good. You know, Icepower's doing a great job, man. Just that one Lord getting caught in the beginning. Very, very painful, but he might still be able to come back and win this. If he can kill this caster. Oh, and the caster gets gooned by the Dark Shard lines. And guys, we still have Witch Elves here. Witch Elves can charge forward with Dark Riders and fend off the Morgulls and Scurvy Dogs easy. So if he can keep these guys functional, keep these Dark Shards shooting, there's no more healing for Luther. What you see is what you got. Now, Anticity's handgunner line still advancing, all four of them in very, very good shape here, but the Dark Elves certainly have a lot of stopping power left. Granted, some of the Bolt Throwers are being taken offline, but now, of course, the Dark Shards should turn and start shooting here at some of the Morgulls and some of these other pieces, and we'll certainly see how that goes. So here comes a massive torrent of fire coming in from the Dark Shards. I mean, they could, turn on Luther, for example, and take him out, and yeah, the Morgulls are going down very, very quickly here. What a well-played game by both players. This is just truly a scrappy one. And yeah, I would get the Witch Elves and just charge Luther right now. Oh, and Luther Harkin is getting taken apart! Look at that! He's rampaged, and down goes Luther! Icepower's Dark Shards able to just pound Luther to dust. But I don't know, is that going to be enough? The balance of power is pretty darn even now. Morgulls are going down. Witch Elves, though, going to be taking a ton of firepower. Looks like the Druki do have some spears and other troops in the back. Are the shielded Dark Shards going to be able to win this trade? Definitely got to keep those bombers from getting there. Oh my god, this is such a close battle. The Witch Elves charging in, but of course are not enjoying that bomber fire. They're at negative 33 leadership at the moment. I think the Dark Shards could maybe fall back and just kind of fan out. The Silver Shields will really help them win many of these trades, but yeah, they need to fall back probably with the Dark Shards, I think. It's a really, really close battle, guys. This one is just down to the wire. And here goes the Morgulls. Morgulls are down to 4 models, looks like negative 48 leadership. Those bad boys should be crumbling here. Yeah, and the Vampire Coast only has a couple bombers kind of advancing up. Oh, man, it's looking like the handgun lines might be able to win it, though. There are some Bolt Throwers back. I mean, that is a lot of firepower, and unfortunately for the Dark Elves, there's a ton of ammo left here on Anticity's handgun mobs. They are, like, very, very plentiful in the ammo department. Got to make sure you don't turn your backs to them also, unless, I guess if you're far enough away, you can kind of pull back here. Bombers are getting worn down. If there was some Dark Riders or some sort of a disruption tool, maybe the Dark Elves could kind of collapse on them. We'll certainly see how this goes. Man, Luther Harkin got punished so freaking hard by that Dark Shard fire. Just like one slip up, man. It's all it takes against these like heavy missile factions like this. So here, these Zombie Power Deckhand mobs are advancing. Going to be taking some Dark Shard fire to the face as they do advance. But here they come. Definitely he wants to make sure he's shooting one of the higher ammunition units. But yeah, the handguns have plenty of ammo. I don't see them running away. Yeah, I don't see them running out of ammo. Not running away. Of course, they're undead, so they're not going to run away, but that is a lot of handgun stopping power. The Dark Elves are looking very, very beleaguered here. Balance of power is getting more and more into the favor here. The Pirates, as that handgun fire withers into these battle lines. But if the Witch Elves can like get in, or some of the infantry can get in and muck up a couple of them, that could be incredibly strong. So here they come, shooting in once again. Some of the deckhand mobs in the front are getting worn down. You can see the balance of power ebbing back and forth and back and forth. Dark Shards a little bit low in ammo, but the Silver Shields are helping them stick in this fight that much longer. The Witch Elves need to blitz in. They need to just run for it to buy some time for the Dark Shards at least. And look at this. Even the Bolt Thrower crews trying to get back online. Dark Shards are trading back in. Some of the deckhand mobs in the front going down. And that's a lot of Zombie Power deckhand mobs that are not in good shape here, but it's looking like it's going to be a GG. I don't know if the Druki can do this. I don't think so. The Witch Elves are trying to charge. They're pretty quick with 44 speed. I need to get the spheres moving in there as well. Everything needs to just move forward at this point. Just throw everything at the wall here. These Zombie Power deckhand mobs are crumbling, so they're going to start going down, but that's going to be GG. Well played. That was a great game. My goodness. Yeah. And, like, that's the thing. Maybe if the deck gunners had died earlier, that would have been, you know, all you needed. One sec, guys. Just got to go check. My dog is barking nonstop. Something's going on out there. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Man, what a well-played game, guys. Let's hear a big round of applause for Icepower Total War. Though he has been defeated, he put up an excellent fight and was almost able to scrap that game back. But despite losing his lord and his magic, imagine if he had kept his caster alive. Very well played. That was an incredibly solid game. So now we go on over to the bracket. Anticity is going to be advancing to defend his strap. Once again, he shall continue on. GG, man. Icepower, that was a really solid game. Well played, brother. Some nice ambushes. Your build was really good. It almost worked. It was just super, super close, man. So big round of applause to you. GG, well played. He says, I messed up with my lord. God, I hate Luther. Yeah, I think everybody who plays against Vampire Coast hates Luther. But it's fun to play him. I mean, he is a very powerful character. So next up on our list, let's go ahead and see. It's going to be Bretonnia against High Elves. So let's see if they have their game ready here. All right, let's see if we can find him. Just hunting him down. I will go check the Discord, make sure the players are good to go. All right. Check with Red Legion. So we have the Bretonnia matchup coming with the High Elves next. We'll see if they have their game all set. And we shall jump in, and life will be good. Just got to make sure I can find it here on this glorious list. Thank you guys all for joining. Icepower, don't stress it, man. It's all good. It is all good indeed. So looking for the game here. I don't quite see it yet. Cool, so they're going to get me invited, and we will do it. So here are the players representing today. We had a couple last-minute changes, of course. We had to have drops from the Beastman and from the standard Bretonnian player, but nonetheless, we've got a replacement. But these are all the players. For any of you guys wondering, who are your champions for today's faction war? Perfect. So it looks like Head Mantis versus Green is ready. Okay, cool. We just need a spec slot, so arrow. Very good. So it looks like we're going to have Bretonnia versus Beastmen, or Borderlow versus Beastmen coming up next, which should be quite good. I'm very excited for that. For the lady, I know. It's going to be good. They've made a spec slot. Very good. So now we have Head Mantis facing off against Aerocrastic in our Beastmen versus Borderlow matchup. So Mantis. Are we going to get the very rare sighting of a Bretonnian player getting to the second round of the faction war? I think so. But now the players are here. Start when ready. Hey guys. Don't worry, I got my screen blocker up. It's going to be Head Mantis against Alberic or Aeroberic de Borderlow. Very excited for this matchup. High Elves will be coming next, yeah. We had a couple people drop, so a little bit of a kind of a lag in some of the things. And we also have a donation coming in. I'm sorry I missed it, from Desoct. He says, Holy Sigmar, bless this glorious tournament. Desoct, thank you so much for the very generous donation. Sigmar will certainly bless his tournament. And yeah, we had to jump around a little bit. I literally had 2 people drop like 10 minutes before the stream started. Like 10 minutes before. So a couple little things we had to shift around, guys. So sorry for the viewing experience not being quite as smooth as usual, but we're doing our best. Well, Etherian, Aerocrastic has been on an Alberic spree because he's been practicing for this. Yes. Yes, indeed. Very excited to see how this tournament progresses. Hey, Drees in chat, hyping up his good pal Aerocrastic. And now we shall load in. Got to make the names a little bit bigger. He is the Head Mantis, but for now he shall be the Mantis. Fits a little bit better. So we're on the Pillar of Bone. Definitely a fun map. I don't think either of these factions really care about having a big map in this matchup. It's very much going to be like Knights of the Realm and things like that versus Minotaurs, which is pretty epic for sure. Quite excited. Justin Steele, thanks for all your content, dude. I learned a ton from your videos, and I'm always entertained. Justin, glad to be of service, man. Tadul, sorry, your name. Struggling to say your name. It's on the, if you go to the Total War Reddit and just search Turin at the top, somebody made a bingo card. Yeah, I would imagine people would have already won by now. I'm pretty much a broken record when it comes to some of my phrases there. Who has the advantage in this matchup? I think it's very even. I think it's one of the matchups that for Bretonnia is even, and Beastman. It's a very, very, in my opinion, like 50-50 matchup, which is great. And that's why I try to make all the matchups fair. It's pretty damn hard. So, players have different opinions, and of course, with so many factions, it's really tricky. Because like sometimes if you make a matchup, then the second round matchup is really unfair. So in Faction Wars, it's just kind of the Wild West, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Warhawk says, I've been watching the old Merlin show and it makes me want to play Bretonnia. Do it, man. Bring glory to the lady. Yeah. All right, guys. And here we are. So if we take a look at Alberic de Bordelot, or Aeroberic de Bordelot, of course, it's going to be Alberic. Aside from that, he's got Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm. So going with some Elite Knights, actually. And on top of that, he's got Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, Knights of the Realm, and Grail Guardians on the far side as well. So very diverse Cav core, actually. Grail Knights, of course, are anti-large. Grail Guardians are more of like a frontline grindy Cav unit. Peasant Mobs, Holy Wardens, Spearmen at Arms. It looks like it's going to be Gotrek with the Damsel of Life. And Alberic, of course, gives a bonus first large to nearby troops, which is really cool. Because suddenly, these very tanky Grail Knights and these, Knights Errant can be getting anti-large, which is really useful against Beastmen, Minotaurs, and Spawn, and things like that. And Pigs also. So for the forces here of the Beastmen, the Head Mantis, let's go ahead and take a look here. He's got Goreherds with shields into the sunset. It's going to be a couple of those bad boys. And of course, they're going to be more than equipped to deal with, Bretonnian infantry. But again, not terribly good against Bretonnian Cav. On top of that, we do have Bestigor Herds, Koroks Manrippers, Spawn in the back. Minotaurs with shields, and it is going to be Morkr the Shadowgave, the classic competitive pick. Two groups of Centaurs with throwing axes, and in the back here we do have the Razorgore Herds. Razorgores do okay, especially if you can stack them with infantry. Like if Razorgores try and take Knights of the Realm head on, they're going to get wrecked horribly, but if you stack them with like Gore Herds or Ungors, they can actually trade very, very well against Bretonnian heavy Cav with their AP values, which is nice. The next Scarsnet campaign will be coming out tomorrow. Yes, it will. Anti-large battle programs are pretty gangster. They are indeed, and now the battle is underway. Aerocrastic, one of our Bretonnian champions today. Bretonnia does have two factions, two horses in today's race, as we have two Bretonnian players, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. So here comes the Centaurs moving up and around the flank. This is a very micro-intensive matchup. A lot of back and forth here. The Mounted Yeoman Archers putting some pepper here into these guys, but now we're going to be having a hammering charge, and Head Mantis needs to respond very quickly, or else this is going to be a lot of lost value. Knights of the Realm lancing into those foul Gore Herds, and also over here you can see these Gore Herds get lanced down as well. Bretonnian Knights certainly hit very hard, but they want to pull back. Arrow doesn't want to stay in combat too long, as these Spawn are going to be countercharging him. On the far side, some Hounds chewing on Peasants, which is fine. Bretonnia is all about that life, and now we have the Minotaurs charging after the Grail Guardian, so Arrow could probably send in the Spearmen and Gotrek and then countercharge if Head Mantis does overextend here. Now, as far as the engagements go, the Bretonnians, as is expected, are sacrificing 1, 2, 3 groups of Peasants to try and get the better engagements, which is normal. Now the Bretonnian Knights, here they come. Knights of the Realm charging in. And Minotaur is getting wrecked. Alberic with his mighty trident. Going to be imbuing all these troops with a little bit of extra bonus first large here. And suddenly, the Minotaurs, though they are buffed with Occam's Mindrazor, are getting absolutely dunked on by the Bretonnian Lords. Alberic definitely doing some huge damage. And this is good. Over here, Arrow sees that this whole flank is kind of like heavily loaded for the Beastmen. So he just kind of pulls back and throws some infantry over there. Comes back, peels off these Centaurs with throwing axes. Very, very nice play for sure. And it seems like the Bretonnians are getting most of the better engagements. I mean, those Minotaurs with shields got absolutely dumpstered by Alberic. And here we have a little bit of a tough fight here for the Bretonnians. Some Grail Guardians are fighting pigs, taking throwing axes, but Grail Guardians are linebackers. Those guys take like 45 minutes to kill. Very, very powerful unit. Although the Beastmen are getting their way back in here as the Bestigors are starting to get in sustained combat versus the Bretonnian heavy Cav. Definitely want to pull those guys back. Granted, Arrow can't afford to sacrifice some of them, and we'll probably bait out the Chaos Spawn from Morkr, so Spawn will probably take out these Knights of the Realm, and that'll pretty much be all the summons for the Beastmen since he is using Lore of Shadows. Over here we have, is that going to be a Pit of Shades? A big Pit of Shades going down from the Beastmen. Very nice play by Head Mantis there. Hits the Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis and the Knights of the Realm doing some substantial damage for sure. Enough to pull the Bounce of Power back towards the middle ever so slightly, but it's also because of the Spawn summons. So both of these Spawn summons have been used now by the Beastmen. Morkr has metaphorically and literally blown his load here. All over the faces of these Peasants. Yeah, 2 groups of Spawn, so 12 here, and it's going to be 9 right here as well. And now the Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis and Alberic going to be charging in once again, but for Aerocrastic, I think the key to success here is just avoiding the Beastman army, just kind of kiting and picking apart the weaker parts. Get your Cav, pull back, go after some of the Razorgores here, and just avoid the main fight, because right now they have a lot of spawn support. They have 2 groups of spawn fighting, which is definitely not going to be fun, and Arrow does do this. You can see he grabs his knights here, he runs away, he grabs these knights and pulls back, he pulls back Alberic. The only thing left in combat is Gotrek, and Gotrek is super, super tough to kill. Very, very tough to kill. Grail Knights in the back just being monsters for sure. These guys have 45 kills. Lancing into the back of these unprotected beasts, unsupported beasts. Granted, they don't have the best AP value, so Bestigors will be somewhat tanky, but, you know, still, shock damage is shock damage. Now Alberic, the mighty Duke of Borderlow, going to be jumping in and going after the Bray Shaman. Certainly a good choice. He is an anti-large specialist and has very good AP values. And Arrow does pull some of the Knights in to try and block up that mighty pig. But I think Alberic should be able to get the kill. The Beastmen don't have too much mass left to really stop Alberic from kind of imposing his will. They still do have some spawn here, I suppose, but the spawn will be disappearing here. Oh, these are actual spawn. The other ones will be disappearing here in a couple seconds, and there they go. So now you can see balance of power is pretty even. It's a close game. The fact that the Beastmen still have the Koroks Manrippers at this point is very strong. And Morker has been able to do some good damage against Gotrek, but, you know, the cycle charging from Alberic is going to be very nasty. And you can see that the Bretonnians do pull ahead here. So let us know your allegiance in chat. Do you guys want the lady to prevail, or are you a servant of whatever dark god these foul Beastmen worship? Let us know in chat. But Alberic able to peel off that caster, but the caster does come back, but some of the Bretonnian Knights are going to be charging in. Knights of the Realm very well equipped to take down such a beast. Should be able to get some anti-large damage right there. And Alberic is back in the sky. I think he's going to be going in and trying to finish off the Minotaurs and the spawn and some of those other threats here. So we'll certainly see how that goes. Delicious water for sure. Yeah, Beastmen versus Bretonnia is one of my favorite matchups in the game. Oh, and the Trident is going in! Alberic's Trident splashing these foul Beastmen while they're held there by the Spearmen at Arms, doing some good damage. And of course, Alberic with cycle charging should be able to aptly deal with Morker the Shadowgate, no problem. Over here in the distance, the Knights of the Realm are chasing off the Bray Shaman, and here the Chaos Spawn are being taken apart by the Grail Knights. And I think that is going to be all she wrote. I just don't see the Beastmen coming back here, and it looks like Bretonnia with a wild round 1 win. Coming in with Alberic. Of course, Rasik, our most recent ever-chosen champion. Able to clean up the Beastmen, and that is going to be it for the lady. She has done it. The Duke has certainly done well today. So one of the Bretonnians, one of the 2 we have in today's tournament, have advanced past round 1. So certainly some very exciting stuff. So now let us go ahead and update the bracket. We'll take a look at the scorecards, all that sort of good stuff, and have some fun. So I believe this one is up. So it's going to be Vampire Coast versus Borderlow is going to be our match. It's going to be fun. So we have Zeblasky versus Soothsayer, so Chaos versus Greenskins, and Borderlow versus Vampire Coast, which, you know, Bretonnia doesn't have the worst matchup in the world against the, what's it called? The freaking Vampire Coast. It's not the worst. Yeah, not the worst. All right, guys. And next, let's go ahead and load into our next battle. Well played to Rasik and Head Mantis. Big thanks to Head Mantis for stepping in 10 minutes before the stream started, or even after the stream, and replacing, and, you know, putting up a great fight. Yeah, GG, well played. Thank you, Head Mantis, well played. Appreciate you joining in. Bretonnia versus Bretonnia final, is that what you guys want? Is that really what you think is going to happen? All right, well, it could. Stranger things have happened for sure. All right, perfect. So now we're getting this all set up here. The mighty Trident prevails. I think Bretonnia's had wins before. Yes, I think they have. So now we have another Bretonnian match. It's going to be Bretonnia versus High Elves. Very excited for this. Red Legion against Giles Le Breton. The man himself has come out of his ancestral sleep to do glorious battle here with the High Elves. And we are going to be on River Amazon. Hey guys. Start when ready. It's one thing I like about Faction Wars, being able to like jump from lobby to lobby and just get these really quick games. So let us know, guys, are you a High Elf fan, or would you once again like to see the lady prevail? Let us know in chat. I'm very excited for this match myself. And I'll go ahead and tag him in Discord and let him know it's time. Did I spell Borderlow wrong? I don't think so. Arrow's name is now Borderlow? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's what he's playing under today. All right, looks good to me. Red Legion is ready. He's got his High Elf build all hammered out. Of course, this was a matchup that I think was kind of hard for High Elves before. It was actually one of the few that Bretonnia was favored in, but I think it's gotten better. I think the advent of Silver and Guard and some of the other characters and Teclis becoming very strong has been very, very good. All right. All right, so I'm going to tag him in Discord, let him know. Very cool. And now we're loading into the battle, guys. Ulfon. Yeah, we have a fair amount of High Elf folks here. I'm surprised. High Elves certainly have some cool aesthetics, but the characters don't always pull in the biggest fan base. But we're going to be on River Amazon for the map, so let's go ahead and load into this bad boy. Adjust the nameplates a little bit, and then we're all set. Giles Lebra, Clan ODM. I don't know if I've seen him play before. I don't know if he's been in one of my tournaments, so quite excited to see how he does here. Did I spell the name wrong? Oh, is it Bordelo? Oh, is it with an E? Okay, I probably spelled it wrong. Okay. Let me fix that. All right, faction war brackets. Oh, did I just put Aerocrastic's name as Bordelo? Oh my god, that's so funny. He was so in character, you know? There we go. That's really funny. He was so in character that we just had to drop it there. All right, cool. Go load back in. The lady is an elf. Yes, perhaps she is. Some treason is afoot. All right, guys, and now we're here in our second Bretonnian battle of the day. The mighty High Elves, led by the Red Legion, going to be coming in with Silver and Guard. So Silver and Guard's definitely very solid. I mean, the magic resist is good against Grail Knights and against Fey Enchantress and things like that. So having Silver and Guard is definitely a big game changer. One group of Rangers for crowd clearing. It's going to be a Sisters of Averlorn kind of box. Sisters, of course, pack some serious punch, but, you know, 3 or 4 Peasant Archers can really wreck them, so they got to be careful. Fireborn here as well. One sec, guys. Going to grab some water. Yes, the Fireborn here, certainly going to be quite good. You know, anti-large, tanky, but the thing is, a lot of the Bretonnian, you know, elite knights do magic damage and can surpass that physical resist. In the back, it's going to be Spearman and Star Dragon, and I would imagine it's either going to be Teclis or Lariel. Let's go ahead and see. So yeah, it's Teclis with a lot of magic, Fiery Sword, Nets, Regrowth, Sword of Teclis, and also a Deathcaster as well for Spirit Leech, which I would imagine is a countermeasure against the elite Bretonnian knights. So Trey Davis. Gotta go do yard work with my dad, but happy Father's Day, everyone. Right back at you, man. Enjoy your time with your dad. And cheers. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. So don't worry, the video will be here for you later. So it is going to be a High Elf box against the Bretonnians. And for the Bretonnians, it's going to be Peasant Mobs into the Sunset. Secondary line is going to be a bunch of Peasant Bowmen. For Giles Le Breton, up in the sky, Devil Paladin. Fey Enchantress is a really good choice against a box, for sure. Because that's like steady damage that, you know, a little bit of magic mitigation in the form of the Silver and Guard, but aside from that, it's going to be incredibly solid. A single field trebuchet is also huge against a box because now Giles can just sit back, for example, and use his trebuchet just to shoot at the box and get some big damage here. In the back, we do have Companions and Grail Knights into the Sunset, and that is going to be pretty much it. Good luck, have fun. Do it to it. All right. Yeah, the trebuchet is a huge breadwinner here because, like, normally the box can just sit and hide wherever it pleases, but now the box is going to be shot and it's going to have to move out of its position. Bretonnia does not need to advance. So the High Elves are going to be advancing in their glorious Box of Doom. But yeah, I mean, for the Bretonnians, just take it easy. Just use the trebuchet, use the archers to kill these sisters, and just, you know, take a very, very conservative, slow engagement. There is a trebuchet. There is a mighty trebuchet. Yes, it is lurking in the corner. Is it blessed? I don't know if it is. No, it's actually just a standard trebuchet. Man, my tongue is so twisted this morning. I like barely speak. There's some days where you're just on point, man. Some days where you're not. Hey, Chris Vickers, thank you so much for the donation. Hey, Turin, great to catch you live again. Best wishes to you and the lady and the mighty Haggard Beast Wookie. Oh my god, Wookie's been so annoying lately. He just like, oh god. I'll save the Wookiee stories for later for the stream. Hey, Chris, thank you so much. I hope you and your wife are doing well. Staying safe in these dire times. I know, I'm sorry guys, I can't speak French. Any pronunciation of all these Bretonnian characters and pieces, I'm done. I'm done. End me. The hexagon migrates. Yeah, it does. So, you know, Red Legion's going to be moving forward. It's certainly like High Elves can't really play the Cav game with Bretonnia, which is a bit of a problem, right? Like having to deal with, you know, all these superior Cav units. Silver Helms can't trade with Knights of the Realm. Your elite Cav, your Dragon Princes can't trade with their elite Cav. It's a tough one. So High Elves kind of get forced into a weird situation where then what do? Do you go Archers? If you go Archers, then you get swarmed by the heavy Cav. So there's some give and take there, but we'll see if he can kind of keep his cool as he does advance. The Bretonnians pulling back, knowing that they have a trebuchet shooting. The Treb is just going to be unleashing its not so blessed fire, but yeah, looks like a frontal charge going to be coming in from some Knights of the Realm. Could hammer into these Rangers, but Red Legion does pull them back. But is he going to be able to brace in time? Ooh, a very, very close brace attempt. I don't know if he got that. It looks like the Bretonnian Knights should be able to get away free. Teclis does have nets too, so you got to be really careful. For example, if the Bretonians do overextend, Teclis could grab them at a huge net and then breath attack them with a Star Dragon or something else and, get some good value. Giles doing a very good job though. He's just, pouring in this firepower, but I would definitely switch all that Peasant Bowman firepower onto these Sisters. I think Fey Enchantress will be able to drain pretty effectively here against most of this box. And Caviara, thank you so much for the $5. Appreciate that. The High Elves do have to advance, so the Trebuchet really forcing the issue here. And you can see the Star Dragon is actually taking some damage. Oh, the Peasants are actually shooting the Star Dragon. Another charge coming in once again. The Bretonians just going crazy on every front. Knights of the Realm charging in, pulling in and out. Now the double Paladins are going in. 2 Paladins with their anti-large. Certainly going to be very nasty against the Star Dragon here. And the Star Dragon is getting beaten up very badly, but it looks like there's going to be a debuff here. Teclis really needs to drop a net here. It looks like Teclis is getting in there and melee himself. Getting a little bit hog wild, to say the least. But the Bretonian cycle charging pretty effective. It seems like Giles, his namesake obviously is very Bretonian, is quite practiced in the Bretonian cycle charging. So he's just kind of hammering in while his peasant archers just do a ton of work. And both Paladins are up in the sky, actually. They're going to be going after the Star Dragon. It's getting taken out. The Mighty Beast is being slain by the Paladins. Low Tone, hey man, love your content and your commentary is fried gold. Happy anniversary and happy birthday. Thank you, man. It's not my birthday, but I will take that. Thank you so much for your support, brother. So here are the Paladins hammering down the Star Dragon and the mighty shafts of these Bretonian peasants dragging down the Mighty Beast. And without the Star Dragon, I think there's almost no chance for the High Elves to win, simply because the Fey Enchantress Mortis Engine effect is going to be extremely punishing. But man, this is truly a Bretonian clinic today. They are putting on a very, very good showcase. Yeah, the High Elves have a decent box here, but man, that Star Dragon getting taken out that quick is really, really rough. Now the Bretonians going to be committing for the lady as they charge in. The Companions and the Grail Knights getting a huge charge. Even though they're not going to make the best contact with the Fireborn, it doesn't really matter. Fey Enchantress and Paladins here are going to be draining into the sunset. And also, all the Peasant Archers in the back are still going pretty strong. Although some of the Spearmen are getting back here. This is actually a pretty good play by Red Legion. He is getting a Silver and Guard back here. And if you can shut down all those Peasant Archers, that would be certainly swell for his Bretonian forces. Oh, this could be a game-winning play. This could do so much damage. Oh no, the Fiery Convocation. Oh no, the Bretonians don't see this. Oh god, that's going to do so much damage. And look at that. It wrecks the Grail Knights so hard. Brutal damage coming in. Really well played by Red Legion. Both Paladins break. Both Paladins are broken. And the Bretonian battle lines are running for the hills. And look at this. The Star Dragon is coming back. Is Red Legion going to be able to pull out a surprise victory? The Fiery Convocation. Absolutely nasty stuff. It did so much damage to those elite Bretonian cav. Big breath attack coming in from the Star Dragon, which has come back as well. So maybe another regrowth could salvage this. One Bretonian Paladin is down for the count, and Red Legion is scrapping his way back into this game. Oh my god, this is so close. And now the Bretonians look to be in a bit of a dire situation, actually. This is a very, very close game suddenly. Here we have the Knights of the Realm charging into the back, going to be very, very good. Might break the Silver and Guard as well as these Dragon Princes. But the Star Dragon's coming in as well, and if the Star Dragon can kill the Fey Enchantress, that might actually be enough for the High Elves to come back. Oh my god, Fey Enchantress is running. She's shaken and most certainly stirred, but the fact that the Fae lived is certainly very nice. Peasant Archers are going to be turning. Like, Bretonia was in such a dominant position, but that Fiery Convocation and the Paladins getting trapped there, I mean, that could be enough for the High Elves to actually win this. That would be ludicrous. So Star Dragon at about 500 HP, Teclis 100% if he can save up for an overcasted regrowth. I think that will give the High Elves the Bounce of Power advantage. We'll see if he gets it. No, it looks like the Star Dragon's at 0 leadership. It is going to be running here. Will it stabilize? The Peasant Archers are unleashing their poison arrows into the Star Dragon. Is it going to be enough? We will see. All right, that puts the Bretonians back in a more commanding position, because now Fey Enchantress Drain might be enough to just finish off all the Silver and Guard here. Man, that was a really wild engagement. Oh my god. So we got some Silver and Guard coming back. Teclis, it looks like some magic was perhaps used there. Fey Enchantress is very low herself. I mean, Bretonia basically just has a bunch of peasants. I guess they have some knights here. They have some Knights of the Realm, and also some Grail Knights have come back. So here comes a pretty fat charge into the Silver and Guard, or Spearmen actually, so those are just basic Spearmen. Not going to be enough to really just kind of end them, right? Fey Enchantress having a wizard duel with Teclis. They got their canes out, both just kind of cursing incantations at one another. Teclis able to fend off the Fey Enchantress, sending her back to the realm from whence she came. And the Star Dragon's back. I mean, honestly, if the High Elves have a regrowth, that could win the game. -1, -6, and the Star Dragon is broken so many times it does shatter at this point. So now it's Teclis and his Deathcaster friend. I don't think that's going to be enough. Man, what a close game. Are these Silver and Guard? They are Silver and Guard. That could be really, really strong. I don't know. Currently, I mean, there is another Fiery Convocation. Oh my god. If Red Legion got another Fiery Convocation right down the pipe and just like wrecked the Bretonnian once again. Oh my god. That would be insane. So here comes Teclis running for the hills, being hunted down by the companions of Quinel's, and it looks like he's going to be breaking as the Fey Enchantress comes in her Mighty War Unicorn, or on her Mighty War Unicorn, and is able to finish off Teclis. And the Silver Guard, though they're very strong, are not going to be able to win this. It's going to be game for Bretonnia, so far Bretonnian 2-0 today. The Bretonnian's quite happy about that. Man, what a well-played game. I thought Red Legion was on the ropes, and he could have won that maybe. I honestly think if he had gotten a regrowth off on a Star Dragon, somehow, if he had the wins for it, I think he would have won that. But I don't know if he had the wins. Obviously a pretty big factor for sure. There you guys go. That is it. I'm sure Falcon is very excited to see that there's going to be 2 Bretonnians advancing. That was a very well-played game. Big props to Red Legion, man. He was down and out. Looked like it was going to be a quick game, but came back and almost won it with an epic fiery convocation. So Faction War bracket. Let's go ahead and move on Giles Labreton. Giles is here. The man has done it. 2 Bretonnian wins, I know. So now we have Drees versus Poison Ducky, our newcomer, our Vampire Count hero. Will he be able to take out the former Skaven champion? We will see. GG, wow. Close game. Well played. Well played, guys. Hey, Red Legion, don't beat yourself up, dude. That was a really, really good game. It was super fun. So next up, we have Poison Ducky versus Drees. It's going to be Skaven against Vampire Counts. How dare they use a different password? What is it? Okay, is it? I'm trying to guess the password here. I'll get it one of these days. All right, 1 second. Hey guys. Cool. So we're getting this going. We will use just getting the map set for the next round, so bear with me, my friends. Trying to remember some of the very juicy, solid maps. Iron Sand Desert. That was a great game. Yeah, we are playing in the new patch. No, Zyphos had to drop today, unfortunately. He had something come up in his IRL life. Yeah. Zyphos has been replaced by Giles. Yes, correct. Yes, I'm hacking their lobby using some 1990s hacking montage. Did you guys love that? How in like the 90s, like whenever there was like a movie, like I'm going to hack the system, it just would show like some, character with all these like hard cuts to like code on the screen and stuff. God, that was so funny. All right, I'm just trying to think here. The round of 8 is going to be 4 matches, and then we can do Prague. Very cool. All right, so we're going to be jumping into this match. Just got to update the nameplates here. The host is going to be, it looks like it's going to be the Poison Ducky. So Poison Ducky is a newcomer to our Faction Wars, but certainly is a very, very solid Vampire Count player. So very excited to see what new tricks he brings to the table. Maybe some off-meta schemes, perhaps something in that vein. You guys get it? Vein because he's playing vampires? Yes, of course. Looking good. And thank you guys all so much for your support today. It means the world. We're going to keep this Faction War going strong. Oh my god, the 1990s hacking montages were the best. They're so funny. All right, so let's take a look at the armies here. For Poison Ducky, our newcomer, let's hear a big round of applause for him. I've had some great battles with him on ladder, as well as in our Discord community, so very, very solid dude. Nice guy and a great player. Oh, look at this. Poison Ducky coming in with Vlad von Karstein, the original, the OG himself. Honestly, against Skaven, not bad. He's very tough to snipe with, Giselles and some of the infantry characters. He's got the Von Karstein Ring, Master Beguilement. Not bad. He does also have 2 White Kings, I would imagine, with Scabscraith, which of course is a very strong ability. No, only 1. On the flank, he's got Blood Knights, Black Knights, and Blood Knights. It looks like a combination of the 2 of those. So 2 Black Knights, 1 Blood Knight, double Vargulf, Mortis Engine, Fellbats, Skeleton Spears, and basically chaff into the sunset. It's a solid build. It's going to be Vlad. It's going to be the OG. Blood Knights are definitely quite solid. against Skaven if you can protect them from being sniped, because they kill ogres and hell pits and can shock down pretty much all the infantry. Vargulfs, self-explanatory, healing, very, very, very tough to snipe as far as monsters go. Mobile, regenerating, you name it. Now for the force of Hadries, let's go ahead and see. Hadries going to be going in balls deep using the triple Warplock Jezzail. So 3 Jezzails, Warp Grinders as well for a nice snaring piece. It's going to be Deathmaster for another snare, and an Assassin as well. A Plague Priest to combat the Mortis Engine effect with his own. Spears and Ogres in the back, and that is going to be it. So a build that's very dependent on the Jezzails. If the Jezzails aren't able to get their value home, this could be a very, very good game for the Vampire Counts. Granted, you know, Deathmaster snares, Warp Grinder snares, he has a lot of ways of locking things down and shooting them. So I certainly think both players are in it to win it. All right, guys, let us know in chat. Are you a disciple of the Horned Rat? Do you find yourself on Saturday nights snuffing Warpstone? Is that your jam? Let us know. Or are you here with the OG himself, Vlad von Karstein and Poison Ducky Prez? A new challenger approaches. Shall he take out a former Faction War champion? We will see. Of course, Hadries did win the Faction War with this Skaven. Had a very, very good run 2 Faction Wars ago. Yeah, typing very fast basically equates to hacking. Correct. Dusty, dude, glad to hear that, man. I need to get some exercise. You're making me feel lazy. In a good way. I do appreciate that. I need to exercise. Yes. And the battle's underway now. The Vampire Counts are going to be moving forward. The Jezzails, I would imagine, probably will shoot the Mortis Engine. It's an easier target. The Vargulfs can juke really well side to side. Poison Ducky just needs to make sure he doesn't get snared and get his Vargulf killed. Just, you know, take it slow, man. Just approach, juke the Jezzail fire, you know, kind of slow push the Skaven. You're not in any rush to really kind of end the game super quick, right? And you can see the Vargulfs are very quick monsters. They have 80 speed, which is like heavy cav, basically. Or faster than heavy cav. It's almost like skirmish cav. So just juking back and forth like this is a very, very solid play for sure. Yeah. It is Father's Day, guys. It is Father's Day. So Vlad, you know, he might have a little bit of an edge here. You know, motivated. I'm sure his son Manfred threw him a nice little Father's Day shindig. Maybe took him out to lunch, bought him some, you know, black coffee at their favorite diner. Talked about their youth and childhood memories, things like that. I'm sure it was a very, very nice bonding session. So here comes the Vargulfs juking. Poison Ducky doing a very good job so far. And now the Jezzails are going to be going after Vlad, which is, you know, this is why you pick Vlad. He's very tough to snipe and, of course, can heal himself. If he had the Von Karstein ring, this would actually be a very, very good time to use it. But Vlad needs to make sure he doesn't overextend, because if Vlad overextends and Deathmaster plus an Assassin jump on him, he could actually still die very quickly. Those characters are very, very scary. Hadries using a very nice Clan Rat summon, so basically he uses the Clan Rats right here to muck up the advance here of the Vampires, which it's just going to be some zombies, so it's really not the end of the world. But yeah, so far so good. Poison Ducky also needs to make sure he doesn't forget his cav here on the far side. The Black Knights and Blood Knights need to kind of be enveloping at the same time, as do the Blood Knights. A couple zombie or skeleton summons in the back will be very good. Vlad 100% wants to overcast here. And here you can see the 2 assassins are visible, and they're going to be going after the White King, which, you know, he needs to make sure that the White King doesn't get caught. Oh no, the White King is caught in the sigil! It's almost over though, it's a very short duration. But losing a White King here this early would really suck, and it looks like a Scorch effect going down to the zombies. Man, Hadries is just on point with those nukes right now. As a matter of fact, I would probably pull the Vargulf over here. Master Begamut used on the Assassin. Should have been used on Deathmaster, but it's not the biggest mistake in the world. And now all 3 Jezzails are shooting into the Mortis Engine, and the Vampires have advanced. Felbath need to be in here. Cab need to be in here. He needs to get very, very aggressive. And the White King has already been taken out, which is very nasty. A really nice summon from Vlad, though. Summon is going to be used on top of the Warplock Jezzails, shut them down. And here some of the Cav are charging into the back, but now they're going to be jumping into a big fight here. I mean, if, you know, the Vargulf and Vlad are able to beat down on Deathmaster, that could be very, very impactful for sure. Mortis Engine is also going down. It's trying to juke its best. I mean, there's so many things he has to juke against in the back, but, I mean, all it takes is a single summon to kill a Jezzail, right? So, yeah, I don't know why he brought the Mortis Engine here in this matchup, actually. Now that I think about it, like, against Skaven, you don't really need it. Like, just going wider and getting, like, dogs and bats, I think, would have been more effective. But nonetheless, here we have a good fight. Deathmaster Snitch is being beaten down by the mighty Vargulf, and Vlad von Karstein needs to get his hands dirty. Vlad needs to move in there and help. They could probably kill Deathmaster if they work together. Felbats have jumped onto these Jezzails, and the Mortis Engine in the back has been taken out, so suddenly the Vampire Counts are without a White King and without a Mortis Engine. Granted, they do break off some Clan Rats, and they do also break off the one unit of Warplock Jezzails. The other unit's broken as well. Okay, all 3? No, 1 Warplock Jezzail is still shooting, but more or less, it's going to be a much harder fight for the Skaven now, being down their gun teams. But Vlad is now being 2v1. Rival Hide Talisman and Assassin's Trophy going down. Deathmaster Snitch is actually a really kind of intuitive answer against, like, these tanky Footlord characters, right? Blood Dragon Lord, you know, any of these guys like Vlad, for example, is going to be tankier than the Blood Dragon Lord, but yeah, that's a really, really nice choice for sure. Now Vlad is in Mortal Kombat. He's going to be getting taken out by the Skaven here. And in the back, you can see the Black Knights and Blood Knights are in sustained combat against Spears and Rat Ogres. Certainly not the best situation for them. I would definitely want to pull these Blood Knights back. And Vlad is going to get whooped on. Vlad is getting taken out by the Deathmaster. Invocation is trying to keep him afloat, and it will for a period of time. But Deathmaster Snitch does have scaling damage. So the more damage he does to you, the more health you've lost, the more damage he then does, which is very scary. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. But against like foot characters, which are pretty good against Skaven actually in this matchup, bringing the Assassin plus Deathmaster combo, it's pretty safe, right? Because there's not going to be any monsters to goon them, and they can really dominate the foot character engagement. So Warp Grinder is going down, locking Vlad in place. And Vladdy Daddy is not going to be having the best Father's Day, as he is going to be taken out by Deathmaster and his son. You know, let's take a moment, guys. This is a moment where Deathmaster and his, I'm sure this is his son here, one of his progeny, they're having a great Father's Day as well. Deathmaster and his son, confirmed, are able to win the battle, and that is going to be all she wrote. So, well played. Well played, Ducky. It's a very tough opponent here in Hadries. You did a good job shutting down the Giselles once the battle started, but losing the Mortis Engine and the White King that early and that quick, plus Vlad being out, kind of outbeaten down there, 2v1, was too much to come back from. And there you have it. Well played. Hadries will be advancing on a very, very strong Skaven build. Clearly, he knows his Skaven. So let's go ahead and update the brackets once again. Hadries is going to be facing Bretonnia, so Skaven against Bretonnia. It's certainly a fun matchup. Bretonnia can win that one, believe it or not. And now we have Falcon versus Crabling, Norska versus Wood Elves. Let's go. Let's go. GG, well played. Hadries says, contract complete. Well played, man. That was a good game. All right, so now we're loading into our next match. Yes. That was a really... Hadries' build was solid, man. That was really solid. But yeah, the Mortis Engine was pretty much, like, useless there. Like, why? You don't need a Mortis Engine against Skaven. Like, what, to kill clan rats and stuff? Like, your base, like, Crypt Ghouls and Skeletons can usually win those fights. With a little bit of summon support. Oh, just doing some stretching, guys. So next match is going to be Crabling versus Felkoff. Oh, I love it. Felkoff. Of course, they have a different password than the one I suggested, but that's okay. When is the next head-to-head? Probably tomorrow, Josh. Yeah, probably tomorrow. All right, so we got Crabling against Falcon now. So it's going to be Norska against Wood Elves. Let us hear it, guys. Do you think we're going to see Mel Gibson? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen Falcon use Mel Gibson. I've seen him use Durthu quite a bit. Hey. Good luck, have fun. Start when ready. Very cool. So we're almost to our round of 8. Now we have Norska versus Wood Elves. It's going to be Crabling, of course, a very seasoned tournament veteran on Norska, facing off against Falcon and the mighty Wood Elves. Zeblasky, no, Zeblasky is playing Chaos, actually. Yeah, he won his first game against Dwarves today. A very, very solid performance. Yeah, Deathmaster is like made to kill a character like Vlad. That's like when he was designed during his inception in the Skaven Warrens. That was like what he was born for, was to kill such characters. Falcon meditating in his monastery with candles burning around him? Perhaps so. We will see. You guys want some tree puns? We'll see. I'll see what I can do. All right, so now let us load into the battle, guys. It's going to be Crabling versus Falcon. A Russian duel. I believe both players are Russian. They end up playing each other a lot in my tournaments, like in these faction wars and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be Durthu, probably. Who is Durthu's father? Oh, I have no idea. Probably some acorn. All right, guys. And now the battle is underway. Let's go ahead and take a look. Falcon coming in hot with Durthu. So yeah, Durthu's pretty good against Chaos factions. Like against the infantry, he's really tough to kill. He's one of the better anti-infantry monsters in the game. Great AP values, pretty tanky with 110 armor, Sword of Daith for some nice AoE damage. Like that's the thing. If you surround Durthu, he Flocks of Doom and Swords of Daith you. So 2 AoE damage effects, which are very, very cheap. So yeah, I really like that. On top of that, he's got a Branch Wraith, and his Skirmishing Corps is going to be, oh my god, 4 groups of Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, 2 groups of Wild Riders, and his front line is going to be Wardens of Sithril and a bunch of Eternal Guard and the Winterheart Guard. So basically, what Falcon wants to do is just get everyone blobbed on Durthu, use AoE, and then just kite and pick things apart with the rest of his army. A very nice army for sure. A very nice army indeed. Hey, Hadries, if you ever want to play Clan Eshin, you are more than welcome to, man. You just got to let me know. You could be our sub-faction. And now for the forces of Crabling, front line of Marauders. Marauders a very good choice for sure. They can fight Eternal Guard. And you know, they have shields, so they can take a beating from the missiles, no problem. Secondary line, he's got 2 Berserkers, 3 Javelins, which, or no, 2. So 2 Javelins, very much a Durthu countermeasure. I'm seeing Falcon play with Durthu, with Ancient Treeman quite often. So having the double Javelin here is very, very solid. On top of that, we do have a Shadows caster, and it is going to be big old Wulfric, a single Chariot, and some of the Condom Wolves. The Skin Wolves, the premier condom brand of the old world. You guys can check that one off your bingo list now. So yeah, it's going to be double Chariot, double Skin Wolf. Not armored, just going for the cheap ones. And yeah, you can see Falcon immediately knows he has to kill the Javelins. The Javelins are like the counter to Durthu, right? So all of the Glade Riders do kind of do that. And in the front, he also charges with his Sisters of Thorn. Falcon very on point with his micro here early in the game. Getting some very, very nasty picks and just kind of picking apart many of Crabling's assets. Marauder Hunters, the Javelins getting worn down. Chariots are chasing. Melkoth's active as well. The Ice Wolf Chariots do have Frostbite, which is pretty cool. If they're able to actually catch the Glade Riders, they can actually slow them and frost them down and allow the Condom Wolves to actually catch those guys, which is certainly very strong. So yeah, for Crabling here, he basically just wants to kind of wait out the storm, just kind of slow push towards Durthu, keeping his Javelins safe if he can. Like, I think he needs to kind of push his Javelins a little bit further back, but Falcon doing a very good job with his Glade Riders right now, going after the very lightly armored aspects of this army. Yeah, picking apart the Berserkers, those different units, and it seems to be going pretty well for them. Sorry about that, guys. I ate a bunch of dairy yesterday, and I'm paying the troll toll for it today. It is all good indeed. So Skin Wolf's pushing. Got to be careful not to overextend. Wild Riders could countercharge with a little bit of spear support, and also some missile support from the Glade Riders. So far, you know, Falcon's going to get pushed to the corner of the map, which is pretty much what happens to the Wood Elves typically in most matchups. They'll kite for as long as they can. No Way Watchers, though, not going for that style of play. Falcon with a very, very interesting build. I think it's very strong. The Durthu Branch Wraith combo, definitely very good against massive amounts of infantry. And now we have a big fight here, actually. Skin Wolves have engaged against the Sisters of Thorn, who have opted to take this engagement, but there are some Wild Riders coming in. So Wild Riders plus Sisters might be able to win this. Falcon, of course, has some mobility advantage, so this is going to be very good for the Azrai. Yeah, it's Azrai. Oh, a nice Sea Fang going down from Crabling. Does tear through the back of those Wild Riders. A big heal going down as well. And some of the Wild Riders do overextend a little bit, some Marauders and Berserkers, but should be able to get away. And Falcon is able to actually break those Skin Wolves. Really nice break right there. So he's broken those. He's gotten one of the Javelins down very low, but unfortunately for him, that Javelin has come back. And now the Wood Elves have kited for almost as long as they can, because now the Norscan Berserkers have gotten them into the corner here. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the Norskins are now here, and things are going to get very messy. Crabling does get his Marauder Ice Wolf Chariot into the Winterheart Guard. We're unbraced for that, so they actually take some substantial damage. And now we have Marauders pushing in. Marauders, Iceworm Marauders, Javelins going after Durthu. And the Big Mammoth is actually assisting in this fight. So instead of actually fighting against the infantry here, it's going after some of the cav units, which I suppose is fine. But I think Wulfric needs to get over here and start running over all these Eternal Guard. Durthu taking quite a bit of damage. Flock of Doom going down right here is going to be slapping the base here on the Marauders, and it looks like there's going to be a big Pendulum. Ooh, that's a good Pendulum. Right on the Wardens of Sithril. Really nice cast by Crabling. Is able to wreck the Wardens there. They take a bunch of damage, but not before the Marauders do get pushed off there by Big Papa Durthu. Honestly, it's a really close game. You have to remember, too, ammunition is going to become very sparse here. Berserker is getting charged by some of the Glade Riders, so some nice cycle charging there on the flank. And here we have Wulfric charging in once again and picking off a couple of these Wild Riders, Mumakil style. Definitely going to the Battle of Pelennor Fields once again. Skin Wolves also piling in to help. And honestly, it's a really close game. This one could go either way. Durthu is getting some great value here in the pits, but again, Eternal Guard and these other troops here are not going to want to be in combat with Berserkers. That's going to be a rough situation for them, especially considering that Crabling, he's doing a very good job getting his Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots and pulling back and forth and back and forth. Also, while, Durthu is getting afflicted by Hunter of Champions and focused by Javelins, but Durthu is able to get the caster. The Bale Fiend gets beaten down really badly. It's broken and terrified. Scroll of Shielding was activated by Crabling, but Durthu certainly getting a huge value trade right there. That's incredibly solid. Over here on this side, Complete Anarchy. The Glade Riders with Hagman Tips charging in and trying to shut down the Javelins to buy some time for Durthu. And it seems like the Norscan battle lines are kind of buckling here. Berserkers are broken, Skin Wolves are broken, the Marauders here are all broken. Crabling does have his Marauders here, his Chariots, and a couple of Javelins left. I believe he also has some basic Marauders fighting over here as well. But Falcon is slowly starting to pull ahead in this game. It's a very, very close scrap, but nonetheless, yeah, it could go either way. Ammunition is running low also. You have to remember the Glade Riders will be much less efficient when they're out of ammo. But yeah, the Wild Riders and Sisters, I mean, still makes a really nasty goon squad. They can roam around and have the free spells from the Sisters of Thorn. Ooh, but it looks like a big Sea Fang. Nice Sea Fang right there. If that goes off, oh, that's actually a Pendulum. Nice one. Man, so much damage. Those Wild Riders just got 2 for 1. Crabling is super on point today with his Pendulums and his Sea Fangs and things like that. That was brutal. brutal stuff. And as a matter of fact, that one pulls the balance of power back towards the middle, and it could very much come down to Durthu, just in Mortal Kombat there with Crabling's big old Norscan Warlord. So we'll see how that goes. So here we have the Famir Balefiend coming back in. He does have good AP values, and the fact that that caster has come back is a pretty huge boon. On top of that, Berserkers are super cost effective here. 49 of those bad boys cutting through Eternal Guard, and some are being taken out by Durthu, but doesn't seem to be the end of the world. Very risky play by Crabling. I don't know why Crabling just sent his Balefiend in. That was probably one of the few misplays he's had this game, sending in the Balefiend to go fight Durthu, although I guess he's going for an Alpha Strike, so okay, maybe it's not a misplay. If he brings in Wolfric, it's worth it, because Enfeebling Foe, really going to beat up Durthu, and now we have a giant Mammoth, which happens to be a pretty decent duelist, going after Durthu, Berserkers, Balefiend. This is, you know, this is the fate of Middle-earth right here. This is Treebeard versus the Easterlings. So Wolfric the Wanderer, Hunter of Champions activated on Durthu. He's down to 390, 3,500. The Mammoth getting some big damage. There are a lot of spears here, though. Winterheart Guard are unbreakable anti-large characters. And, you know, if the Mammoth loses all of its support on the ground via the Berserkers... Ooh, a nice Seafang going down once again. Man, just going through the Eternal Guard, breaking off the Glade Riders. But Falcon has a ton of stuff, too. He's got, like, all these cav units. He could potentially just break off all the Norscan support. And then from there, I don't know if Wolfric is going to be able to carry. It's hard to say. If we look around, I don't see much for Norska anywhere on the battlefield. I'm looking, I'm not seeing anything. But the Mammoth is crumping Durthu. Durthu's getting crumped. This tree is trying to run. The big Mammoth rearing up, doing some work. This is a very, very close game here, guys. But it looks like Wolfric is getting pretty close to breaking as all of his support nearby is broken. Yeah, he's fully surrounded. And that is going to be a game for the Wood Elves. What just happened? The balance of power was like even, but that's the thing. Like, Norska had nothing left aside from him. And if he breaks, you know, it's over. Oh my god, what a close game. Well played to Crabling and to Falcon. The Wood Elves are going to be advancing on with a Durthu build, which was quite a bit fun, to say the least. But it is going to be Falcon advancing on to face the winner of Dob Plays and Energized. So that is our last round of 16 game for the day. It's going to be the Great Dob Plays representing the Sons of Sigmar and the Empire facing off against Energized and his Lizards. GG, well played. That was a really close game, man. Crabling had some beautiful pendulums and Seafangs, but Falcon's build and his targeting and his sweeping with that kind of Cav squad was immaculate. Yeah, Durthu definitely went quite ham. All right, so jumping into the next game right now. Durthu lives. GG. That was a very dramatic battle. It was a good one. Start when ready. So now we have Dov against Energized. Dov Plays, of course, has done very well in our faction wars in the past. He got to the grand finals where he lost against Falcon, but of course he did very well. He was able to get very far and perform very, very well. So Dov Plays, just updating the nameplates now. Alrighty, looking good. So this map is going to be the Valley of Thieves, pretty open field map. Empire vs. Lizards is always a fun matchup. I would love to see some Marcus, but, you know, we'll see what happens. So now, guys, we have Energized on the Lizardmen. If you guys haven't seen Energized, he got to the grand finals of my most recent Eternal Challenger League recently and faced Falcon in the grand finals in a very good series. It was hotly contested, so clearly a very solid Lizardman player. Facing off against Dov, who, of course, needs no introduction. The mighty Empire man himself, the Lord of Pistoliers. He shall be representing Sigmar. All right, looks good. Looks good. And here we go. All right, we're all set. Sigmar, preserve us. So let us know in chat, are you a true son of Sigmar or are you a child of the old ones? Let us know in chat. I'm quite eager to see where your allegiances lie. Yes. Hey, we got a donation. I did miss that one during the battle, coming in from Kevin Harvey. Been watching your streams for some time now. High time I show my support. Thanks for the excellent content. Thank you, man. You keep me going strong, brother. I do appreciate that. Very, very generous donation. And now we're loading in. The battle is underway. Falcon's plan takes root. That's pretty good. I like that with Durthu and roots. And yeah. Must be Gelt for Father's Day. I don't know. We'll see. Oh my god, Dov's build. It's just too much. Is this really happening? All right. So for Dov, he's got Halberdiers in the front line, which you almost never see. He's got triple wagon. So triple war wagon, a warrior priest, a light wizard with nets and, you know, all the other good light magic. And I believe his lord is an archlector. Oh my god. So he's got an archlector, a warrior priest, a light wizard, spearmen and halberds into the sunset, triple war wagon, steam tank, empire knights. Oh my god. How is Dov going to win this? I mean, okay, so here's the thing. The warrior priests are really good at clearing out hordes of infantry like Saurus with their soulfire bombardments, and the wagons, I guess, could snipe big monsters. We're going to see how this goes. Yeah, for Energized, he's got Coldwind Riders. He's got a huge army into the sunset of Saurus and Skinks. Skink Priest of Heavens to wind blast down halberds and handgunners, and it looks like Coldwind Spear Riders with the Saurus Old Blood here as well. So a very like traditional lizard army. This is about like as, I wouldn't say cookie cutter, but as kind of like, you know, normal in this matchup, as you would see. But Dov coming in with a meme tank and triple wagon. So it's a win-win for Dov, really. If he loses, you know, he can be like, hey, it was the wagons, right? You know, it was the wagons. And if he wins, it's just like, you know, even better, even more sweet. The nets are certainly good. Like netting down these Coldwind Riders and, you know, focusing them with the mighty wagons of Sigmar could be quite impactful. Yeah. It's honestly, I don't think this build is like a guaranteed loss. He could win this for sure. The steam tank isn't bad. I mean, aside from the Saurus Old Blood, I guess the Coldwind Riders can bring down his steam tank. Halberds can hold. Wind Blast is going to be quite nasty, though. Vershagen, thank you so much for becoming a member on the channel. Greatly appreciated. Enjoy your emojis. And we shall, you know, have this wagon dance in your honor. So Dov dropping a fat cannonball from the steam tank, which does pick off a single Coldwind Spear Rider. Now the wagons of Sigmar have descended from their high ground position and are going to be rotating over here, probably to try and chase down these Coldwind Spear Riders. He's flying too close to the sun. I'm sure Dov has practiced this. I wonder what he's going to shoot with the wagons. They got an ammo buff. Wagons actually have a fair amount of ammo now. So those bad boys take quite some time to run out. He can use them like chariots too, which is really funny. Like you can like charge in and run over Saurus and things like that. A little bit of damage going down to the Saurus boys. Steam Tank is still shooting in, and Steam Tank is still like a great cannon. You know, it's doing good damage against these, you know, heavy cav units, which is definitely solid. Wagons are going to be pulling back at this point to the Sigmarite formation. Warrior Priest, of course, is here with his Archlector, waiting to do some Soulfire bombardments and Helljet Serial Cannon. I don't know what that means. Dov has a bit of a different name today. And here comes the War Wagons, getting some good damage against the Saurus. Empire Knights charging in, but Dov needs to pull back ASAP, although maybe he's trying to do this on purpose. I think he's trying to do this on purpose, like blob up here with the Empire Knights and then use his Archlector's bombardment. I think it must be. Yeah, so here comes the Archlector. It must be planned. Dov is going to be doing it here. He has to. Soulfire bombardment going down. Otherwise, the Archlector is just in the danger zone. Grand Shield of Faith is activated, and it looks like, is he dropping the Soulfire? No, he is. Oh, does it go down? It does. It does very little damage. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a bit of a swing and a miss in that respect. Now, on the flank here, we do have the Coldwind Knights coming in. There are some halberds nearby to defend. Light Wizard could, of course, provide some support. The other Warrior Priest was able to get some good damage here on these Saurus. And now the Archlector is falling back. Spears are holding back Saurus, and the wagons are in a very defensive position up on the high ground here. But those Empire Knights pretty much given up more or less for free, which is unfortunate. Some halberds here going to be rotating in, going after the Coldwind Spear Rider. Certainly a good play by Dov, netting them down and dragging them into some anti-large halberds. We'll see how that goes. And here the wagons are still shooting strong. Ooh, a really nice wind blast by Energized. Brutal stuff going down the halberdiers right there. Archlector's falling back. Grand Shield of Faith and Hammer of Sigmar activated to make the halberds that much stronger. War wagons are just kind of chilling. I think war wagons probably are going to want to start shooting against the Coldwind Riders if they can. That's going to be one of the bigger threats they need to deal with. Like, if Dov could kill all of the mobility here, that could be very strong. So here on the flank, Empire is able to peel off those Coldwind Riders, and now the Steam Tank is going to be switching its sights here onto the other Coldwind Riders. It looks like halberd support still in a relatively good shape, but the Empire front line, of course, not having the best of times. Although somehow the Saurus Old Blood was stuck in combat for quite some time against those halberds, and look at him, he took some substantial damage. Wagons are trying to pull back, being a little bit mucked up here by the Coldwind Riders, but thankfully some Empire halberds and the Archlector are there, so they should be able to lend some very juicy support. This is also a good engagement for the Empire, the Halberdiers plus the Steam Tank here. The Anti-Large to kill the Coldwind Riders, and the Steam Tank to tear out off the other threats is certainly very good. And so far, the meme tanks are doing a good job. I mean, they are dragging down that Saurus Old Blood. Amulet of Itzel is even popped there. He's really baiting that out. Warrior Priest is coming back in, and, you know, the thing is, the Empire has a pretty nasty Death Star. Nice Wind Blast again by Energized, really able to nail those halberds and spears. Balance of Power is very, very even. It's a close game at this point. You know, pretty much most, if not all of the Lizardmen Cav, I guess there's this group and this group, but a lot of them are very, very damaged. And the Archlector is in trouble. Oh no, Archlector's in a duel, and the Steam Tank of Sigmar rams into his back, trying to save this bad boy. Fod's protection used as well, but, you know, the Saurus Old Blood is a really good anti-large monster here, and Archlector is, of course, on a horse, so he's going to be taking a lot of damage there. But, I mean, Archlector is basically just a glorified Warrior Priest, so, I mean, Dov, in a way, does have a second Lord here. Soulfire Bombardment going down, which should do some big damage against the Saurus, or at least decent damage. Yeah, it does some decent work there. As the Steam Tank does make its way back in. Here, the Coldwind Riders are being kited by the wagons, and certainly are taking a bit of damage, but we'll see how the ammunition holds up for those guys. And the bounce power was very even until the Archlector kind of got caught there by the big old angry T-Rex, who is now going to be chasing him. 75 speed against 70, so honestly you probably won't be able to catch him. Like, I don't know if it's worth chasing there. I suppose it is, just to make sure the enemy lord doesn't come back. We'll see. So the wagon in Steam Tank Death Stars is kind of scary. It's rotating about and getting good damage in, honestly. I really didn't expect it to hold this well, but the Steam Tank, like, that's the thing. If you can kill, like, all the Cold One Riders and the things that are actually good against the Steam Tank, like, that thing can just carry the game. It's going to take Saurus, like, an hour to kill it. And the Terror Routes and, of course, the Warrior Priest support, very, very strong stuff. And yeah, look at this. The Saurus Oldblood chasing into the distance. Saurus Oldblood just hoofing it, trying to catch that guy. I don't know if it's going to work out. This is a very, very close game, guys. So here you can see the Cold One Riders are shaken. The wagons unleashing a salvo of hellish fire on them. The Steam Tank just driving around, unleashing its steam cannon where it can. There's no healing here. I'm surprised we didn't see a healer, you know, to try and heal up the Steam Tank and really abuse that kind of playstyle. Wagons getting a little bit compromised now. It's pretty unfortunate for Dov. Granted, wagons are very, very tanky, so you can see the Sons of Sigmar riding in the back with their long rifles, taking some pot shots here at the Cold One Riders as they are chased, and they're just kind of pulling through, which is hilarious. You know, there are some halberds up. Looks like they're fighting skinks over here. The wagons are just going to be riding in circles, and I think Dov wants to fight close to the edge of the map. If Dov could, like, force the fight over here, then he could get, like, terror routes and, you know, from the Steam Tank and really, really get some huge value. So the Warrior Priest is also tanking quite well. Shield of Faith and Hammer of Sigmar, and the Soulfire Bombardment actually doing some solid damage right there. Able to waver the Cold One Spear Riders and lead them to being terrified. The War Wagons of Sigmar endure, but the Archlector is now gone, and the Saurus Oldblood is on his way back. We got a very close game on our hands, but the thing is, like, chasing that Archlector allowed many of these Empire troops to kind of have a good engagement here. Yeah, you can see the Warrior Priest is stabilizing once again. Cold One Riders must be really, really close to going down. The Light Wizard's coming in with his big old pimp cane, able to drag down a couple of Spear Riders as they do shatter off the battlefield. What do we have? We got some skinks. The Saurus Oldblood's going to be a terror for sure. Dob needs to make sure he has some ammo on those wagons. But the wagons are kind of like ghetto chariots too. Oh my god. This is just win or lose. I mean, this is a great game for Dob. I'm loving this. This is so much fun. So the Steam Tank rolling in, up to 80 kills in this bad boy. The Warrior Priest is here as well, but the wagons are starting to get a little bit damaged. He definitely doesn't want to lose any wagons here. I think all the cav, more or less, except this one group of Cold One Spear Riders are gone. So from here, Dov should have freedom, more or less, with his wagons to do as he pleases. And a bunch of Sigmarites are coming back. We got some Spearmen, some Halberds coming back over there, which, you know, won't be the most powerful thing in the world, but certainly is not insignificant. So wagons kiting these Saurus now. The Steam Tank is just ramming and doing its thing, up to 86 kills. Since we last looked, it's gotten about 6 kills, which isn't bad. And the Saurus are being kited down by the wagons. Oh, you can't lose the wagon here. No, it's getting stuck. It looks like Dob is going to be pulling back through, running over some Saurus with the wagons as it goes. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what kind of winds of magic Dob has. He could have enough for, let's say, like a net on the Saurus Oldblood. That'd be really, really impactful for sure. Here, these Saurus are steady, and these Saurus are steady as well. The Steam Tank here is able to waver and potentially break these guys. Balance of power is creeping away. What a heroic play, though. Dov really going for the People's Champion vote, because, again, that is something we do at the end of the stream. We'll have a People's Champ, so you guys can vote for the person whose builds you enjoy the most. Win or lose. So the Warrior Priest and the Archlector certainly get broken off very quickly by the big angry Dino, and he's going to be chasing down the Light Wizard, which is fine. The wagon's going to be rotating over. This one wagon probably going to break off the battlefield. The Steam Tank, is it going to turn and rip some shots here at the Old Blood? It could. You could put it in guard mode. Just start shooting here. I think it's actually trying to save this Warrior Priest where it can, and the other wagon does come back, actually. So the wagon is here. Yeah, it's so weird seeing Dov without Pistoliers, I know. But Pistoliers aren't great against dinosaurs. Outriders are better, in my opinion, but yeah. So the Saurus here are rampaged, might get terrified off the battlefield. Saurus are not immune to psychology, but they have insane leadership, so they're very, very tough to break. Dov is probably going to be coming in, trying to salvage these Saurus warriors here, and the Light Wizard is really enduring this quite well. Just being chain knocked over, which is a classic Footlord play. Yeah, saving the Warrior Priest is definitely really, really impactful. Ammunition running a little bit low for Energized. He's got 4 volleys left on these skinks and 1 left on these ones. So, I mean, they're doing the damage to the tank, really. Yeah, the tank trying to pull back and through, get a terror out, and then turn around. But I think Dov's going to get hit with army losses there. And just going to be the tank. GG, well played. And Energized pulls out the victory against Dov's ultimate meme build in a very close game. Very, very close game. Yeah, that was insane. I think Dov may win the People's Champion vote. And Energized will advance on to face Falcon, so it's going to be Lizards versus Woodies, which is certainly a fun matchup. So now our round of 8 is set. We have Zeblasky versus Soothsayer, Aerocrastic versus Anticity, Giles Lebreton versus Drees, and Falcon versus Energized. Well played, Dov. That was an awesome game, dude. You were a hero. Thank you so much for playing. Triple Wagon, double Lector, or double Warrior Priest. Come on, man. Doesn't get much better than that. Cincinnati of VA says, dude, you can't go. Stay all day and narrate with that radio voice like a Warhammer Morgan Freeman with a mullet. Sparty would do it. He'd just wear a wife beater and a protein shake and talk like Golem. Yeah. Sounds like an accurate depiction. Cincinnati, I'm not going. No, dude, we're playing round of 8, dude. We're here. We're here to stay. I ain't going nowhere. All right. Epic game. It was fun. All right. So, Dov, thank you for joining. And now we'll go to Zeblasky versus Soothsayer. It's going to be Chaos versus Greenskins. I actually do kind of have an idea of how to play this matchup as Chaos. But Zeblasky, of course, mentioned he doesn't play Chaos a lot, except for today. So we're going to see what they do. Hey, mad respect, Dov. And if you guys haven't seen his YouTube channel, go check out the Madman. He's a great content creator and an awesome guy. So now we're in our next match, which is going to be Soothsayer against Zeblasky, Greenskins against Chaos. And it looks like Sooth was on the left side, so we're going to put Sooth and Zeblasky. Very good. So we are in. Soothsayer's build is ready. Zeblasky is going to make his final tweaks, and we can go from there. Yeah, Dov, that build was great, dude, if you're watching. You've won the hearts and minds of the people. Wait, why did people think the stream was ending? No way. Faction War. We go deep in Faction Wars. We go hard. No. We've only gotten through the round of 16. Now it's round of 8. So we have a lot more games to be played. Yeah. Energized did pretty well for himself. He did. And now he has to face off against Falcon's Wood Elves. It's going to be a rematch of their duel earlier in the week. And now we load into this battle here. It's going to be Soothsayer against Zeblasky, Greenskins against Chaos on the Sword of Torvald, which is certainly fun. Now, if you guys don't know the story here, Zeblasky, of course, was originally going to be playing an Elvish faction, but we filled him up and I had already invited him. So we're like, hey, man, let's get you on Chaos. And he's like, I don't really play Chaos, but let's see what we can do. And he was able to win his first match against the Dwarves, against a Dwarf Specialist, and had a really good run for sure with his dreaded double Hell Cannon build. Oh, yes. Our last game for today's round of 16. Got it. These are all best of ones, except the Grand Finals. Grand Finals are best of 3. So we'll certainly see how this unfolds. We're on the Sword of Torvald. It's a map that's had some crashing issues in the past, but hopefully it's been remedied. We'll see. And now we go quietly into the good night. Mortar wagons are pretty janky, in my opinion. You definitely wouldn't want to use them against lizards. Like, there's not too many good mortar targets. I guess shooting Saurus is okay, but it's just, it wouldn't be cost effective. All right, guys, so let us know. Are you a fan of the Big Wah? Certainly have a very strong champion today in Talaxla and Soothsayer, or you heretics, servants of the Dark Gods, followers of Slanesh Nurgle's Ancient Corn. Let us know. Are you a servant of the Dark Gods? Today it's going to be Zeblasky facing off against Soothsayer. And now for the build here of Zeblasky. He's got the Soul of Damnation, so Zeblasky really does love his Hell Cannons. He's got one here in the back. He's got the, double Hell Cannon. Every single game, Zeblasky comes in with 2 Hell Cannons, which, if he can defend them, is going to be super good against Sooth's Black Orc build. Super good. We'll see if he can defend those. He's got Warp Chicken. Aside from that, he's got a bunch of Chaos Marauders into the Sunset, Mirror Guard, and 2 groups of Armored Chaos Trolls. This is a very good build here. Yeah, I like it. It's actually really good against Black Orc style of play. Like, as long as he defends these and doesn't let Sooth kind of get into the cookie jar and, take those goodies, he should be fine. Yeah, man, nice build there. Very unexpected. And now for the build here of Soothsayer, he's got Wolf Rider Archers, Black Orcs, Goblins, Orcs, just Orcs and Goblins all over the place. A couple Orc War Boys. Skarsnik, of course, for the Rampage. Goblin Big Boss, Orc Shaman, and it is also going to be a Giant as well. So the Giant is really good with Rampage. Like, if you can Rampage something, get the Giant beating on it, man, it is nasty for sure. I don't know, this could be an upset. This could be an upset. Zeblasky off factioning today. Being a hero, filling in. Dude, the Hell Cannons here are going to be great, actually. Against double Blackwork? Oh my god. Yeah. Give this man a mark of chaos. Defend the cookie jar. Defend it. Yeah, this is going to be super exciting. I'm very excited for this. The Armored Chaos Trolls are an interesting choice. Honestly, what on the Army of Sooth is good against them? Not a whole lot. I mean, I really think Zeblasky can win this if he executes his plan well. I mean, obviously, beating Sooth isn't just beating his build. Sooth is just, his micro is so good. But so is Zeblasky, so this is going to be a good one. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be defending with Marauders, which is fine. That's all you really need. And start when ready. We'll let him know. Soothsayer saying, good luck, have fun. In a very polite manner. You don't think the Hell Cannons will do much against Blackworks Armation? I mean, if he targets them, I strongly disagree. The Blackworks will get taken down to half health before they can get close. If the Hell Cannons, are targeting the Blackworks. Who was the first to bring 2 Hell Cannons? I don't know, a lot of people, honestly. I used to love using double Hell Cannons. That was a different life. Hell Cannons also have that like weird heat-seeking property where they can kind of like follow skirmish cav. So they could like shoot the Wolf Rider archers, which would be really funny. But yeah, shooting the Blackworks is 100% the best play. The first Hell Cannon blast coming in and it does hit the Wolf Riders and Spider Riders right on the face. But yeah, the Hell Cannons, look at that, they're wavering after one shot. One shot and they waver the Wolf Rider archers. That's so funny. Here comes another one. Are they going to break? Oh my god, the Warp Chicken's flying in with those giant turkey wings. Yeah, the Hell Cannons need to kill the Blackworks, though, because, like, Blackworks are going to be so good against the Mirror Guard and that kind of Marauder line. We'll see, though. He's shooting the Skirmishers for now. It's probably his Wood Elf instincts kicking in, just going after the Missile Cav, trying to shut down the mobility. But, like, I don't know. Yeah. I really think you need to kill the Blackworks. Like, if you could just, like, nullify 2 Blackworks, your frontline engagement is going to be so much better. Just use Hounds to kind of keep the Skirmish Cav back. Yeah, come on. It's paining my soul, I have to say, to not see those guys. Oh, look at this. And one of the Spider Riders is breaking. Are they going to run off the battlefield? There's some Hounds chasing him. Zeblasky with the pick here. Oh my god, that'd be so funny if the Spider Riders got caught here. And the Hounds are probably going to get him, honestly. It doesn't look like Sooth has noticed yet that they've come back. He does at the last second, but I don't know. Are the Hounds still going to get him? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. So now the Hell Cannons are shooting into the Blackworks. And it looks like there is going to be... Oh, is that a final transmutation? No, it's a Piercing Bolts. Look at that. A little bit of damage to the Blackworks. And now the Hell Cannons coming in. And for those of you guys who said the Hell Cannons would not do much against Blackworks, that is like one shot hitting them. And they've done some big damage already. I mean, that is damage. That's real estate right there, man. And he started shooting them kind of late, to be honest. So now the frontline fight is soon to be underway. Warp Chicken just has to make sure he doesn't get Skarsnicked. Hell Cannon shooting at Skarsnik for some reason. I have no idea why that was happening, but I'm not going to ask questions. Hell Cannon now shooting at some Orc Boys. But I think the Black Orcs are the choice target if you can. Granted, maybe Zeblasky is going to be relying on his Trolls to kill Black Orcs. Trolls are pretty good against Black Orcs. They, of course, have good AP values. And now he's going after the Loonies, which also isn't a bad choice. Hound's still chasing down Forest Goblins in the back. And here we have some Orc Boys trying to get back here. It looks like there's going to be some Brain Busta going down on the Marauders defending. But now the Trolls and the Marauders will be piling in to go after the Orc Boys, which will be a good engagement for them. So Warp Chicken jumping in as well, but I think this could be a mistake for Zeblasky. He's got to be careful. If Warp Chicken does get caught in the big old rampage from Skarsnik. Ooh, a nice final transmutation. Brutal overcast. It hits the caster, it hits Skarsnik, it hits the giant, and the big boss. God, that was such a good one. Very, very solid play right there. That is going to be doing big, big damage. And you can see the Balance of Power is actually super Chaos favored already. Look at that. And the Trolls are now going to be jumping on the Black Orcs here. Is Zeblasky going to pull off the upset of the ages here? With his he's going to become a Chaos player, maybe. He said he doesn't, play them terribly often, but maybe after this, who knows? Now, the one thing that could really punish Zeblasky is if Warp Chicken gets rampaged, and he's probably going to get rampaged right now. I'm sure Soothsayer is chomping at the bit to get that going. And there it is, Fermented Fungi. Oh, but the Warp Chicken wasn't below 80%! And the Warp Chicken escapes the rampage! Oh, man. The plays. Now, here in the back, we have the Hell Cannon still shooting. Marauders are peeling off the AP Gloonies. Balance of Power is very, very Chaos favored at this point. Warp Chicken's still doing his thing. And the Armored Chaos Trolls, of course, have insane AP values, so they're able to beat down Black Orcs and really support the Chaos Warriors in the front line. The Giant in the middle and Skarsnik's Goon Squad, of course, performing pretty well. Hell Cannon still shooting in, trying to pepper down some of them Black Orcs, but this is also an issue for Zeblasky, as now his Chaos Trolls are terrified and routing off, and this is where Soothsayer can pull his way back into the game, as his Hell Cannons are they begin to be pushed. But here this is good. 2 Black Orc units going to be going down here to the Trolls and the Warp Chicken, it looks like. And this Hell Cannon still blasting in, getting good value against these bad boys. But Sooth is definitely getting his way back into this game, which is pretty much always the case here. Zyphos in chat says, Zeblasky always played a lot of Chaos. Oh, okay, maybe he did before. He mentioned to me that he usually doesn't, but that's cool. I'm sure you can clarify in chat after the tournament. But he's playing very, very well here. An incredibly close game. The Hell Cannon blasting in, going against the Orc Boar Boys, and the Chaos Armored Trolls here are broken, but they will probably rally here, as I don't think there's anything chasing them. Oh, actually, never mind. There are some goblins here. Yeah, most of the trolls are right here. That's really painful for Zeblasky. Losing those trolls like that, oof. That is a big oof indeed. But 1 Hell Cannon is still going. Over here, the battle is pretty much a complete rout for the forces of the Greenskins. The Black Orcs and all the Orc Boys and supporting units are going to be taken down. Some Wolf Riders in the forest trying to pepper down that Hell Cannon, but I don't think it's going to pay off. Now, what Zeblasky needs to do to win this is probably save up for another final transmutation and just nuke Skarsnik again and like that blob, because Sooth has a really good blob here. Sooth has the Giant, he's got the Orc Shaman, the boss, like Skarsnik. That is a mean box of characters for sure. So if he can get another nuke, and for Sooth, of course, he just needs to avoid that. If Sooth can just avoid that, keep pushing with his characters, there's not too many things here that are great against a Giant. I mean, if we look around, what can kill a Giant? I mean, I guess Chaos Warriors, but yeah, I don't know. What can kill that Giant? I mean, Warp Chicken hits kind of hard, and he comes in with the Drumstick, the Slam Jam right here, and gets the Wolf Riders. Might be able to break them off the battlefield if Sooth leaves them in combat. We'll see. Hell Cannon's still shooting, and the other Hell Cannon crew might come back. Oh, man, does it have enough? I think you need more than 2 crew members, because if this Hell Cannon were to come back right now, that would be really, really bad for the Greenskins. Hell Cannon shot, pounding the Orc Boar Boys once again. And here comes the fight of fights. The Goblin Wolf Chariot being sent in, but the Trolls as well as Sartorial getting some good damage. But the Giant's coming in, and now Skarsnik has another Rampage up, so the Warp Chicken could go down here if he's not careful. Hell Cannon shot, still going. Probably still shooting into the Black Orcs here. Could be quite strong, but yeah, man, that Giant's going to be tough. And now the Chicken is rampaged into a Giant. I mean, at least Chicken can fight. And he does stagger the Giant. Oh, and the Chicken knocks over the Giant, which is going to buy him so much time. Man, Tzeentch is scheming hard here. The Giant will get back up, but remember, the Rampage has been heavily nerfed. So now the Fermented Fungi is going to be gone in like a second. So it's gone. He took basically 1 hit for that Fermented Fungi. So Warp Chicken needs to get away. But oh, is this going to be the final transmutation of the gods? It could be. It could be. I'm not sure what's going on here. Nope, Spider to Bad Moon is active. No, and he gets away. But not before he takes a ton of damage. Now, Soothsayer does pull ahead in the game, ever so slightly, as the Hell Cannon in the back is appearing to be compromised. Is Hell Cannon online? No, it can't be. Warp Chicken has to get this now. He's falling behind. The Hell Cannon is kind of out of ammo. Marauders and Trolls are fighting their hardest here, but we need a big final transmutation here. There we go, activated as well. Soothsayer really putting his foot on the pedal here in the 4th quarter of this game. Really, really putting it on. Zeblasky doing a great job as well. This is a very scrappy, contested game. The Chaos Warriors and Chaos Trolls, of course, defeating the Black Orcs, but the Giant proving to be a huge issue. And I guess if we really look at Zeblasky's army objectively, it didn't really have anything to kill a Giant at all. There was no, like, Marauder Horsemen, no, like, Shagga-type units. That was the big, problem for his force. So for the first time in the game, Soothsayer, the legend, the man, the myth, he does pull ahead as the Hell Cannon runs out of ammo, and now there's kind of sparse Chaos Warriors all across the battlefield trying to rally. Warp Chicken's trying to get some of his Trolls back, and he does get them back, which is good. Now he's going to be getting his Drumstick and slamming on some of those Goblin Wolf Riders there. But yeah, what can kill this Giant? I don't know. I don't know if anything can, to be honest. Skarsnik is out of Rampages now. I believe he has 2 charges. But he needs another final transmutation. I guess... Okay, so what happened was Zeblasky probably used Winds of Magic on Searing Doom over the course of the battle, which means he didn't have enough for another final transmutation in the 4th quarter. Which could have potentially won him the game, maybe, if it had Nuke Skarsnik and these characters. It would have been close still, but it could have turned the tide of that fight for sure. Yeah, and it looks like the Greenskins are doing it! Soothsayer proving why he's one of the best in the world, a very tenacious competitor. Never going to go quietly into the good night, but man, Zeblasky putting up a great fight as well. The double Hell Cannon, very good against the Black Orcs. Now, I'm trying to think, like, maybe if Zeblasky had cut, like, a Troll and a Marauder and gotten, like, 3 Marauder Horsemen, this could have been a very different game. He just doesn't have the answers for the Giant here. The Giant's just going ham, just, like, slow marching all over the battlefield. And here it looks like the Hell Cannon crew is being taken out by the remnants of a couple Black Orcs. The mighty Chaos Dwarf DLC right here in action. Man, look at this Chaos Dwarf. He's been, like, beaten on by, like, 4 Black Orcs, and he's still going strong. He's like, oh, God, I'm a raid boss. Like, how is this guy still alive? Oh, my God. You seeing this? Okay, there he goes, finally. God damn. Those Black Orcs were, like, beating on him so long. So Soothsayer coming back in, but Zeblasky not going quietly into the good night. He has rallied his Chaos forces and is going to be preparing for one last Hoorah. One last go into this good night. Orc boys, goblins, wolf chariots are coming in. Both players know this is the alpha strike. It's going to be tough for Chaos, though. There's a lot of terror here with the Giant, obviously. That thing is quite scary. And it comes in and clubs a bunch of Chaos Warriors, but Trolls are piling in as well. And Trolls will get some work. I think the Chicken has to have saved up at this point, so he's probably waiting for the forces of Sooth to pile in, and then he's going to use it like right here in the middle. That's his only chance of winning. Okay, so it looks like there's a cast going down. Oh, but he misses the Giant! No! Oh, is he going to get it? He gets the Giant with an overcasted final transmutation, but it's too late. Man. A very valiant attempt by both players. And the Warp Chicken, I mean, look at the damage that's doing. It even pulls the Bounce of Power back from, like, defeat. Because it does so much against Skarsnik. But the Warp Chicken is smashed by a Giant, turned into a KFC drumstick, and that is going to be it. Man, the Giant carried that game. Well, Sarmation, yes, the Black Orcs did eventually kill the Hell Cannon, but not before the Hell Cannons did massive damage. Yeah, man, what a scrap. What a scrap. Well played, Zeblasky. Well played, Soothsayer. That was an amazing game. Very back and forth. And now we advance on. Soothsayer is going to be our first to go to the round of 4. We'll be facing the winner of Aerocrastic and Anticity. So our sub-faction. GG, well played. That was such a good game. Hot damn. Well played, guys. So let's go ahead and fire up this next game. It's going to be Anticity against Aerocrastic. Anticity, the returning champion of the faction war. It's going to be on his Vampire Coast. Aerocrastic on Borderlow. So, yeah, this should be interesting. I am very excited for this one. Giant baby, man. I felt the WA energy, dude. Sooth made me feel it. Thank you guys again for joining on today's Faction War. Hey, guys. And now we load in Aerocrastic on Borderlow against Anticity's Coast. Aerocrastic, of course, the returning ever-chosen champion, but he is playing a sub-faction, so, you know, his opponent knows what's coming. That was a very fun game, I agree. Well played. Well played, Zeblasky. If you're watching, man, that was an awesome game. Sooth, of course, ever the terror in the night, advancing on. All right, so let's get the nameplates up. Very good. Now we load into the battle. Make that look a little bit nicer for our boy Anticity. Returning champ, coming back with his Coast, facing a mighty foe indeed. Historically, this has been a Vampire Coast favored matchup. I would say probably a good 60-40, but that's just my opinion. Granted, I do think that Bretonnia has some teeth here. Although without Fey Enchantress, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's a hard matchup for the Bretonians. But man, wouldn't it be crazy to see a Borderlow in the grand finals of this faction war? That would be absolute insanity. Absolute. Just nuts. All right, so let's take a look at the army here for Bretonnia. Borderlow. It's going to be Grail Knights and Grail Guardians. Same thing on the other side. It looks like Grail Knights and Grail Guardians. So very elite cav here against the Coast. It's going to be Men-at-Arms, Spear Men-at-Arms, such as Chaff in the front line, Gotrek on foot, Damsel, and it's going to be Alberic, Rocket his Trident on what appears to be a Pegasus, which is interesting because it actually makes him able to chase down the deck droppers pretty well. I actually like that. Yeah, those deck droppers are going to get hunted most likely. And now, for the build here of Anticity, pretty standard stuff. He's got Mortars, so it looks like Anticity really expecting the Archer play. Archer spam has always been kind of one of the go-tos against Vampire Coast, so having double Mortar is quite strong. Frontline Deckhand Mobs, Bombers, he's got some Crabos, the Lamprey's Revenge, a double Jack Dropper with handguns or pistols. It's going to be pistols, interesting choice. His build seems very focused on killing archers, which there are none. He's got a single Carronade in the back, which will be invaluable, a massive amount of handgunners, the Anticity playstyle here. Very, very good against the rows and rows of the, obviously, Elite Knights. And that is it. Is that double Carronade? Okay, it's double Carronade, double Mortar. That is a lot to protect, it looks like. No, wait. One Mortar, Carronade, Carronade. Okay. Suddenly his build just became a lot better against the heavy cav. I thought those were two Mortars, but it's actually double Carronade and a single Mortar. And of course, Count Noctiluss on foot is an absolute pain in the ass to kill. So we'll see how this goes. Alberic is here. Falcon watches atop his Throne of Skulls. The Wood Elves wait on the bottom side of the bracket. I'm sure Falcon wants the Bretonians to lose here, so he doesn't have to play them. Wood Elves definitely don't like facing Bretonian Knights. Gotrek is a really good choice. He'll kill the crabs, and Gotrek can actually fight Count Noctiluss. He's a pretty good tool for killing him here, so So the basically how it works is there's 15 primary factions in this game, and then there's a bunch of sub factions. So to make it an even 16 for the sake of our bracket, we bring in one sub faction. So Rasik, of course, was given a choice of pretty much any faction he wanted, but wanted to be our sub faction representative today. Yeah, and they look cool too. Skaven is still in it. Mgard, yes, Skaven had a very convincing victory against vampires earlier. Yeah, it was a good game. Bretonnia will need some help from the sand dunes blocking cannon shots. Yes, 100%. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, I'm really curious to see. I mean, the really standard playstyle is archer spam, which against one mortar would have actually been pretty good. But we'll see how this goes. Anticity, of course, is quite ferocious. I'm curious also what Alberic is going to be targeting. Like, is he going to hunt down deck droppers, or is he going to be like trying to kill cannons or crabs? He certainly has some options. Yeah. Falcon is like, you have to defeat all the Bretonians, please. Vampire Coast? Yeah, Vampire Coast always uses artillery, yeah. The Fey Enchantress, I think, is very, very strong here. I like Fey in this matchup. But Alberic isn't bad either. You know, he's anti-large, which is helpful against Morngulls, against crabs. Can certainly chase down deck droppers. They have 80 speed. I don't know if that's a worthy usage of his time. Oh my god, look at the mortar shot! That was so disgusting! Those men-at-arms just got flattened by a single mortar. Oh my god, that was gross. Granted, it's only like 300 gold worth of value that arrow lost. Not even that much, probably like 150, so it's not the end of the world. And now the Bretonian Cav kind of hiding behind the sand dunes a little bit. Haven't taken too much damage, but they certainly need to move in. Awakening of the Wood used here on the deckhand mobs, and the mortar is still shooting in. God damn. Those mortars are so gross. Wait, mortar? No, he does have 2 mortars. He's got 2 mortars and 2 carronades. Okay. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. Yes, every sub-faction in the game does have unique color schemes. So now this is where Anticity is going to be going after the Damsel of Life, and it makes me think that Alberic maybe wants to go chase them. Otherwise, the Damsel is just going to be gooned out here, but we'll see. So the double mortar doing huge damage, and in the front, Grail Guardian's going to be charging into the deckhand mobs. Talk about a mismatch of the ages, and you know, if he can punch through the front line here, that'd be quite nasty. But this is going to be a tough one. Gotrek charging in as well. Going to be trying to muck these guys up, and here, the Damsel's being shot, but she's taking it like a champ. She, of course, can't heal herself. And where is Arocrastic going to be going with Alberic? In the front, we have Grail Knights charging in, doing a frontal charge. Going to be trying to get through the bombers, it looks like, which is good. Buying some time for the men-at-arms and other valuable troops to try and get in there. Valuable, quote-unquote. These zombies in the front are completely buckled down, and now Arocrastic is going to be getting Alberic and going after the deck droppers, it looks like. The Bretonians have engaged across the front, having some trouble in many different areas, but it looks like they have a huge cav overload right here. Trying to crumble down these zombos and maybe find a way through, but I think getting one of your cav units and just punching through here could be very, very impactful. Alberic, in the meantime, is picking off the deck droppers one by one. He is felling these foul beasts in the sky, and it looks like now he's going to be swinging over here. This damsel definitely needs a fat heal. And now the Grail Guardians are going to be punching into the back line. The mortar teams are going to be in a lot of trouble, and this is why Anticity does this, though. He leaves them, like, to look undefended, but then he has layers of handguns in the back, which are just so nasty against a Bretonian heavy cav. Here they come right here, these Bretonian Knights charging in to the summoned zombies, and this mortar team is going to be going down here, and the Trident Manon also going to be going through the handgunners, which might break them. Not sure. Let's see how this does. Oh, yeah, that's some good damage right there. And does it go through? We'll see. It does go through the other one, plus an Awakening of the Wood. All right, some good damage in the back line. Damsel of Life definitely going to be needing to heal herself here. The Bretonian Knights seem to be in okay position, as they have been able to compromise several of the gun lines. So the mortar is compromised. 2 of the handgunners are pretty close to crumbling, actually. This one is still firing, which is pretty unfortunate. And the deck droppers are still trying to snipe that caster, but she's actually taking it like a champion. And 1 mortar team is still going. So yeah, these knights in the back are broken. The Grail Knights, I'm surprised they actually broke. But not before I think they crumble the handgun mob. They do crumble the handgun mob there. Alberic is trying to shut down this zombie park gunnery mob. Let's see what the players are saying. Good luck, have fun to one another. And the Grail Guardians are still alive and healthy, which is certainly impactful. They're trying to push through and shut down all the handguns. Now, if Arrow can shut down all the handgun units, that actually is certainly a way to win this game. And here, the Grail Knights of Alberic have come back and have a free kill here on the carronade, like 100% free. If Arrow sees this and gets these Grail Knights back and shuts down this cannon, I think that could be his way back into the game for sure. Because all the handguns are gone. If you get the carronade, I mean, yeah, and look at this. These Knights are going to shut down this mortar team. That's going to be another artillery piece gone. And, you know, suddenly Anticity's army is looking very, very thin. Oh, but it looks like Arrow might have missed that. Although I guess he has some Grail Guardians over there still. Yeah, Peasant Mobs have gotten onto that piece right there. And Alberic, able to finish off the handguns. Damsel's very, very low. She pops a Power Stone, and Gotrek is pushing in after the Crabos. This is a really, really close game, and it looks like Arrow is going to shut down all the artillery and all the handguns. Man, just a testament to his micro and his awareness on the battlefield. But this carronade needs to go down. Like, once all the carronades and handguns are done, like, Arrow's cav will have free range, aside from the deck droppers. Charging in once again. Gotrek able to karate chop here, and the Damsel of Life is down, so no more healing for Bretonnia. The sniping the entire game has paid off, as she has fallen. Alberic, I think, is still in good shape. I don't know where he is. Yeah, he's up in the sky here, causing some problems. Gotrek is chasing down Noctilus, and, man, somehow that carronade's still going. He needs to get some cav back here and shut that down. And Grail Guardian's doing a really good job shutting down that cannon piece. And now they're just beelining across the battlefield. Alberic's still taking out the deck droppers. And Gotrek might be able to kill Big Boy Noctilus. Gotrek hits like a truck. Crazy AP value, 70 melee attack. He can probably beat Noctilus on a duel. Noctilus is actually getting a little bit beat up. Are the Bretonians going to be able to do this? This is insane. And the Grail Guardian's actually charged into the crabs, but man, he really needs to shut down this carronade. Get some men-at-arms or something over there. Because that carronade can win the game for Anticity here. 100%. And here some of the Grail Guardians again are in combat with the Crabos. And if Alberic gets close by, they will get bonus for Slarge. I'm pretty sure he has the Kraken's Bane. Look at Gotrek just sprinting after him. That's so funny. Now some of the men-at-arms are pushing. 28 leadership should be able to shut down the cannon, so finally Arrow does get that piece down. Alberic still just causing problems up in the sky. And honestly, I wonder if Alberic should get in here now. Give anti-large to the Grail Knights here. Grail Guardians, that'd be really, really strong. Now, what does the Vampire Coast have? There's some halberds here. This cannon is probably going to be going down as the brave peasants are charging in. You can see the rakes and pitchforks coming to beat down these foul vampirates. And that carronade is going to be done. There is no way this thing's going to survive that peasant horde. Gotrek is taking a bit of work, though. He's dueling Noctilus and, you know, is taking a beating in the process. But it is buying time for Aerocrastic to try and finish off some of the other assets here on the battlefield. Like all the gunnery mobs, although I believe these are summoned. So maybe just ignore them. Grail Guardian's doing good, but if Alberic was nearby to give them bonus first large, no, he did not bring that. He didn't bring Kraken's Bane anyway, so okay, it doesn't even matter. Rotting Prometheans are going to be an absolute pain to kill too, though. That's a big problem. The carronade is disintegrating, and now it is time just to try and fight the final fight, man. Just pull all your resources in. The deck droppers are more or less out of ammunition. Alberic going in as well, and is going to be going after the Lamprey's Revenge. And Gotrek is here also. Gotrek might be able to carry this. I don't know, but Noctilus is still nearby too. Noctilus gets a brutal anti-large shot right in the face of Alberic here. But the Bretonnian Knights charging in. How are the crabs doing? 8 models. Invocation still going strong, and this summon is going to be disappearing here in a couple seconds. Oh, but Alberic gets taken by Noctilus. Ouch, man. Ouch. That's so rough, and he's down for the count. Noctilus able to finish him off. Oh, maybe that misplay cost Bretonnia. And that's going to be a Vampire Coast victory. It's like watching the villain win. But Gotrek is still here. Man, the Bretonnians have so much still, too. I mean, I guess not so much, but they still have a fair amount of chaff around the battlefield. Although, it looks like it's mostly peasant mobs, and Alberic does withdraw. Man, that was close! Oh my god! Big props to Aerocrastic, though. That's a super hard matchup, and he almost won it. Alberic got karate chopped at the end there, though, and that cost him. But look at that. We had a bit of an illumination, right? Seeing the Grail Guardians do so well. Yeah, man. Yeah, Noctilus is a raid boss, for sure. Gotrek was beating him, though, for a while, but... Oh, man. Well played. Yeah, the caster, not much he could do to stop that, to be honest. Without peasant archers or something to cover. Zyphos yelling no. Well played to Arrow, man. That's a hard matchup versus probably the best Vampire Coast player out there. And it was a close one. It was a close one. Well played, dude. So now it's going to be Anticity versus Soothsayer in the round of 4. And now we have our last Bretonnian champion against the mighty Skaven warlord Hadries coming up next. That was a game, man. That was a game. So, Giles versus Hadries. We're going to be joining this one. Well played, guys. Well played. It was close. It was a close game. Why do they have wrenches? It means they're mods, yeah. Alright, so it's going to be Giles Le Breton versus the mighty Skaven. I believe Hadries was on the left-hand side of the lobby, so let's go ahead and get that. And this is our last Bretonnian champion, but Bretonnia is certainly not doing bad today. Having some good games here. The Skaven are ready. Is Giles ready? We will find out. Yeah, Noctilus is what Vlad wants to be, basically, yeah. But Yeah, Vampire Ghost is really strong, but also Anticity is really good at them also. Yeah, his positioning is so solid, and his like target priority, like everything. Like, he taught me that you don't need to have stuff defending your backline. You could just have more guns stacked on more guns to, like, defend your backline. No, you get the whole tourney today, Ivan. We're going deep, man. We're going deep. Cool. So now we can load on over here. So this is Skaven against Bretonnia. Giles Lebreton of Giles. Is it Giles or Giles? I always say that wrong. Yeah, some of you folks, I see you in chat, Zyphos, you have to correct me. It's going to be Drees on the Skaven against Giles, who shall be on Bretonnia. We'll see how this battle goes. Should be quite a bit of fun. So let us know, guys. We got some horned rat fanatics out there, or are you for the lady? You're always rooting for the rat boys. It says yes. I'm not surprised. Your name is yes, yes, or yes. So that makes sense. So now for the Bretonians, let's go ahead and take a look. It's going to be Knights of the Realm, which of course do the trick. Knights of the Realm, very effective against rat ogres, hell pits, things like that. Grail Guardians, more of a grindy piece. Battle Pilgrims into the Sunset. And yeah, Battle Pilgrims, a couple Peasant Archers, Men at Arms, Paladin, and double Fey Enchantress Goon Squad. That's the way to go. Paladins are so good in this matchup. And Fey Enchantress is just a solid lord. Chalice of Potions on top of Artillery is really strong. And the Mortis Engine effect can win you games against Council Guard at the very end. So I definitely like that. Yeah, okay. Thank you guys for correcting my terrible pronunciations. Gilles? Okay, it's Gilles. Gilles. Yeah? Gilles. Okay. Got it. Thank you, guys. I'll try my best. I'm probably just going to call them Bretonnia for now, though. Yeah, it's going to be fun, though, representing ODM, which I believe is a French clan. And let's go ahead and take a look at the army of Drees. So Drees is coming in with the Hell Pit, no surprise there. It's going to be a bunch of Clan Rat Spears, Skaven Slaves. He's got an Assassin and a Plague Priest, and also does have Deathmaster Snitch once again. Really enjoying those snares. Double Mortar. Oof, that Mortar is going to be really punishing against the Battle Pilgrims and the Archers and things like that. Warp Grinders, a Doom Wheel, and that is pretty much it. Solid Force here. One of our dogs is like sniffing at the door. Oh my god. One sec, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. One of our mighty beasts here, not Wookiee, our other one, Rue, who is quite a hilarious dog, was demanding some treats, so I had to oblige. Do you accept cryptocurrency? I've never had any dealings with cryptocurrency. All right, guys, and this is it. Trebuchets versus Skaven, an interesting choice. I guess Skaven... If they bring a Warp Lightning Cannon, though, you're in big trouble. Like, sometimes Skaven will bring, like, a single Warp Lightning Cannon and just stand on top of it with, like, Council Guard and Ogres, and that can be very tough. That's actually something about Drees' build. Not too much high mass. He has the Hell Pit, but aside from that, I mean, he's got the Bell and the Wheel, but he doesn't have, like, Ogre-type units to, like, roadblock heavy cav. Yes, this is going to be interesting. Yeah. This is going to be very interesting indeed. So Zeblasky, clarifying, he's just started playing Chaos 3 months ago. Well, I mean, you had an amazing run. You had an amazing run, Zeblasky. One of the best runs we've seen from Chaos in the Faction War, actually. It was really good, man. Skaven taking up a pretty defensive posture here. No surprises. Obviously, Bretonnia can envelop them quite well. Bretonnia Knights are all hiding in the trees here. Definitely do not want to get a Mortar Blast right on top of them. The Poison Wind Mortar effect is really, really strong. And Giles says he's ready. Yeah. Yeah, no Ogres is surprising, for sure. I would expect them as like a roadblock piece to try and, like, you know, stop up the cav. I mean, the Hell Pits can kind of do it. Giles taking a ton of damage here from the mortars right out of the gates. God, Poison Wind mortars are such a freaking nasty unit. Oh, God. And, of course, the Skaven are going to be summoning some rats here. Bretonnia might pull back. Are they doing a tactical retreat? Maybe so, just to kind of wait out the summon. But I think he's just trying to like get his ranks kind of formed to where the Skaven army is. But he definitely needs to push right now. The longer he waits, the more those mortars are just going to pound him. The Bretonians, of course, wanting a very epic-looking charge. The rat summons are here, and they should be disappearing in a period of time. Maybe he's trying to wait those out. I don't know if that's worth it, to be honest. Yeah, it's hard to say. The Bretonnian Knights are moving up, trying to get us around, so he's just repositioning here. Knights are going to be coming around, just, you know, kind of waiting here. And the rat summons are going to be chased down by the Paladins. And, you know, the army here of Hadries doesn't really have anything to punish this. A couple peasant archers are shooting in as well, so the peasants are kind of unleashing some fire. It's not a bad play, honestly. Waiting for that summon to kind of dissipate, but I feel like he probably is going to want to advance here. But I suppose just waiting for his knights to really get in a juicy position is good. But now this is where he starts to pay the troll toll, man. Mortars, are they going to shoot in here and try and hit the Paladins and stuff? What kind of damage does it do against single entities? I'm curious. Okay, I'm washing. Doesn't seem it does that much. Okay, that's good. That would be pretty OP if it did. So now the Bretonians are advancing. You can see here some rats have advanced as well, some Skaven slaves, which is a bold strategy, but what Hadries wants the knights and other elite units to pile in on those Skaven slaves and then just get blasted by mortars. So the Bretonians in the meantime just kind of lurking about, taking a very conservative approach. Mortar teams are shooting at the single entity characters, which I think is a mistake considering the damage it does, although I guess it's doing a little. And it doesn't tick for a whole lot. And yeah, just use the Goon Squad. I mean, a single Earthblood will mitigate all that damage. The mortars definitely just want to like scoot up and start shooting at the Battle Pilgrims and things like that. Because the Bretonians, like, they're down for this, man. They're just gonna be attacking right here, going after the Skaven slaves. Giles definitely doing his thing. Now Deathmaster's here. Oh no. Oh no, Deathmaster's coming for that booty. Oh man, he's gonna get all his anime moves on this character. She'll be able to escape in a second. She needs to run ASAP. Like, if Giles loses Fey Enchantress, he just loses the game. It's just over. Oh my god, this is so painful. This pains my soul to watch this. He was playing so well, and then this happens. He's like trapped there too. He's staying in combat. Oh, and the Doom Wheel comes in for the rear ram. So do the Paladins as well. So now she has Guardian at least. Yeah, the Bretonians are kind of like their hand is forced. Fey Enchantress should get away here. Deathmaster is blocked up by the Paladins, and it looks like Giles is able to escape with the Fey Enchantress. Unintentionally, of course. The Doom Wheel is just kind of ramming her. Is she going to break? 11 leadership. She does have really good magic resist against the Doom Wheel's kind of laser attacks. Paladins probably want to pull back. Oh my god, Deathmaster is getting worked on by the double Paladins, actually. It's incensed to a point of pure rage in seeing the Fey Enchantress be violated so. The two Paladins push in and start whooping on the freaking Rat Lord here. But he definitely wants to pull back at this point, I think, although I guess he has Knights of the Realm and other elite troops here. What a messy fight that is. So now the rest of the Bretonians are coming in. We do have the Knights of the Realm over here on the flank working on the Clan Rats. Battle Pilgrims are pushing in, and Hadries is continuing to shoot his mortars into the Bretonian battle lines. But, okay, that was a bit of a wash. Both players took some heavy damage. Both Paladins took quite a bit. Deathmaster took some. Fey took some. It's an even trade across the board, I would say. But now the Grail Guardians and other troops have collapsed in and have gotten a bit of a surround here on some of the elite assets here. I think the Paladin's going to be charging back in, trying to pin in the Doom Wheel, and Knights of the Realm charging in as well from both sides. And, you know, the Skaven are suddenly kind of trapped here. Looks like Hadries is going to be summoning some Plague Monks to try and, you know, help the situation out. But the Paladin, oh, the Paladin gets karate chopped! Yeah, the Paladin down here is getting shanked by Deathmaster. This one right here, that's in front of the furnace. A couple rats being lanced by the Bretonians, but, yeah. I don't know, it might be time to abandon the situation, because, like, you're getting Mortis Engine too. The Plague Priest is draining all these Bretonian units. And Battle Pilgrims have finally engaged in the front line, and some of the Knights of the Realm have slammed into the back and may be able to get into the mortar lines. We'll see. Giles is trying to push through where he can, but that mortar fire into the blob is so nasty. Fey Enchantress is mortising too, but the Mortis Engine from the Fey isn't going to be as impactful because it's mostly Skaven single entities here. He's trying to goon out the Deathmaster, but Deathmaster is not taking that shit. No, he is not. Hadries is definitely a really, really good Skaven player. He's not going to give it up for free. Very unorthodox, not seeing Skrulk for sure. So yeah, what Giles needs to do now is grab the Fey Enchantress and the Paladin and start getting some heals on those characters. Although he charges back in with the Paladin, gets a decent blow there on the Wheels of Doom, but Knights charging in again as well, Knights of the Realm. And in the back line, it looks like the Helped Abomination was able to roadblock and stop the Knights of the Realm from getting on top of the mortars. Granted, some Battle Pilgrims have also shut down the mortar teams and the Warp Grinders, so there's some back and forth here, but like the leadership situation, yeah. Fey needs to get her Paladins, get them in check, start getting some fat heals on those guys, and just play very safe. Like, pick apart the Skaven army, win with cycle charges in the 4th quarter. But the Fae is charging in again. She's getting a little crazy, I have to admit. So this one Paladin is shattered here, but the other one's okay. And she should have a regrowth. Now, she didn't bring regrowth. That's very strange if you're going with double Paladin, in my opinion. Another Rat Summon is here. Battle Pilgrims, of course, trading pretty effectively in the front line. Even in the back here, the Battle Pilgrims have shut down most of the mortar teams, I think. Yeah, I think one mortar team is back here. Yeah, some of the Bretonnian Knights could go finish it off. Wheels of Doom is low too, though. I mean, all it takes is a couple attacks from the Paladin to, even this game out. What? Did he break Deathmaster? No way. Oh my god, he came in and got Deathmaster! The Fae Enchantress and the Paladin were able to goon out the Deathmaster! He's broken! Oh my god, this is insane. Now the Bretonnian Knights piling in, the Grail Guardians, of course, insane leadership, but that freaking Mortis Engine effect from that Plague Priest is doing so much work. Deathmaster has 8 HP, probably going to be falling to one of the Bretonnian Knights here. And here, the Battle Pilgrims cleaning off the mortars pretty well, winning their frontline engagements. Balance of power is, yeah, pretty one-sided, but I mean, it certainly seems like a very contested game still. If the Fae and the Paladin can finish off this Assassin too, that would just be back-breaking for the Skaven. And you can see with that happening, it's pulling the Balance of power back, because the mortar teams are more or less offline. These Knights of the Realm should be able to go back here and finish them off to keep them from getting huge value. Okay, and the Assassin finishes off the other Paladin. The Paladins are out of the picture. Now it's Fae Enchantress dueling an Assassin, but she's got the Unicorn. She's got a charge bonus of 74. She wants to pull back. She wants to cycle charge here. Oh, and the Wheels of Doom is isolated by the Grail Guardians up here, and the Fae Enchantress pulling over here. A single charge from the Fae could be pretty big here. -6. The Doom Wheel is breaking. 3 leadership, 4 leadership. Is it going to hold? Is the Assassin going to get that character? Maybe so. Looks like an Earthblood going down and a Scorch effect as well from Drees and his Plague Priest. You also have to remember that the freaking Hellpit Abomination's still alive. Something we've kind of neglected to look at for most of this game. But the Doom Wheel is here. It's at 434 right now. The Skaven Assassin is on the hunt. The Fae Enchantress could bully that and then finish off the Wheel of Doom, maybe. But it looks like a lapse in micro for a split second may cost the Fae Enchantress a fair amount of life. Although she gets some big damage right there. Nice impact. Assassin Trophy. Certainly no joke. And now she's going to be pulling back. Knights of the Realm charging in once again. The Wheels of Doom takes the full charge and takes a fair amount of HP damage on impact. The Fae could definitely cycle charge that Assassin into another dimension. And Bretonnia honestly has cleared the entire Skaven army. And that's the thing, like, if Bretonnia can kill the single entities and just have the Hell Pit, like, there's a chance, the Fae could definitely do it. Assassin Trophy, 10 leadership, and it looks like the Skaven Assassin is broken. Hell Pit Abomination's coming in. Yeah, man, that Plague Priest is going to be so gross, though, too. The Plague Priest is just going to frickin' Mortis Engine down this entire blob of Bretonnian Battle Pilgrims that are still alive. I don't know where those Grail Guardians are going. It looks like they're going to be chasing down the Assassin and the Wheel here, which is certainly good. We have a couple Battle Pilgrims coming back. Giles has gotten back in this game. Yeah, the Hellpit Abomination is going to be an absolute pain. Skaven have some Skaven slaves and stuff. They're going to hide in the trees, probably. I mean, Battle Pilgrims, I mean, if it was just the Hellpit, I think you might be able to break it just on leadership. But, yeah, here you can see the Assassin getting chased off. Might get stabilized here by the Hellpit Abomination. We'll see. 291. What a great game these two gents are playing here. That's kind of why you want Peasant Archers, too, though, is to kill the Hellpit Abomination. But, again, Drees had, like, the good rock, paper, scissors formula. Mortars kill Archers, and then Hellpit kills Cav, right? And then there's nothing to kill the Hellpit because the Archers are gone. The Skaven army's hiding in the hills. It's not much. It's mostly Skaven slaves. Bretonnia has a lot left. I mean, they have Fae, they have some Knights, and I mean, a lot. Just take that with a grain of salt. It's mostly Battle Pilgrims here, and maybe if Fae can get some really sneaky cycle charging on like some of these other units. I don't know. How's it not army losses for Skaven? Well, because Skaven, if you look at the gold on the battlefield, they have a Hellpit plus a Plague Furnace, which are very healthy, which, like, these two units in terms of gold value is like probably as much as everything you see here, if not more. It's probably more. Yeah, the Bretonnian Knights are falling back. We have Knights of the Realm and some of these other units, and the Assassin is very, very low, 291 HP. Any damage he takes or shock damage will probably be enough. Hadri's chasing, but the Bretonnians just kind of slow pushing, getting their massive legion here, but then suddenly the Bretonnians see the onslaught of Skaven clan rats coming, and will probably use their Knights of the Realm and other units to try and chase them down. Yeah, the Plague Priest on the Bell is a very expensive unit. Knights of the Realm should be able to clean up all these Skaven here. They're already wavering, so just kind of a little bit of a tickle of the pickle should send them running for the hills. Wouldn't be a terrible idea to send in one Battle Pilgrim to maybe fight the Assassin. Just try and break him real quick, and yeah, you can see these guys are all like starting to shatter. It's still winnable for Bretonnia. Very, very slim chance. Battle Pilgrims are good leadership. They don't break easily, so Skaven Assassin piles in, and now he is in combat. Knights are charging into the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, which are broken. have to remember, Fey Enchantress does have a Mortis Engine effect as well, so, you know, the Skaven army isn't going to last long there, but the single entities will. So Hadri's moving in. The Skaven Assassin is running for the hills, negative 33. He most likely will not come back. So what needs to happen now is that the Bretonnians need to just cycle charge that Plague Priest, like with the Fey Enchantress, while just enduring with something else, you know? If you could break the Plague Priest, yeah, it could be something. Fighting by the border for Bretonnia is a little bit risky, but also if you're able to break the leadership of the Plague Priest with like a full surround and cycle charging, it could break off, which would save you from having to deal with a lot of its HP. So Bretonnia mainly just chasing off Skaven right now. You can see the Battle Pilgrims are hunting. They're also hunting over here, but these guys are all shattering. Balance of Power is kind of creeping back towards the middle here. Certainly a very, very close game. And now Hadri's basically just has to kind of just chill out. I mean, he could chase here. Hadri's just chase these guys down, rout them off, and then sit at the edge of the battlefield and wait for the Bretonnians to come in. We'll see. Yeah, and he is now chasing off the clan rats. Hadri is saying something about the attacking rules. So I will say Giles must engage. I don't remember if the single entity, if the Fey Enchantress counts as attacking in the banner rules. I can't remember. Yeah, we'll see. But the Hell Pit and Bell are really scary. I don't think it's going to matter. I just told him he has to engage now, so he's going to be coming in for the Alpha Strike. Both players were chasing off routing units with single entities, so technically, yeah. And here he goes. Here comes the Plague Priest and the Hell Pit Abomination. Hell's bells are ringing. And the fight is soon to be underway. I just don't see the Bretonnian army winning, especially if Hadri's has a summon in the back pocket. He's trying to get a full surround right now. Yeah, Bretonnia versus Skaven always ends up this way a little bit. Yes, it does. A really nice Scorch by Hadri's, and the entire Bretonnian army's like, screw this shit. We're out of here. And the Fey Enchantress is going to be leading a Ball of Knights in, but freaking Hell Pit. Oh, and a nice summon here. Really nice summon. Yep, and the summon is going to get blocked by the... Well, is it going to block the charge? The charge looks like it kind of connected a little bit. Plague Priest here getting a little bit low, but as long as the Hell Pit comes in, this blob is going to have a really, really bad time. And there you go. Yeah. Both players need to engage, and they did, Expando. Don't you worry, man. There was pretty much no chance here. I mean, like, what he could do is leave the Battle Pilgrims and cycle charge his Cav and the Fey Enchantress. I mean, maybe. Yeah. It's a tricky one, lads. Okay, he doesn't have to... Okay, Eric Rasik, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't think there's any way they can win it anyways, guys. There's no freaking way. A full health Hell Pit. When I gave the order for them to attack, he kind of had to attack anyways at that point, because he had just finished chasing off some units that were shattered at that point. So, well played. Well played indeed. And that is going to be in advance for the Skaven. Well played to Giles. He did very well today. It was a close game. I mean, he looked like he was on the absolute ropes in the beginning with his two Paladins. Faction War bracket. And now we get Hadri's advancing on to face the winner of Falcon and Energized. So far in our top four, we have Greenskins, Vampire Coast, Skaven, and it's either going to be Wood Elves or Lizardmen for our last round here. Well played. GG, well played. GG, well played indeed. So now let us switch on over. Yeah, there was no way. Like, the Hell Pit there was too healthy. The Furnace still had Winds of Magic, like with summons. There was no freaking way the Bretonnians could have won. No Bretonnia in the finals. Yeah, I know. When I saw Deathmaster go down, but then we, you know, realized the Hell Pit Abomination was in a lot of trouble there. One sec. We'll see you next time. Cool. So just getting the next lobby set up. So now if we take a look, it's going to be Falcon versus Energized, Lizardmen versus Wood Elves on our bottom side of the bracket. Very cool. Let's go ahead and get this going. Okay, so who do we have? Energized versus Falcon. See if they put the password correct. They did! They did it! Oh man, guys. The peasants needed to get back to their farms. They did. They had some crops to tend to. Yes. And now we are here. It is Falcon versus Energized. Energized is on the left. Falcon is on the right. Let me update the nameplates. Where's Falcon? Falcon looks like he's resetting his game real quick. So we'll hang tight. And again, these are the players for the day. We had a couple changes at the last second, but these are the champions. A salute to those who have fallen. Deja Vu, the Gunnery White is also quite good. Yeah. The Gunnery White is good, for sure. There's some good matchups for him. Yeah, Giles played very well. There was nothing to kill the Help It, though. That was his problem. The Battle Pilgrim frontline, I 100% agree with. I think his cab was solid. I think just getting like 3 Peasant Archers somehow, but maybe, I don't know. How do you deal with that Help It? If somebody, one second, guys. I just heard Wookiee barking. I have to go deal with him real quick. So the dogs were barking for attention, and I tossed them into the bed with Anna. So they're here. Yeah, the double paladin. Paladins can kill the Help It Abomination. All right. Okay, it seems like lobby bugs. Let's rehost. So the players need to rehost the lobby real quick. Paladins with healing and flame arrow support. Yeah, the thing is though, is like against the Hadries brought the double mortars. Like mortars kill the archers so fast. That's the problem. But I mean, I've seen Help Hits lose games where they're like fully surrounded as well. I guess a lot of it just comes down to like the paladin micro. You know, like getting the paladins the proper engagements. Yeah. Yeah, Guac, I agree. I've won that matchup. It's definitely very contingent on your paladin play. And I guess the paladins had an okay matchup, but I think the engagement in the beginning for Giles was a little bit suboptimal. Yeah, no, we had to remake the lobby because it seems to be bugged. Sometimes lobbies get bugged where you just like can't do it anymore. Okay, so let's refresh it. And we have a new member on the channel. Sorry, my voice just cracked there for a channel. Colin Ambulance. Thank you so much for the membership on the channel, man. Do appreciate that. Giles had 1 archer. He played really well today. I haven't seen him play before, but he's a very good Britannian player for sure. Yeah. I mean, Deathmaster was pretty good. I mean, catching the Fae early too was very punishing. Sicknarf, Epop, thanks for the stream turn. Favorite format here. Also, everyone, call your dad after the stream. Hey, Sicknarf, Epop. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the donation. And call an ambulance. Enjoy your new emojis. Call an ambulance. That meme's always pretty funny, but not for me. Yeah, that's the whole meme. Yeah, it's really funny. Oh my god. All right, so it looks like the lobby is rehosted. Cool. My dog sounds like Palpatine. We could get the dogs to make some noise, but maybe towards the end of the stream. All right, so now we're loading in. It's going to be Energized versus Falcon. A rematch of the ECL Grand Finals we had the other day. It's going to be Wood Elves versus Lizardmen, which means it's most likely going to be Laser Dinos facing off against the Way Watchers. Hippogriff Knights, huh? Against Skaven? Interesting. It seems a little bit risky, though. But I guess, like, if your opponent is going with, like, a mortar build, yeah, that's the thing. Like, maybe if you bring hippos and archers, yeah, I don't know. There's so many ways you can do it. That's what makes this game so interesting, like the theory crafting of builds and scheming and all that sort of good stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. So this will be a fun match, and this is the bottom side of the top 4 here, I believe. Well, round of 8, which will then lead to the top 4. It's going to be good. Maxim, Felix, you've had a rough day. Sorry to hear that, man. And you hope that the Wood Elves get wrecked. Well, the Wood Elves are played by a very good player, but so are the Lizardmen. Oh, I'm sorry, HGM. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Grail Guardians have made a pretty good appearance today. Arrow used them really well. Giles used them quite well also. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the battle. Let us go ahead and take a look at the forces of Falcon, who's coming in with Big Papa Durthu. Once again, representing the big tree man himself. Certainly going to be fun. So he's got Durthu. His main battle line is actually going to be Eternal Guard, Azurite, Wardens of Sithril, and Wildwood Rangers. So a very aggressive Wood Elf infantry build. It looks like a couple Way Watchers in the back with Wild Rider support. And that's it. So this is like a build that's looking to get down and dirty in melee against like Saurus and Skinks. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. So for the build of Energized, it's going to be Skink cohorts, also Saurus warriors, in total 4 with shields, which of course is nice. In the back, he's got a classic Cav rush, as rushing Wood Elves with Cav has always been a thing to shut down the Way Watchers. Got a couple groups of Chameleon Skinks, a Skink Chief, and a Saurus Old Blood. It feels like his build is like identical to what we saw earlier, like against Dov. It's like almost the exact same build. Yeah, interesting. It's still not bad though. For his caster though, it's not going to be a Heavens caster this time. It is going to be a Manticore Summoner, which is certainly good. And that is it, my friends. If Falcon wins, so Apocalypse in chat says, if Falcon wins, the top 4 will be the previous 4 winners. That's true. Energized is the last hope for a newcomer to win today with the Lizardmen. Lizardmen have won before, I think. Wood Elves have never won a faction war. I do not believe. No, we've had Empire, we've had Lizardmen, we've had Coast and Skaven. Those have been the previous winners of the faction wars. No Dread Saurian, yeah, I know. It's a shame. Well, Dread Saurian wouldn't be good here. Although I guess against only 2 Way Watchers, maybe it could be okay. I honestly think Falcon's build's pretty cool. A lot of Lizardman players are going to be expecting Pravenoth Ramakite and won't be expecting the Durthu rush. So I think this is quite cool. Yeah. And the Way Watchers certainly going to be wanting to unleash their salvos on the Cold One Riders. Falcon needs to get rid of the Cav. I mean, even though these are anti-large units, these Eternal Guard, they're still very susceptible to being rear charged and kind of punished in that way. So we'll see how this goes. Way Watcher shooting downtown, getting some work in there. Call an ambulance. 9899 says, glad to be a new member. Got hooked after your random build tourneys. Love the commentary. Big Chaos fan. If you had to pick, what's your favorite? My favorite factions to play in multiplayer are Greenskins, Empire, and probably Chaos, honestly, right now, and Dwarves. Dwarves I haven't been playing as much, but in terms of thematics, Empire and Dwarves are my favorite. But I really do enjoy playing Chaos as well. I've been playing them in tournaments and having a lot of success lately. So here we are, Eternal Guard are moving forward. It looks like there's going to be a Manticore Summon getting used to fight in the front. But Big Papa Durthu taking those little poison darts to the face, no problem. Nice cycle charge from the Wild Riders, classic Falcon, using the hammer in the front. That's something for you newer players. Don't be afraid to use your Cav in the front because you can charge, hit their front line, and then pull back into your own spears very safely. Now we have a big Cav engagement here, which is going to heavily favor Falcon. He's got the Wild Riders plus the Eternal Guard pinning in these Cold One Riders, who are buffed by the Horn of Kygor, but it's not going to matter. There's so many anti-large spears here, and Big Poppy Durthu is coming as well, which is going to be pretty rough. Yeah, and if that freaking Saurus Old Blood gets caught by Durthu, he is going to have a bad time. In the front, it's going pretty well. Wardens of Sithril and Wildwood Rangers, of course, trading efficiently, but nice Flock of Doom here from Energized, and of course, just sheer numbers with a Manticore might be able to win that, but this is what I'm very concerned about for the Lizards. The Cold One Riders got really heavily outflanked, and now we have the Saurus Old Blood, who has popped his Amulet of Itzel to try and stay alive, but Durthu hits like an absolute truck, and is going to be getting his branches and his vines and just absolutely pimp-slapping the Saurus Old Blood. So now the Way Watchers have unleashed a volley of fire here into the Cold One Riders. It seems like they're pretty safe, and honestly, I feel like Falcon's in a very commanding position, especially considering the Bounce Fire is even. Even with 2 Manticores in the battlefield, it's still like even, right? Which definitely is good. But the Saurus Old Blood has survived somehow. I think Falcon is going to want to grab these Wild Riders and push past the Saurus Old Blood and make sure to get us around here so we can't escape. Nice Manticore from Energized, sending it in to try and break off the Wild Riders and allow the Saurus Old Blood to escape. But now the Lizards are going to be flanking here. Saurus Warriors and Skinks coming around the weak side of the formation, but are intercepted by Eternal Guard, and the Way Watchers are both happy. And that's a problem from Energized, because even if the Saurus Old Blood does escape here, the Way Watchers are just going to be waiting to butter his bread. Now you can see Falcon going for the Alpha Strike, shooting with the Way Watchers, who are going to be unleashing a nasty salvo here in just a second. A 1, a 2, and a 3, and there it goes. Boom. Right in the face. Wild Riders hunting him down. He's pretty close to breaking. 11 leadership, so yeah, we'll see if they can actually chase here. Wood Elves pulling more and more ahead, I would say. The Saurus Old Blood is broken, but it might be saved here by the Cold One Riders as well as the Skinks, who together may be able to win that fight. You can see the Weight Watchers, Weight Watchers, are going to be probably continuing to break that Saurus Old Blood. And like, What can kill Durthu here? Not a whole lot. The Skink Chief, maybe if it unloads all of its ammo in Durthu's face, might get him kind of low. But aside from that, there's not a whole lot that can do it. I don't know. We'll see. Golden Rider's going to be pushing in, but it's just getting wrecked by the Way Watchers on impact. Then they get rampaged into an even bigger, scarier beastie here. And it looks like Falcon and his Wood Elves are going to be advancing. Just big Optimus Pine here with his freaking Transformer sword, which is going deep. Wildwood Ranger still fighting. Eternal Guard, of course, having insane leadership. But with the Way Watchers being healthy, with Durthu being healthy, I don't know what the Lizards can do here. Because, yeah, now all the characters are just going to get sniped. This poor little Skank with his little cudgel trying to chase down one of the Wardens of Sithril. Nice Flock of Doom right there as well. Got to be pouring into the Saracen. I wonder if Falcon is going to be using Durthu in every single game today, or if this is like something he planned. Durthu is strong indeed. Yeah, now we have a couple Skinks pushing in. We have the Skink Priest of Beasts is going to be taken apart, and it's not going to be army losses quite yet. The Lizards don't have a whole lot. They got a Branch Wraith here, I think. Is this a Branch Wraith? Let's check. Some sort of a caster, yeah. Branch Wraith, Eternal Guards, Wildwood Riders cleaning up the Skink support on the flanks. Getting dangerously close to army losses. I mean, these Saurus have no chance against Durthu. His branches are quite ferocious here. Yeah, look at that, just slapping him up. Durthu is a really cool character. Optimus wood. Yeah, Optimus, but a pine is a tree, so it's like, you know, Optimus Pine it's so close. It's so close to Prime, you know. Lizards are in a very tough situation as army losses creeps up on them. The twilight of their run here in the faction war is certainly on the horizon. Skink cohorts chasing down the Way Watchers, but they're going to get poked for sure. 7 leadership. And yeah, it's basically just cleaning up the Saurus now who are terrified from Durthu. And the Branch Wraith isn't a slouch either. She's pretty good in combat. Branch Wraith rocking freaking 52 melee attack and also buffing Durthu's melee attack. That's going to be army losses, guys. And Falcon, let's hear a round of applause for him in a glorious game. Well played to Energized. It was certainly a scrappy one. Went about 6 or 7 minutes, but the game for Energized was kind of, in many ways, over when he let his Old Blood get trapped in that engagement in the back. It was very, very rough. He lost his Lord and a Cav unit for free, and from there, you can't make too many mistakes like that against a player like Falcon. Well played, man. Well played, Energized. It was a good game, brother. But the Wood Elves will be advancing on. Faction War bracket. So now the finals are set. It's going to be Soothsayer against Anticity on the top side, Greenskins against Coast, and Drees against Falcon. So we haven't had a Greenskin victory yet. We have not had a Wood Elf victory. Those would be the two factions that are fighting for their first kind of chance to win here. Cypress the advantage. Dude, that's good. I like that, man. Nice. Cypress the advantage. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the lobby here with our next 2 lads. GG, well played. Very good stuff, Energized. I'm sure we'll see you in future faction wars representing your Lizards once again. And let's refresh this. Soothsayer versus Anticity. 3, 2, 1. Very good. So for the map here, I haven't given him a map yet. Yes, I need to do that. Let's go ahead and do the... you can do the map. Carrick Buffdar is fine. Actually, we can do Oakenhammer. So the players will need to pick their armies here, so there will be a little bit of a delay as we do this. We'll jump on over. We'll get the Disturbing Blocker up, which is not... It's so funny. People actually think that's me. Yeah. And then let's see who we have where. Anticity is going to be on the left. Multi-time ever-chosen champion here facing off against Anticity's dreaded Vampire Coast. All right, let's update that. Looks good. All right, great. So Anticity's army is already ready, man. He's just rearing and ready to go. Now we just hang out. Branch bots, roll out. Yeah, Aristodemus rooting for his boy Falcon. Of course, another Wood Elf aficionado. Yeah, I think, Sarmation, I think the double Solar Bastiladon is the way to go, for sure, in that matchup. But everyone has their playstyles, you know. I expect Drees to bring a full Eshin army. No, but he'll probably bring Deathmaster. It seems like he's really been on a kick with him today. He's been doing so good. Man, Drees has had, if you go back and watch his Skaven games today, he's had so many good picks with Deathmaster. Like, so many. Joe Heward, are you a strong person? I used to be. Yeah, I used to be a pretty serious athlete. I did college sports and high school football and things like that, but these days I'm certainly in pretty terrible shape. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of Italian Spartacus. He works out a lot. Yeah. Well, Sparty looks like a budget Ben Fraser. What is this horse? So it's a face swap. Somebody like, somebody switched. What's it called? My face with Italian Spartacus is like head and beard, and it's just like a mutated face swap of us. Sarmation saying, go Sooth, QSA forever. So it's Anticity, ODM versus QSA. We got a duel of duels. Greenskins against Coast, I think, is actually a very even matchup. I think both factions have a solid chance here. So very excited to see how this one will go. Yes. Well, we'll see. I haven't been able to exercise for years because of my hand problem, unfortunately, like lift weights. But I actually do have my hand surgery, which is scheduled now officially for July 6th. So on July 6th, I'm getting a surgery to hopefully fix my hand problem. So I'll be able to, once I recover, to stream and play games every day and not have to worry about the limitations I suffer right now. Sooth is really good at Greenskins, yeah. Oh man. And here we go. I wonder how Sooth is going to play this. I mean, normally I've actually played this matchup against Anticity a couple times. We had some really close games. So it's definitely doable. But I think like Grom the Paunch is the best choice here. He's really tough to snipe for Luther. He's really mobile. He can run through like gun lines and take it like a champ with his Lucky Banner and just spam a bunch of Savage Orc Airboys, I guess. Or just go full on rush. Like you could just do like a full Vanguard rush or something. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. It's a really good face swap. Yeah, it's really disturbing actually. So what they did is like my eyebrows and like nose is mine, but like the beard and like below the mouth is like, and the bald head is all Spartacus. And they gave Spartacus my hair and I think my chin. It's really disturbing. It's such a good face swap. It looks like two actual people. Like whoever did that, man. Yeah. Vlatos, I may do that someday. Yeah. Hey Drees, I haven't posted the next map for you guys yet. But feel free, I mean, if you and your opponent just want to agree on one, I'm cool with that. Otherwise, you can just wait for me and I'll give it to you in the lobby and then you guys can make your armies, whatever you prefer. All right, guys, and now we're here. It is time to do battle. And of course, Anticity is expecting an archer build and as such has brought triple mortar. Mortars are of course, the rock, paper, scissors counter against archers. Aside from that, he's got deckhand mobs and polearms and a ton of handguns. Anticity, just like no matter the matchup, he always has like a million handguns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's got 5 of those. He's got the Shade Wraith Gunners, which are very good against Greenskins with their Discourage effect. He's got a Vampire Caster, 2 Scurvy Dogs to harass the back line, and Luther Harkin. This is like classic competitive Vampire Coast. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Oh man. Wait, there's no blocker. Are you guys trolling me? Oh my god, I was like, did I got the blocker, but there's a 30-second delay on chat. So it totally trips me out. Man, you guys giving me a heart attack here. Is Luther better than Noctilus in this matchup? Yeah, I would think so, yeah. They're both better in different matchups. And now for Sooth, he's got Orc Boys. He's got a Doomdiver Catapult. All right, Night Goblins, a million Orc Archers. So 1, 2, 3 Savage Orc Archers, some Orc Airboys, Spider Riders, Orc War Boys, Skarsnik, Boss, and River Troll Hag. That's like, no matter what the matchup is, this is his go-to here. I'm surprised. Skarsnik can fight Luther okay with Poison and Anti-Large, and especially with Rampage. I mean, all it takes is one Rampage to basically, win the game, right? If you can get him in a good place. Doomdiver Catapults are an interesting choice as well, because they can, pepper down the mortars. Yeah, this is a very interesting build from Sooth. Double Doomdiver Catapult. Yeah. Blocker! Blocker! I know, everyone's just yelling blocker. Yeah, I mean, Anticity is really good at Vampire Coast, and Sooth is obviously really good at a ton of factions. And clearly his Greenskins have been very, very solid today. I think he had a close game earlier, though. Yeah, the closest game I think we had... Who did Sooth play in the earlier rounds? I know one of the games was quite close. Some delicious water, I must say. I'm sad we're not seeing a Rogue Idol. You guys want the blocker to just block the screen and you just want a podcast? When I'm recovering from my surgery, I'll probably actually be doing some sort of a podcast format on the channel where I just grab some folks and talk and chat about the meta and different things. And so that'll be happening in the next couple weeks. So let us know in chat, guys. Let us hear your best wah. Or are you a fan of them lizard trinkets? Are you one of Luther Harkin's crew? Let us know in chat, guys. This is going to be a ferocious fight, to say the least. It is best of 1. The finals are the only one where it's best of 3 in the faction war, because if these games were best of 3, the stream would probably go for 8 to 12 hours. Yes. The Chaos game with the Hell Cannons is really good. It was very, very good for sure. Paint me a word picture. Oh my god, you guys are ridiculous. Start when ready. You know what's really funny is Wookiee is like laying on the bed behind me, and if I take like 2 steps backwards towards him, he's gonna start barking at me. Because he's guarding Anna. Well, the doctor said I'll still be able to like, I won't be able to play after my surgery, probably for like a week or 2, but I'll be able to like move the mouse around with my hand, so I'll still be able to do commentary. Yeah. What's wrong with my hands? No problem, man. I can answer that. I have carpal tunnel, cubital tunnel, and I have really severe flexor tendon tendonitis. All right. Good luck and have fun. Both players are ready. Very meticulous with their setups here. And this is like, oh man, Anticity setup with the handgunners is so like, I had never seen that before until I saw him like starting to play Coast. Like he doesn't even care about defending his back line or having halberds back here. The thing is, if you attack one, the other guns will turn on you. It's such a solid playstyle that I think has really kind of ascended his Coast level to the next play. Anna is my lovely wife. Yes, Faction Wars, 12,400 gold and large army size. Standard for multiplayer. So the mortars are shooting in, and certainly we'll do some big work here against the Savage Orc Airboys. I'm really curious, though, what he's going to target with the Doomdiver catapults. Like, is he going to snipe Luther Harkin and then try and rampage him? I think that Anticity will juke that too good. Or too well. It's nice and good like he'll juke that. He's going to go after the mortars, though. Yeah, that's good. Mortars will definitely get sniped. I mean, they can't really dodge these Doomdiver shots. So it's just kind of a trade, right? Like, let the mortars pound the archers. In the meantime, the Doomdiver catapults dive in. And I think there's going to be Overcasted Spirit Leech here. Yeah, Sooth is sniping this mortar out. Definitely doing a very good job. It's going to start crumbling soon. This thing is certainly not happy at all about its situation. Fly on Bread. Been out of Warhammer loop for a bit, but finally got back in. Appreciate all the content you put out. Hey, man, Fly on Bread. Hopefully you and your friend or partner who commented earlier are enjoying the streams. Welcome back, brother. Let's get you in some King of the Hills. So Shade Wraith Gunners are shooting into the Orc Airboys, getting some good damage. Doomdiver Catapults are taking out the mortar teams. Anticity does pull back. He pulls back the mortars to make it so the Doomdivers will hit the crew and not the actual artillery pieces. But now the Doomdivers, once again, continuing their reign of pressure here, the reign of terror here on the mortar teams. Luther Harkin jumping into the Night Goblins in the front. And it looks like this should be crumbling pretty soon. This mortar is going down, but if you also look at the army here of Sooth, a lot of his guys are taking quite a bit of damage from those mortars, but I really do like this defensive build from Sooth. I think it's really cool. Like the Doomdivers, definitely not something, I would have been like more rushing them. And a rush would have actually worked pretty well against this. Like if you had like 4 Squake Hoppers and Spider Riders, I don't think Anticity would have been able to defend his back line against it. So I suppose it's, yeah, pretty even in terms of the army picks and whatnot. So the Unbreakable Night Goblins are going to be unleashing their fanatics. Here they come, tearing through those handgun mobs. Definitely getting some work in there. If I'd gone through the side, maybe a little bit better. So one Doomdiver crew is crumbling down. I would imagine that the Rock Clobbers, not Rock Clobbers, but Doomdivers will now switch onto the other mortar here. And Luther Harkin's going for that fresh fish, going after some of them Orc Boys on the flank. Instant terror out in conjunction with the Shade Wraith Gunner that does have a Discourage effect, leads to really, really quick breaking. But you can see the Hags coming over here, Skarsnik's coming. They're both thinking about this. And oh, in the back here, Anticity's actually getting in there with the Scurvy Dogs. If he gets the Doomdivers, he might just win the game. But it looks like Sooth was quite ready for this and is able to intercept those Scurvy Dogs. Anticity, man, with the micro. Look at him. He's just using that StarCraft micro right there. And I saw him playing StarCraft on Discord, so I figured that's where he got his micro skills from. But the Scurvy Dogs are partially caught, but Sooth really needs to just make sure he doesn't lose his Doomdiver Catapults. So now the Catapults are going after Luther, which is smart because he can potentially rampage Luther if he gets him below 80%. But on that same note, the Mortars are still running rampant and doing a ton of damage against the Archers, so bit of give and take there. But both players in a pretty comfortable position. Very, very even game at this point. The Greenskins are doing some work in the front line, though. The deckhand mobs are all but down, and the handgun mobs are now scooting forward, but it doesn't seem like Sooth has taken that much damage. I mean, Shade Wraith and handguns here are going to be punishing pretty hard. Yeah, Luther's kind of like forced into an awkward situation. Like, he's constantly running from the Doomdivers, which, if he wants to sit and run the whole game, you know, he's just going to straight up lose. Yeah, another Doomdiver slams into him in the face. He's got to get busy, man, because now Skarsnik and this hag with her giant sack of meat is going to be able to beat down the Shade Wraith Gunners. No problems. No problems. Yeah, those guys are going to go down hard. Both Doom Divers still functional. Some Scurvy Dogs, I think, may try and pile through. It looks like he was able to heal these Scurvy Doggos here. Handguns are still in line at the back, and it is a very, very scrappy game. And what is Luther doing? Yeah, he's just hiding. Luther, you got to get busy, man. At least use your pistol and just fly by and drop some shots while you're juking. Over here, Sooth has secured his back line. It looks like the last of the Scurvy Dogs kind of just running over here, not really pressuring the Doom Diver. So Sooth has done a good job securing his formations, but Intensity is still, you know, got his handgun line online. Man, a lot of lines in that sentence. And they're doing great damage against the very tattered forces of Sooth here. And he's going after Shade Wraith Gunners, but my big concern actually is that if you look, the resources here for the Greenskins are rapidly dwindling, and it looks like Intensity might be able to get his handgun mobs and just blast Skarsnik and or the River Troll Hag. So Doom Diver catapults are now going after Luther again. Still doing some good steady damage. It looks like an Invocation, a single target invo is going to be used on Luther as he comes back in with his Goose, but this Goblin Big Boss is probably going to get crumped pretty bad. A lot of Greenskin Archers over here. They're paying their dues, but yeah, Intensity still has 2 mortars that have pretty good ammo. He does also have these Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob handguns here, which are in good shape as well. And this is a really, really close game. This one's just freaking down to the wire. I think Intensity is maybe slightly ahead, if anything. But Luther is going to be such a raid boss to kill. I mean, Skarsnik and Rampage and Goblin Big Boss can do it, but like all the handgun shooting as well, the Orc Archers are getting pushed back. Doom Diver catapults, maybe it was a mistake to shoot Luther this entire time. I know he's really going for the Rampage bait, but like he could have killed both mortars by now, 100%, and probably another handgunner unit had he not been shooting Luther. And Skarsnik is now being focused down. 2 handgunners I think are shooting him, and the Shade Wraith Gunners as well. Quite painful, and the River Troll Hag is like, she's got her sack of meat, but Soothsayer knows it's over at this point, withdraws. That is a very early withdrawal from Soothsayer. I'm really surprised. I mean, he still had a fighting chance. But I guess, you know, Intensity did such a good job avoiding the frickin' Rampage. And, like, yeah, you could see all the Air Boys were running, I guess. And maybe Sooth just figured it was over. That really feels like an early withdrawal for me. But I do think Intensity was in a very advantageous state with Luther being that healthy. But, man, I'm surprised. Soothsayer says, good luck, GG, and the rest of the tournament. Ever the Sportsman, so clearly not a rage quit, but he just felt it was over. Which, it looks pretty grim, but I don't know. You never know. Any given Sunday, right? Intensity could have made a mistake or something. So, Faction War bracket is going to be Intensity in the Vampire Coast once again. Man, his coast is on fire. The Air Boys were all running, though. If you guys go back and look, they were like running for the hills. Yeah, but it looked like Vampire Coast was going to clean that one up. So now we have Hadri's and Falcon, Obi-Wan and Anakin. You guys can decide who's who. Having a fight here. And, man, his coast play is so freaking good, though. So if you guys are aspiring coast players, take notes, man. Falcon and Hadri's tricking me with their passwords. Yeah, I feel like trying to snipe Luther with the Doom Divers was a mistake. Like, that was literally like 2 or 3 minutes worth of value. He could have killed both mortars and probably a handgun mob. Like, that would have been a huge difference. I think that was his biggest mistake, and I think he realized that. Yeah. All right. So now we go back in. Very well played to Soothsayer. A solid Greenskin performance getting to the round of 4. Defeated by a returning champion of Intensity. Man, he really wants his Faction War scrap. All right, so let's go ahead and switch back in. Get the disturbing screen blocker back. Okay. So now for the map. You guys got a map or want me to decide? I don't know if they agreed on a map. Okay, looks like they decided on a map together, which is fine. I gave the players that option if both players could agree. So Hadri's is here. And now Falcon. Cool, let's get this going and get this going, and now we are good. So now we're loading in, guys. Long time no see. Total War Legend Turin. Hey, War Bob, thank you, man. Well, right back at you, dude. Chandler Stone says, can I get a shout out, Turin? My birthday was Friday. Happy birthday, brother. Shout out to you. Here's to another great year. Though it is not my birthday, it is getting very close to my actual birthday, which is July 12th. I think Sooth's build had the tools to win. Sooth was actually in a very commanding position early. Like, his initial play, where Sooth was killing the mortar, was so good. Like, the Spirit Leech, like, had he just methodically done that to every single mortar? Like, imagine that. Sooth just plays very patiently. snipes all the mortars and then forces the coast to come forward and then kind of counterpunches, I think he would have been in a very dominant position. Because then his Orc Airboys would have traded effectively with the handgunners, and you just kind of follow Luther around and try and mither him and, keep him at bay. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game. It was winnable for both factions, honestly. All right, let's get this scary screen blocker out of here. It's going to be Falcon versus Hadries. Skaven versus Wood Elves. Oh yeah, it's time. I'm excited for this. How old am I? I'm 31. I forget how old I am sometimes. Like the other day, I was like, hey, I'm 32. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm 31. Dude, Icepower Total War. Dude, you played such a good game versus Anticity, dude. If you hadn't made that mistake with your caster, like your Lord, I think you could have won that. Like, I think you legit would have won that game. It was just that one mistake. You played so good other than that. Your freaking Dark Shards were so solid. Anyways, guys, let's take a look. So for Hadries, we got Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, a Mortar, double Jezzail, and double Doomflayer. So this is pretty standard stuff for sure. The Jezzails are really good at sniping the dragons and, Wild Riders, and the Mortars are good against archers and or Dryad rushes. But aside from that, he's got Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, Rat Ogres, and it is going to be Deathmaster once again with the Plague Priest. So it's a good build. Hellpit Abomination, also a nice anchor piece against dragons. However, Falcon is going to be going in balls deep with a very aggressive rush here. So he's got Dryad Vanguard, Wild Rider Vanguard, Glade Rider Vanguard, Branch Wraith, a Dragon Lord, who's going to be Helm of Discord Dragon. So yeah, it's like a rush. This is going to be a fast game. Whoever wins this, I don't know how it's going to go, but it's going to be fast. What's it like being the world's oldest man with birthdays every day? Oh man, I don't know. The Empire did lose in the beginning, but Empire went out like true heroes with a glorious triple wagon build and a steam tank. Dov certainly did him proud. So we got the Wood Elves against the Skaven. If the Skaven gets to the finals against Anticity, then that means it'll be a Skaven and or Vampire Coast repeat in the grand finals. Dude, Iceman, you played a great game, dude. Just keep it up. That was good. Just that one misplay, dude. You played so well everywhere else. Yeah. Yeah, Arrow, what would you... I guess if you had, like, Coast run into Empire earlier, but again, even if you had them on the same side as Empire, Empire got eliminated round 1. Yeah. I mean, Arrow, your game was probably the closest he's come to losing today. Your Borderlow game. Yeah, it was a good game. It was indeed. We will see, though. We'll see who pulls out the big victory here. Skaven have some decent tools against Coast, for sure. Wood Elves should be interesting, too. I think Wood Elves can do some work. Like with the Vanguard elements, just getting like close super quick. So the Jezzails are now shooting in. Going to be unleashing some hellish salvos of fire into the Branch Wraiths. The Branch Wraiths. Branch Wraith. Just one. Hadries dropping a summon, but of course his Vanguard is very aggressive. But man, look at the Mortar! Oh, that's such good value! He hits the Wild Riders and the Dryads and the Branch Wraith all with one shot. Now Deathmaster's here as well. Skaven Slaves, of course, going to be taking those charges like champs. Hellpit Abomination and Doomflayers going out there to intercept. And it seems like Hadries is absorbing this charge very effectively. He's been able to mitigate a lot of the pressure with very good kind of counterpunching. But now this is where Falcon gets nice and crazy, gets his Wild Riders around, and it looks like there is going to be a pendulum going down on these rats, which is going to tear through those Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Very, very good stuff. And of course, the Dryads will eventually get in. Oh no, Deathmaster's in trouble! He's being hunted by the Glade Lord! But the Deathmaster Sigil is used defensively to allow the rat to escape. That is certainly a very, very precarious situation to be in for Deathmaster Snitch. We'll see how this goes. So now the Doom players getting ready to party. Running over some of these Dryads. Falcon, of course, with a ton of aggressive pressure. He's probably just going to attack move all of his cav like straight through this formation. I mean, if he's able to shut down the Jezzails here in the Mortars, that could be a very quick game. And honestly, I'm a little bit concerned for Hadries and the fact that Deathmaster is so low already, and also the Hellpit Abomination kind of isolated out in the pits. Plague Priest was able to summon some monks and finish off those Dryads, and now it looks like the Dragon going to be coming in. Big thickness, taking some Jezzail shots in the face as he does, but is going to be going after Deathmaster, and Deathmaster gets whopped by the Dragon! Brutal stuff! And Deathmaster Snitch is down for the count, potentially. He's wavering, he's terrified, he is actually broken. So now with good micro, Falcon can probably grab any of his Wild Riders or these other mobile units and really pursue the forces of the Deathmaster. Both players are saying good luck, have fun to one another. It's looking pretty tough for the Skaven. A mass exodus as Falcon's rush, man. Oh, man. Like, Hadries, of course, could have brought a build that would be a little bit more durable against the rush, but then you're weak to the archer play. It's kind of tricky to find a middle ground, but again, you have to, you know. Falcon is known for his Helm of Discord rush with the Glade Lord. But Hadries played a great game. considering the circumstances and the army picks. I don't know. I don't think, because the Hell Pit will probably die to the missile fire and the dragons, and yeah, Deathmaster is not coming back. Well, the Wood Elves will be facing Vampire Coast. That was some of the fastest semifinals we've ever had on stream. Drees knows it's over. Oh my god. The Wood Elf Blitz. Alright guys, so we got Wood Elves in the final. Facing off against Anticity's Vampire Coast in a best of 3, so players will have time to adjust their builds, of course. So let's go to the bracket. And now we have Falcon facing Anticity in the grand finals. What a scrap. Archers versus guns in the finals. GG, well played. Hadri says, have fun with Coast. All right, so let's go ahead and get the players to host those games real quick. And we will be back with the finals here in a moment. Yeah, a Skaven Death Star would have won that probably. Like a box with like a Grey Sierra or a Plague Priest on a Furnace, they would have won probably. But, you know, again, how can you know? Cypress Hill. Yeah, man, that was some aggressive play for sure. The Vanguard was like right in front of the Skaven too. That was like the worst part of it. All right, so Falcon versus Anticity is hosted. 3, 2, 1. So here we go. So let us know in chat, guys. Who do you want to win? The villainous Vampire Coast or the people of the forest? Who's your champs? All right, Falcon, we got the lobby hosted, so if you could, please join. So first map is going to be MP Alpine Ridge. It's going to be our first one. Very cool. So let's go ahead and get the nameplates all set up. And we're good to go, my friends. Man, what a freaking game. These last two have just been so fast and furious. And we'll update that. Scorecards, let's get the screen blocker up. And Falcon should see the lobby. Let me go ahead and message him. All right, 1 second here. Very cool. Got a lot of messages to respond to here. Perfect, perfect. So it's best of 3, this one. Map set. So the first one is going to be Alpine Ridge, which certainly changes the dynamic of the matchup a little bit. Hell, it's decent for both factions, because it blocks direct line of sight shooting if the Wood Elves want it. But, you know, Vampire Coast has mortars also, so it is what it is here. So players are going to make the selections to their army. They have plenty of time to decide. We'll make the screen blocker bigger just in case. We're going to be good to go. So we actually saw this matchup here. We saw Falcon play Anticity in the last faction war with this exact matchup. It was Falcon's Wood Elves against Anticity's Coast. And it was a really close game. It came down to like the last second, and Anticity was barely able to win it. It was like razor thin decision there. So yeah, this is going to be fun. You'll bandwagon whoever wins, says Brian. Yeah. If Anticity wins, it'll be wins against Arrow, Sooth, and Falcon. Yeah, for sure. Some fearsome foes. I mean, Greenskins, I think, have a decent matchup against Coast. I think it's like an even one with the new Rampage effects and some of the new tools. If Sooth had played a little differently with the Doom Divers and or had gone with a mass rush build, I think he would have been in really good shape. It was a good game. It was really, really, really close. This matchup, I think, Vampire Coast is just so strong. I think it's probably still slightly Coast favored. Not like super oppressive, but definitely I think favors Coast a little bit. But again, it depends on who's at the helm of these factions. You can't just say that as like a blanket statement. It really depends on the pilot, which is, you know, something that makes this game very rich. All right. So let us know, guys. Wood Elves or Pirate people? The map is set. Players are tweaking their builds. Falcon is scheming, I'm sure. Many of you guys think he plays in some sort of a candlelit chamber with monks chanting around him. Apparently has become a thing. If we have any mods in chat, if you guys could drop a link to the Discord, that would be greatly appreciated. Emma, I have no idea what that means. Or what I'm being tricked into saying something silly, so... Gunpowder versus bows and arrows, I know. Well, usually deck gunners are the way to go here. Like, you just spam deck gunners to kill their archers and then handgunners and, you know, do your thing. Turin, possible legendary lord for Skaven, Lurk, Snitch Tongue from the Gotrek and Celix. Lurk, No, Chaotic Blizzard Lurk would be a hero. He would be like a rat ogre, mutated rat ogre, like hybrid hero, I think. Yeah. So, I love pirates, but Falcon is my boy. I know. Allegiances, friendships are being ruined. Friendship with Vampire Coast ended. Now best friend with Wood Elves. I love that meme. It's so good. Vampires, yeah, Vampires are really strong. If you guys are like trying to get, a solid tournament faction, Vampire Coast is really good. Surrounded by druids chanting Vanguard deployment. That's really funny. Jack Sparrow versus Mel Gibson. I don't think we're going to see. I mean, last time Falcon brought an Ancient Tree Man. I don't know. You know what would be interesting to see is like Falcon come in with a Ancient Tree Man plus double Waystalker, like Arrow of Kernus and like range sniping against the some of the very squishy units and like mortars and things like that. Wood Elves have been doing very well. Is Grimgor good online? He's okay, Warbob. He's not like as good as the other Greenskin Lords, but he's certainly not terrible. Grimgor can do his thing. Icepower Total War, rooting for the gentleman who he had a glorious duel with. I do the same thing. When I lose in tournaments, I'm like, all right, you better win now. I swear. Make me look good. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Anticity is like Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny. So I just started blasting. God, that skit is so good. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That show is so good. What kind of stuff is Vampire Coast looking to bring in this matchup? Mortars to kill archers. Deck Gunners to kill Wild Riders and archers. And then Luther, just Luther. I mean, and then whatever else you want, it's fine. Those are typically what you'll see. They are crabos, video gamer. Big old crabs. Maybe Prey of Enothraema sniping from Falcon. It's pretty all in, because if you don't snipe Luther, that's the thing. Like, going after Luther sometimes, even though it's like, unless you really have him, it's like, can be a mistake. Because he'll get away, he'll heal, he'll come back, and then you've like wasted so many resources. Sorry for my creaking floor. Yeah, Chaotic Blizzard he did, yeah, because he gets like super smart. I still think him as a hero would be better. Like, so you have Gracier Thankful come in, and then like Lurk is like a hero that comes with him. You know, because they kind of have that tenuous relationship. I think that'd be really funny, actually. You can also get away with Noctilus here. Noctilus on his big Colossus isn't bad. But Luther is just such a carry. Like, he's probably one of the more oppressive lords in the game when he's in the hands of a good player. Yeah. I know, Frizz Froz, it's pretty funny, isn't it? Yeah, the dreaded screen blocker. I got to come up with a new one. I'll have Lady Turin come up with one. In Frank's voice, Turin, may I offer you this nice egg? Rum ham! Rum ham! Remember when Danny DeVito and Mac, or I guess Mac and Frank Reynolds get trapped in the ocean with like a giant shank of ham as their only source of food, and it's like soaked in rum, and they're like trying to survive with it? God, that show is so funny. Oh my God, I love It's Always Sunny. I love when they go to the Jersey Shore too. And then they have these like nostalgic memories of Jersey Shores like in their childhoods, and then it's just like there's, oh my God, it's so good. What makes Luther so strong? All right, so firstly, he's undead. So he's basically unbreakable. He has insane melee stats. I mean, not insane, but really good. 44 with poison, so if he's fighting other monsters, he immediately poisons them. And 460 weapon strength is great, but he's not only hitting you in melee, he also has a pistol with like 1 million ammunition. So the pistol hits incredibly hard. Great AP values. So he can fly overhead, soften you up with the pistol. If he's fighting you in melee, you're taking the Terrorgeist attack and also the pistol. He has a breath attack. He has really good debuff with a Hornswaggle. I mean, Luther is just insanely good. Yeah. He's probably one of the best duelists in the entire game. Yeah, absolutely. Rum ham! Alright, so now for the forces here of Anticity, let's take a look. Zombie Power Deckhand Mobs into the Sunset. Scurvy Dogs to pressure the back line. Vampire Fleet Captain, of course, is a must. He's got 3 mortars, 3 deck gunners, and 4 handgunners. So you're going to see the classic Anticity deployment, where you have the deck gunners and the handgunners kind of in a big semicircle around them to defend from all angles. And Luther just kind of being Luther, which is quite nasty. So now for the forces here of Falcon, we have a Glade Lord with Prey of Enothraema, so he is going for the sniping. He's got an Arrow of Kernus Waystalker. He does also have a Branch Wraith, and his build is going to be Deepwood Scouts into the Sunset, which I heavily agree with. I think that's a really, really solid inclusion, so let's see how that goes. Because Deepwood Scouts are in a loose formation, which means mortars don't hurt them that bad, and on top of that, they you don't need much AP in this matchup. They're pretty cost-effective here. I really do like the Deepwood Scout pick here from Falcon. Dryads, Spears, Arrow of Kernus Dude, and it is also going to be a Branch Wraith. That is it. That is it, my friends. It's a similar build. He keeps the handgunners, but he kind of switches out other things. Like he didn't bring deck gunners in other matchups. He brought just Shade Wraith gunners earlier, but in this one he brings triple deck gunner. He does actually have some halberds defending his flank this time. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's funny because when I watch Anticity play here, it's like I feel like I'm watching a Terran player in StarCraft 2 play, because he's like, Terran players will do this with with siege tanks. They'll have the tanks like spread out, so when one tank gets compromised, the other ones all focus fire on the attacking elements. It very much feels like he's playing Terran, yeah, which is cool. Which is cool indeed. So the battle is soon to be underway. The vampires are ready to party. Falcon going to be taking a side approach here. If Falcon were coming from this side, it'd be much more effective. He'd be able to close the distance quicker. Granted, it's not going to be bad. Deep-Wood Scouts do have stock, so they won't be spotted until they're kind of close. And does Falcon have any backline pressure? I think he has some Wild Riders. Did he have some? No, he doesn't, actually. Yeah, Falcon has no mobile pressure. It's very much like a slow push build, which, you know, playing against this kind of firepower is going to be quite nasty for sure. Pravenoth Ramus could be good. I mean, if he catches Luther with a prey and snipes him with, you know, Dragon Breath and, you know, Dragon Attack, that could be game-winning as well. Did he have Wild Riders? Did I miss some? I'm not sure. Good luck, have fun being dropped by both players. Good sportsmanship all around. I don't think there are any Wild Riders. There are some Dryads in kind of a slight Vanguard position. Falcon's going to be moving. Waystalker is hidden as well. So Waystalker will probably Arrow of Kurnus a mortar down. Just start sniping it would be my best bet. Arrow of Kurnus coming in, yep, sniping the mortar teams, and a boom. One mortar is down for the count. The Arrow of Kurnus is a very, very good ability against these type of builds. And the Waystalker has what kind of range? I think it's 190, so he can get close. Another Arrow of Kurnus coming, which is going to take out another mortar. And it does kill it. So 2 mortars are down. Anticity tried to dodge it, so you can pull back the mortar crew. And when you do that, the arrow kills the crew instead of the mortar. But he was a little bit, like a split second too late, and he just barely missed right there. So these aren't cannons, these are mortars, so they can shoot up and over. So Falcon going to be taking a very squared up approach here. Currently his Deepwood Scouts are still hidden, so Anticity doesn't know they're there unless he gets like some scurvy dogs and starts scouting. And Luther Harkin hiding in the edge of the map, just kind of cackling in the shadows. But yeah, that's a really good start. You know, taking out 1 mortar is good. Now the Waystalker probably wants to start shooting at some of the deck gunners here. The mortar is going to be shooting at the Dryads as they approach. The Glade Lord here definitely wants to watch out. 3 groups of deck gunners can really pound him pretty good. But yeah, deck gunners definitely need to go down quick, because the Deepwood Scouts can out-micro and out-maneuver the handgunners, but they cannot do it against deck gunners. Deck gunners have massive range, so... And now you can see they're all going after the Glade Lord up in the sky. Falcon does have healing with Branch Wraith, so there's going to be some healing in there. And now the Deepwood Scouts, they need to kill these deck gunners. Deck gunners have to pay the troll toll. Because the handgunners, like I said, you can outmaneuver, but you cannot outmaneuver 245 range. And now Falcon shooting into some of the zombies in the front. Just taking what he can get, I suppose. Arrows of Kurnus will be off cooldown soon-ish, so there probably will be another one to kind of start poking. Looks like Falcon's going after the zombies here. If he can get in range of the Deepwood Scouts, though, or the Deck Gunners, that'd really be the bread-winning play. And now he is, so now there's going to be some volleys. Deck Gunners are super squishy. Like, if you shoot like 1 or 2 like volleys in them, they start crumbling like ASAP. Ooh, that one Deck Gunner going down for the count, man. Nice invocation by Anticity trying to keep that alive, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. It looks like that bad boy is crumbling. It might actually survive, yeah, because Anticity was able to screen pretty well. Using his zombies. It's in your head, guys. It's in your head. So, the Deck Gunners here are still invoed. It looks like they were able to stabilize, so really good play there. I suppose they shouldn't have been in range in the first place, but, you know, it's tricky to manage all that. And here the Deepwood Scouts are getting taken down by the Deck Gunners, it looks like. They're doing a really good job, but it's only one group of Deepwood Scouts that's really taking a lot of damage. The other ones are all in okay shape, and now the Dryads are pushing in. And here you can see the Vampire Caster actually got Pravenoth Raymond. I totally missed that. It's very, very low. That would be a huge pick for Falcon, being able to kill the caster so Luther wouldn't get healed. Oh, that'd be so good. The Dryads and Eternal Guard are now pushing in. That Vampire Caster is certainly very close to dying. Negative 19 leadership. It's crumbling. Man, what a good pick by Falcon there. Able to scrap that one down. And I think it's going to die from crumbling. It should. I mean, it definitely should. If that thing survives, I'd be very surprised. But crumbling is crumbling. So negative 46, 85 HP. No invocations to be seen. Deepwood Scouts are pushing up and wrecking the Deck Gunners. The Wood Elves are getting into this Vampire Coast line and doing a lot of nasty damage. So suddenly the Vampire Coast is without a caster, and Falcon is pulling ahead in this balance of power. And also remember, he's got a big scary dragon. And the Wood Elf front line should perform well here. Eternal Guard should beat the Deck Gun mobs. And the Mortars are still going, but Deepwood Scouts have been able to get in range and actually pick off many of the Deck Gunners. I think they're all gone except one. There's still 2 Mortars functional. One of them is more or less useless at this point. Deepwood Scout's still in a very commanding position. And here, Falcon does have some Dryads coming around the flank, which is going to be really, really heavy pressure. And it looks like somebody may have cracked the code on how to beat this dreaded Vampire Coast play. We will see. The Way Watchers. Oh, there are Way Watchers here too. Okay, so he's got Way Watchers and Deepwood Scouts. So it's 4 Deepwood Scouts and 2 Way Watchers. Okay, guys, my apologies for missing that during my analysis, but they all kind of, when you're really zoomed up high, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. Another Earthblood going down, healing up the Deepwood Scouts, which are now turning and shooting at the Scurvy Dogs, which are trying to pressure in. Anticity really needs to get these guys back here. If Anticity can get them here, that would be really good. But it looks like a Prey of Nothrama is going to be used, which means Luther is free. He doesn't have to worry so much. But yeah, now these doggos are going to be having a horrible time. And I think that's a good Prey. It gets rid of like the only mobile threat to really punish these archers. Dryads in the back have pushed in, I think. No, they're actually hiding in the tree still because of the handgun line. Yeah, they don't want to push out into that fire. I'm really surprised the Scurvy Dogs didn't get punished more. And now we have Luther Harkin diving in. He's going to be taking some fire, and also we have some halberds aggressing. It's still a close game. This is, you know, the mortars are still shooting, I think. And it looks like actually one of these mortars is very low, and Luther, you know, doesn't want to be fighting a Forest Dragon. He can if it were one-on-one, but in this case, it's a little bit risky. He does go in. Yeah, Luther's pistol really makes him good at like hiding those type of characters. Dryads are going to be panning over here, and it looks like the Dragon is going to be going to try and finish off the halberds to free up the archer line, which Falcon has done a very good job with his ammunition conservation and should be able to. There are some Deck Gunners back here causing problems and a mortar, so kind of a tough situation to be put in. But both players are kind of like securing their back line right now. Here you can see Falcon trying to, man, these Scurvy Dogs are MVPs, man. Anticity's been doing so good with them because they're wasting so much Wood Elf ammo. Like Falcon keeps having to turn and shoot them. Yeah, that's really gross. Waystalker's pretty low on ammo as well. Here comes a big salvo of fire here into the handgun mobs. Oof! I think Falcon needs to advance with the Dryads now, like pincer in while he's pressuring. I think that's the play. I think that's the play indeed. We will see. So here, these halberds are going down to kind of a combined forces army here of Dryads and Eternal Guard and also the Waystalker. Luther Harkin coming in, maybe for a gooning attempt. Oh, but he gets prayed! Is there going to be some follow-up focus fire? No, the Way Watchers are staying on the handgunners. I think he just did that to save his caster. Luther going to be getting a Death Shriek right down there, which will do some okay damage, but it looks like it hit his own guys, actually. Prey of Nothrama does pay off. A couple Waystalkers and other Wood Elf troops are able to really unleash a lot of fire here, and an Arrow of Kurnus. Nice one by Falcon. Beautiful Arrow of Kurnus. Anticity certainly on the ropes. Down but not out. Really good play here by Anticity, though. He does get the Scurvy Dogs into the Way Watchers. Shield of Thorns response from Falcon. Going to give him some physical resist, and the Scurvy Doggos are crumbling. Luther Harkin is kind of low as well, and man, killing that caster earlier was huge for Falcon. Massive, massive stuff. Yes, this is the Grand Finals. Yes, correct. So here comes the Glade Lord going after the Scurvy Dogs. Dryads, in the meantime, hiding in the tree line, just waiting out all this ammunition, but Anticity's dreaded gun line is never quite done. He still has good ammo and Deck Gunners. Both mortars, I think, kind of functional. Actually, are they all destroyed? Yeah, there's one mortar left here shooting, and a fair amount of crew members. But, I mean, I think Luther being this low, yeah, Luther really got pounded here, man. Look at that. And the fact that the Dragon is so healthy, yeah, there's no way. This Glade Lord can just keep sniping Luther, too. Yeah, Luther's very low. He's trying to juke 512, but the Glade Lord on the Dragon has pretty good bow attacks, of course. And should be able to snipe him. Here comes another shot. Luther taking it right in the face. Arrow of Kurnus as well. Heat-seeking. Luther takes one. 119, 108. Is this going to be a victory for the Wood Elves? It might be. Remember, this is best of 3, so you guys are going to get a whole series of these glorious matches. And it looks like now Falcon only now pushing out with the Dryads. Very, very conservative play with those. I'm really surprised. But again, he certainly knows his Wood Elves better than me. And the dreaded gun line is about to be compromised. Luther Harkin has fallen. And here we have the Glade Lord pushing in. We'll be getting a fat breath attack here on these handgun mobs. Ooh, a nice toxic Wood Elf breath attack there. And that is going to be GG. There's no way the Vampire Coast can win. So that is game 1 in the books. Falcon with a very tight victory over Anticity's Vampire Coast. Now remember, this is best of 3 in the finals. It's not best of 1. So he has to do that one more time to claim victory, but Anticity, of course, could reverse sweep. You never know. They get the opportunity to change their build here. Oh no, what happened? Did my game crash? I think so. God, I hate that so much. Okay, one sec, guys. Task Manager, so I just have to move this to... One second, guys, of course. Okay, move to. Great. So I just need to restart my game real quick, guys. So we will go back to the bracket. For now, currently we're in the grand finals, Falcon versus Anticity. And we'll fire this bad boy up. Yeah, but that was not an easy game. That was really scrappy. Yeah. Hannah, I would love a Vampire Coast faction for either the old world or even, that would probably make me play AOS if we got them, but it wouldn't even make sense in AOS, really. That was a good game, but now, you know, both players have showed their cards, right? And it's kind of becoming like in Warcraft 3 or StarCraft, you know, when you see these professional players have to play, you know, best of fives against each other with the same faction over and over again. It's curious to see the adjustments. Brian Leja says, jumps on the bandwagon. I was always rooting for Falcon. Yeah. The Ridge didn't even help that much, though, to be honest. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, that was... Killing the caster early was big. I don't know. If the caster had lived, it might have been a very different game. All right, so let's get you guys on. MP, Blue, Reach, River. Actually, that map is kind of, like, annoying. We'll do Sword of Torgold. I love that map. Cool, so they're going to be on the Sword of Torgold for their next map. We can go back to the lobby, update these scorecards here. So Falcon has won the first game in this best of 3. We're making pretty good time today. We're still under the 4-hour mark. And now they will pick and do their armies. So we get a blocker up before he changes his force there. Very good. So Anticity is changing his army a little bit. What factions are good against Vampire Coast? Empire. Empire is really good. Dwarves are... Vampire Coast, like, literally just can't beat dwarves. Like, it's so hard for them. Like, if you have 2 evenly skilled players, it's like... Vampire Coast has some severe weaknesses against dwarves and Empire. But, you know, aside from that, they have good matchups almost everywhere else. And they can beat Empire. Yeah, Sword of Torgold is interesting. There's, like, some choke points to hide in. And, you know, both players are playing ranged factions, though. And, like, it doesn't really matter with mortars and whatnot, you know? Yeah, we'll do Tower of Hoth. Yeah, Tower of Hoth would be a good one to finish on. But the problem with Tower of Hoth is there's like some terrain you can kind of camp in that makes it really tough to get to you. So, I don't know. Tower of Hoth has some abusable stuff I've been realizing lately. Thank you guys all for your support, by the way. It's been a pleasure streaming with you all. Give my pops a call after this. Well, Luther probably has, you know, a little satchel on his bag that has a ton of little, you know, ammunition in it. What do you think about Warhammer Underworlds? I've never played it. Never played it. Yeah. Not terribly interested in, that's an Age of Sigmar thing, or is it Warhammer Fantasy? Yeah. Yeah, Jay Johnny, I'm curious. But, you know, I think it might be because if somebody sees a faction, their faction lose, they might, like, dislike or something. I don't know. Yeah. How do you decide the faction matchups? Honestly, I try and, like, it's really hard because in Faction Wars, you not only have to balance the first round matchups, the most important thing is making sure the first round matchups are somewhat even, but even that's, like, really difficult because then you're trying to balance the second part of the bracket to make it so, like, the dwarf player doesn't run into, like, you know, the Empire player or something, and it's just, like, stupid for the Empire guy, right? It's like, it's hard to balance that. It really is. Like, there's so many, like, distinct hard counters. I didn't do the best job this time. I think on previous ones I've done a little bit better, but I had a lot going on this week, and it was kind of tricky for me to catch up on all that. But it's all good. It turned out to be a great tournament. We had a ton of close games, some, you know, very near upsets in the beginning, and it's been good. It's been good. Thomas, you've been watching for over 3 hours. That's a good thing, man. Could be worse. Could be worse. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining. It's been an absolute blast. Dreaming Lich, when are you going to see some magic? I don't know. Maybe this week sometime. We will see, my friends. I wonder how much of a factor having firearms helps versus Vampire Coast. Dwarves have them too. The thing is, like, dwarves are just, like, so stalwart. Like, the dwarves can just bring, like, missiles, cannons, and, like, longbeards, and, like, Dwarven missiles outtrade coast missiles. Dwarven artillery outtrades coast artillery. And Dwarven infantry absolutely annihilate coast infantry. You can't kill... Monsters don't work against dwarves because they usually bring like 3 slayers with like gun support. It's just like, it's so hard for coast to win that matchup. And I believe if we take a look at the bracket, hold on. Yeah, so let's go to the bracket real quick. So, I mean, yeah, let's see. Anticity was on the same side of the bracket as the dwarves, and they could have faced each other. But obviously the dwarves lost round 1 to Chaos. And I mean, Anticity certainly had some very tough opponents today, for sure. Both players did. I mean, everyone in this tournament is very competent, so... Yeah. I mean, yeah, dwarves were on the same side of the bracket as Coast. So that could have happened here in the round of 4, and that probably would have been really, really rough for the Coast. All right. But anyways, let's jump back in. So Cena, it's tough to balance a game that has 15 different factions, but it's for what it is, it's quite well balanced, I'd say. Like, every faction can more or less defeat every other faction in the hands of a good player. There are some really hard counters, but I mean, there's not that many of them, I suppose. Yeah. A Total War Star Wars, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting indeed. And now, my friends, we're on the Sword of Torgold for our next map, our next magic trick. Let's go ahead and get the screen blocker out of here. Get out of here. I'm awake now. You're in trouble, screen blocker. Tremble in despair. Yeah, Magic D. We'll be doing the faction wars once a month, or trying to keep it going. What happens after Warhammer 3? I think they'll do a lot of DLCs for Warhammer 3, just like they did for this, and then eventually I think they'll probably do a 40k. Like, that would be my guess. Finals is best of 3. So here it is. Let's take a look at the builds and see if they've changed. So Falcon with a hard switch. Oh my god! Look at this, guys. Mel Gibson is here. Falcon's like, I want the People's Champion vote. Even though he's in the top 2, he can't receive that vote. But he's going with an Orion Horn of the Wild Hunt Rush. So he's got Mass Dryads. He's got Mel Gibson, a Branch Wraith, Wild Riders into the Sunset, and Sisters of Thorn to support. Oh my god, what a build. What a heroic build. So Anticity did change his build a little bit. He got Deckhand Mobs, 2 Scurvy Dogs is the same. He got the Night Terror, so we got the Arwar Morngulls. Bombers this time instead of the Mortars, and then it looks like he's got the Deck Gunners and Handgunner line as well. So very similar in that he has the quad Handgunners and quad Deck Gunners, but he switched out a couple elements of his army. He cut Luther, he got Count Noctilus, and then he got Zombie Pirate Bomber Mobs. Turin, ever think about a Younglings tournament? Yes, I probably will do a Younglings tournament soon, so don't you worry. And Keith, thank you for becoming a member on the channel. Much appreciated. Hopefully you're enjoying this glorious faction war. The glorious cockfight of the ages. I mean, you got to root for Falcon now. I mean, come on, he brought Mel Gibson. Orion isn't bad, though. I mean, Orion is definitely hard to snipe. And in a duel, Orion should beat Noctilus. Like, if they just go fisticuffs. He's got freaking, almost 500 weapon strength. He's got that Javelin of the Gods that he can throw at you. I don't know, man. But the problem is Orion is going to get focused by, like, 4 handgunners. Like, he could get sniped really hard. Falcon's getting a T real quick. Ah, man. Falcon's got to do a Vanguard, too. He's got to, like, move his whole army up into this ravine and just get closer. Like, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Falcon has swapped to the Wild Hunt. He has. I don't know if it's going to work, though. I'm a little bit hesitant. Like, I feel like his formula before worked pretty well. But I guess Falcon's going to take, like, a risk here. Because he's up a game, right? He feels the cushion. So here he just, like, switches to something like this. And then, maybe he can get a quick win. And if he loses, at least he can go back to his working formula, Yeah, guys, it's going to be good. Yeah, if one of the mods in chat, if there's any mods still hanging, if you guys could drop a link to the Discord channel where you guys can get into multiplayer, that would be greatly appreciated. Be greatly appreciated indeed. It's a lot of firepower to protect, but, I mean, that firepower is going to do a lot of damage before they get there. Yeah, Falcon, of course, is going to be vanguarding. Oh, my God. Falcon could quite literally vanguard right in front of this army, which he should. Like, everything here has Vanguard, except Mel Gibson. I think Mel has to run. No, Mel Gibson has Vanguard too! Oh, shit. I forgot about that. Those hooves give him Vanguard deployment. Okay, this is actually really strong. If he should Vanguard, like, right on the pipe. He's right on the pipe, man. And all the Wild Riders are doing a huge Rohirrim blitz down the hill here. Oh my god. This is going to be insane. So yeah, Falcon going for like an overload here. I would like to see like one unit over here, like hide them in the trees, and then like Anticity will assume nothing's there, and then you can like pounce out with those. Hey Drees just dropped a link to the Discord, by the way. So, all right, guys, Mel Gibson's rush is here. The Horn of the Wild Hunt sounded once more. It's the true horn. Screw that stupid Vuvuzela and Imrik. This is the true Horn of the Wild Hunt. The Dragon Horn can eat its heart out. This is the way. Gonna give a huge charge bonus, and now the rush is on. Anticity certainly reacting quick as the zombies can shamble. Getting a couple forces here, and this is like classic Falcon. Yeah. Oh man, this is exciting stuff. Handgunners, of course, peppering in, but here comes the Dryad pressure. The Dryads will be quite efficient here. I mean, Anticity's doesn't have anything like... It's just the Morngulls here, really, and Count Noctilus. Where is Mel Gibson? It looks like he's coming in. Okay, he's in the front. So Falcon needs to, like, circle about. Like, circle, and attack from, like, 3 or 4 angles here. He's going to take a lot of last... This is, like, Last Samurai here. So he lures the Morngulls away with the Sisters and then pounces in, but a nice summon from Anticity here is going to roadblock some of that. But here comes the Horn of the Wild Hunt! The charge bonus is active! A huge charge bonus on this Wood Elf force. They need to just, like, be like the Rohirrim at Pelennor Fields and just keep piling through. Like, he can't stop for anything. He needs to just blitz in here. The Scurvy Dogs are even having to be used here. And Mel Gibson is charging in with his hooves. For Athel Loren. Oh, yeah, here he comes. He sees Count Noctilus filled with rage. Yeah, he's such a cool character. The Bombers, of course, doing some decent work, and some of the Sisters of Thorn and other units are getting very beat up. But the Wood Elf rush is working. I mean, you can see here the Wild Riders are broken, the Deck Gunners are broken. And here comes the Wild Riders getting into the double Deck Gunner here. One of them is crumbling. This is really brutal, actually. The Elves are really doing a ton of damage on this Blitz. Granted, Anticity still has, you know, I think the Mortars online. No, he didn't bring the Mortars this time. That's right. That's what he cut. And the Wood Elves have really gotten back here. Shield of Thorns making those guys quite durable against his pressure. And Falcon just sweeping all over the battlefield with his Wild Riders. Mel Gibson is here. It looks like he's throwing a spear. I'm not really sure what he's up to. And of course, you still have to worry about the Dryads once they do get in there. Yeah, more Sisters pushing in. A huge herd of reindeer. Anticity is going to be afraid of Christmas after this game. The reindeer are pushing in, and man, they're just getting into these lines. Handgunners are compromised. A nice Hawk's Talon coming in. I guess doesn't do too much, but yeah, the Duel of Duels. Orion is like... Just look how Chad he is. Although he's going to be turning and running, I think. Like, even if he gets Orion low, Orion has the Kilkavisha and is super hard to kill, so that doesn't really matter. So the handguns are shut down back here. Both of them, I think, yeah, the Bombers, like, the entire gun line for Anticity is gone. He's got, like, the one Deck Gunner here. These ones are crumbling, I guess. Probably want to leave one of the Wild Riders to finish these guys off. He's just bouncing back and forth, getting a huge charge. Is the Horn of the Wild Hunt sounded? No, that's still Shield of Thorns there. And here you can see that Mel Gibson is definitely doing some decent damage against Count Noctilus. Yeah, man, this is crazy. Anders, really enjoyed the show. Excited to see how this ends. Me too, dude. This is great. Oh my god. And Orion coming in, dueling Noctilus. And Orion doesn't care if he takes the damage. When he gets low, he gets 44% ward save and heals himself, so it really doesn't matter. But just this Wood Elf rush, Rohir Elf, coming in, collapsing on the last of the Vampire Coast assets here. And yeah, I mean, Noctilus can shank down Big Boy a little bit, but it's not going to matter. Like, everything for Coast is, like, swarmed. Like, their bombs, their handguns, all of it. The Wild Hunt has been sounded once more in the deep. The forests of Athel Loren echoing. They are nearby here. Yeah, Orion's got Shield of Thorns. Morngulls are getting crumped. I mean, they're just fully surrounded. They're pretty squishy themselves. Morngulls have only have 30 armor, so, you know, Wild Riders can kill them. Anticity might have a couple summons. GG, I thought that I could beat a rush build. Well played. Anticity, so he was expecting a rush this time, he said. But nobody's expecting Orion. Oh my god. This is just the best way this could possibly end. just throwing spears, taking down zombies, and that's going to be GG. Falcon is going to be the victor, a 2-time victor of the faction war. The Wood Elves have never won before either, but today they have. That was incredible. Yeah, the Winged Hussars, basically. Man, that was something. I thought he might be in trouble, to be honest, like that amount of firepower, but Mel got in there and just was an absolute boss. So Falcon is our grand champion of today's faction war. The Wood Elves have won. They don't need no fancy DLC. All they need is a solid pilot. Well played to Anticity, of course. Anticity did win the faction wars last time and was able to make it to the grand finals here today with a very, very solid performance. And now Falcon is going to be the winner of today's faction war. So that is that. Falcon is going to be winning a $75 cash prize. Falcon will win, or I can't remember, no, 75, 25, 25. Yeah, it's 125 in total. I'm putting forward out of your Patreon and donation support. So Falcon will win the grand finals. Anticity will win 25. And then the People's Champion vote, which is going to be going on right now, I'm going to do it now, is going to be going to wherever you guys vote. So 75, 25, 25. So straw poll. I should have set this up before the stream. I was not prepared. People's Champ. So hang tight for a minute, guys. Vote now. All right, so I'm putting in the folks. All right. Oh, no. Damn it. Stupid straw poll. Terrible. Okay, I got to do this again. Hey, thank you so much, Anders, for the donation, as well as Ryzen for the 400 rubles. Great content, Turin. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, dude. Right back at you. Yes, and now you guys vote on the People's Champ, so I'm just setting up a straw poll right now. My crippled hands are typing as fast as they can. Vote now. This was a really fun faction war, man. Grombrindal. We had Zeblasky. King of the Dead. Mantis. Aerocrastic. Icepower Total War. Red Legion. We had Giles, lebra, Poison Ducky. Crabling. Energized. Man, there's so many people in this tournament. Oh, you forget how fat it is. Soothsayer. And Drees. I think that's everyone here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm missing someone. God damn it. Did I get everyone? Yeah, I think we did. Who are we missing here? 13. That doesn't make sense. My brain just isn't working. We got Gromby, we got Zeblasky, we got King of the Dead, we got Mantis. Got Arrow in there. Got Icepower. Giles, Red Legion. Poison Ducky is in there as well. Crabling, and then the Great Dog Plays. All right, guys. So the poll's coming up here in just a second. Hang tight. Multiple votes from one IP. Okay. Cool. So I'm creating the poll. Now I will share it with you guys. Copy link. All right. So if you guys want to vote, I'm going to let this go for 3 minutes until 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so about 2.5 minutes. Here you can vote for the People's Champion. They'll be winning a $25 cash prize. Hey, thank you so much, Robert Hyde, for the $30 donation. He says, awesome tournament. Thank you guys for your donations as well. It helps me, if I don't necessarily have a sponsor for a tournament, it does help me pay the prizes out of my pocket. So remember to vote. This is for the People's Champion. So this is someone that you really enjoyed watching. You like their build. You like their playstyle. You were impressed with their performance. You guys vote on that. You don't vote doing that. You have to go to the straw poll. This isn't Twitch. We don't have fancy features here. So vote on, guys. Another couple minutes until the vote closes. I'm going to keep an eye on it here. Yeah, it's good, Anakin. Good. Let's go see the results, man. I'm curious. Well, all right. It's looking like a pretty commanding lead for Dov. Icepower Total War, very close, and Zeblasky and Aerocrastic are all contenders as well. So you guys keep voting. We'll let it go for another 2 minutes. So Anticity and Falcon cannot be in the running because they can't be. You can't vote for Anticity or Falcon because they win the cash prize for first and second place. So this is like a People's Champion. It's a way of rewarding other players as well. Yeah. Well, you never know. There's still 1,600 people in here, so that could definitely change the poll. But it's looking pretty decisive right now. Oh yeah, man. It's looking very decisive. I don't know. Yeah, I've always you can't. Anticity already wins a prize for getting second place. So, yeah. Hey, Dov can buy a new game on Steam or something. Whatever, Someday, if I'm a rich millionaire, we'll have bigger cash prizes. Don't worry. I don't think that'll happen from Total War content creation, but you never know. Maybe Warhammer 3 will be really big or something. You never know. I know, Sigmar. It's all about that Sigmar life. Daw's build was pretty cool, and even though it was a meme build, it seemed like it had some teeth. Like, he could have won that matchup. It was really close. 269 votes. Another 30 seconds or so. We'll close this out. I figured it was better to do the vote on stream. Yeah. Because you guys have been here watching it live, so you really got to feel the experience, yeah. And there you have it. The vote's going to be closing. Let me refresh it one last time. So Dav Plays won with 109 votes. Icepower Total War in second place with 37. Rasik with 24. Zeblasky with 21. And then from there, the rest of the players kind of just had more or less the same amount of votes. So yeah, very well played. Dav is going to be the People's Champion vote for today with 109 votes with that glorious triple wagon build. Icepower Total War, of course, had a very solid close series against Anticity as a newcomer with his Dark Elves and narrowly almost won the matchup. It was really good. So again, guys, big congratulations to Falcon for claiming victory with the mighty Wood Elves in what was a very epic final. A very, very tightly contested first game and then a super hard spin on his playstyle with using frickin' Mel Gibson, Horn of the Wild Hunt. Like, that was got to be one of my favorite games I've seen in quite some time. So, big round of applause for Falcon and all of those who played today. Thank you to Falcon, Anticity, Soothsayer, Drees, Zeblasky, Crabling, Giles, Energized, Dog Plays, Crabling, Poison Ducky coming in, striking hard with his counts. Bringing Vlad von Karstein. I mean, come on, man. Red Legion, Icepower, Total War, Mantis, King of the Dead, and Grombrindal. So thank you guys all so much for setting time on Father's Day to play in this, and now go chat with your fathers and do all that fun family stuff. Thank you guys all for joining. It was an absolute blast of a stream. Make sure to drop a like on the way out if you did enjoy it. And thank you guys all so much for the generous donations. Man, there were so many today. From Rando Howard, King Agizal, Clint Bet, Agizal again, King Midas. Did I miss that one? King Midas, I'm sorry if I did. Do you have any advice on which things? No, I answered that. King Midas, Mr. Berg, Live at Home Productions, Tyler Coventry, Shelby Tripp, Crispy Bacon, Trey Davis, Chris Vickers, Caviaria, Low Tone, Caviaria again, Kevin Harvey, Vershogan, Cincinnati VA, Call it Ambulance. I have to read it in that voice every time. I'm sorry. Signarf Epop, Call it Ambulance. Again, Fly on Bread, Keith, Anders, Ryzen, Robert Hyde, and Stephen Fralick. And also we had a donation on the PayPal coming in from Desoct. Thank you guys so much. And mods, thanks again for sticking around. I know it's a long run, but couldn't do it without you guys. Dropping links to the Discord, all that sort of good stuff really helps build our community. And if you guys are interested, Wicked D, our glorious mod here in chat, has dropped a link to our Discord community where you guys can get involved in things like Faction Wars and King of the Hills and all that sort of good stuff. And don't be afraid if you're a new player. We're going to be having new player tournaments. I think we'll be starting a Younglings tournament next week. I really do want to do that. So I'll have Younglings tournaments, which will be fun and yeah, all sorts of good stuff. So again, thank you all so much for joining. Congratulations to the Wood Elves for winning the Faction War. We've had a different winner every single Faction War, which is really exciting and encouraging news. I think that's really solid for the health of the game. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining. It was an absolute blast. Thanks to the mods and players. And we will see you guys next time. Take care.